Damian Lillard is out indefinitely with blood clots. We are going to talk about this and really talk about what it means for obviously the Bucks, what it means for Giannis, what it means for the Eastern Conference in general. We got to get into that. Also, Jimmy Butler made a trip back down to his old home, South Beach, and he got packed up and sent up out of there. So we got to talk about that and why Jimmy didn't really look so good against Heat culture. Maybe it is a real thing. Before we get into all of this, I got my man Mars with me, and we also got a guest with us today. He goes by the name of Jay. Talk to us. Where you from? Where can we find you at? And what you about?
What's going on, y'all? I'm from the Mecca, New York City. You know what I'm saying? Home of Madison Square Garden, some of the best hoopers in the world. New York Knicks, my guys is third seed in the East right now. And you can find me on FYTB Podcast. I do a podcast. I do a gaming page at FYTB Games and do a couple skits here and there.
What does FYTB stand for?
Fuck is you talking about, man? New York's catchphase, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck is y'all talking about?
Fuck is you talking about?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, that's a Melo jersey?
Absolutely. Denver, you feel me?
Okay.
I got the Curry jersey hanging up over there. I got a OG Paul jersey. I got a few in my collection.
Okay, I know somebody that'll be proud of that jersey right now. I mean, I'm proud of that jersey. I was a big Melo guy when he was with the Nuggets, but
that dude is just a textbook on how you're supposed to hoop, man. In a box.
Talk about it.
He's the blueprint, man.
Triple threat king right there.
You can't beat it.
But let's get into it, fellas. Damian Lillard out, blood clots in his right calf. How y'all feel about this?
Well, the doctor said that it's very unlikely for it to happen again. So that's a good thing. So it's something that is controllable. And also, it doesn't look like it's going to spread like what happened with Chris Bosh, where it ended his career. So that's also good. But, and on top of that, Ron, guys have had blood clots and come. Lajuan had this. I don't know if I told you this, Ron, but yeah, Lajuan had this. It was in year 5, and they were able to get a hold of it, and he was able to have a productive career. But when Dame got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, I had to see it first. I had to see what it looked like because you had 2 ball dominant guys, even though they were a guard and a big, you had 2 ball dominant guys, and I had to see how this would work. And Dame last season was trying to figure it out. This season, I feel like they were figuring it out. Dame was playing at an all-pro level. Giannis is at an MVP level. They still needed to make some upgrades with the team, but with this right here, this throws a monkey wrench in the plan. It was a 3-year plan that I thought that they had, because Dame was still in his prime, but he was on the other side of it, and they didn't have a lot of time to play with this. But now with this right here, and they're probably going to lose Dame for the rest of the season. So not having Dame for the rest of the season, and Brook Lopez being what he is, and them still not upgrading at the 5 with Bobby Portis being out. This throws a monkey wrench in what they're trying to do. This 3-year plan that I talked about, it might have gotten thwarted, Ron. And I'm going to say this for the record, and a lot of people won't agree, but I'm not trading Giannis. He got to ask out. I'm not trading him. I'm letting y'all know that right now, Ron. I'm the dude who she got to ask me for a divorce. I'm not breaking up with her. Not her. Not her. I'm not breaking up with her. She got to ask me for a divorce. That's how. Otherwise, we working this out.
Before I get into exactly what Giannis said on this situation, Jay, do you want to, or not Giannis, my bad, what Dame's comments were on the situation? Jay, do you want to talk about what you think that this means for the Bucks, Dame, and the Eastern Conference moving forward?
Of course. If Chill, if you just want to fill me on your 3-year plan that you have for the Bucks, and then I'll comment further on the injury.
So when they first got Dame, which was last season, Dame was 32. Right, so Dame is 32, so he still is in his prime. Giannis is in his prime. I felt like Brook Lopez, at some point, they were going to upgrade at the 5 spot. They got 3 years to do this. Get younger at the 5 spot. You still got one of the better rotation players in Bobby Portis. With getting Kyle Kuzma, I thought that helped. 100% that helped. But with both Dame and Giannis at the core, this plan was 3 years, and we could make this thing work. We got 3 years to make this thing work. But with Dame not going out of the lineup, this kind of throws a monkey wrench in all of it.
I absolutely hear you. And so my take on it is this. I don't think so much that it hurts the Bucks this season, because the Bucks were underwhelming this season, in my personal opinion, right? They were 40-30 on the season. They're hanging on to the 5th seed right now. I think the Pistons are half a game behind them, if not a full game behind them at the 6th. And so best case scenario for them is that they play the Pacers in the playoffs in about in a month, which will hurt them because the Pacers bounced them last season in the first round. 4-1 them gentlemen sweep.
No Giannis, by the way. That was
which is true. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they are 3-1 against the Pacers this season, right? Which is important. To remember that. But I will say that that's the best case scenario for them. The worst case scenario is that they play the Knicks at the 3rd seed. And what I've seen from
worst case,
so in my opinion, right, if Jalen Brunson comes back even halfway healthy, I think the Knicks take care of the Bucks in 16.
I think that's best case scenario. I think we want the Knicks, but proceed.
In my personal opinion, if I'm the Pacers right now, I would rather play. If I'm the Bucks, I'd rather play the Pacers than the Knicks. Me personally, right? Because the Knicks are not looking. They're in a slump right now, but they're looking all right. And I'd rather play the Pacers just based on how they played this season, and they're 3-1 against them. They're 0-2 against the Knicks this season, so I'd rather play the Pacers if I'm the Bucks. Dame
Ron,
was
why do you
shooting.
want the, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Talk to me, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Talk to me,
Ron. Why you want the Knicks instead of the Pacers?
Well, it's a couple things. Y'all know how I feel about the Knicks depth. Like, I would much rather play a team in the playoffs. Granted, yeah, their starting lineup is probably better than the Pacers. Their best player can take over a series, Jalen Brunson. But one thing, Jalen Brunson is coming off an injury, which is just an ankle injury, so I expect him to come back and still be Jalen Brunson. But to do that and then have to come back and play 40 minutes a night in the playoffs right after an injury, after not playing and being rusty, he got some time off, so he got to rest his body and whatnot. But he could potentially be rusty. But furthermore, OG playing 40-plus minutes, Mikal playing 40-plus minutes, all of these guys playing 40-plus minutes a night in a 6-man rotation. I would much rather play against that and them have to try to deal with Giannis, even though they do got OG, they got Mikal, they got Cat, they got bigger bodies, but I would much rather have to deal with that as opposed to a deeper Pacer team that's going to try to run us up and down, that's really going to spread us out. Tyrese Halliburton, how you guys have said, take advantage of Brook, which obviously Jalen Brunson can do so too, but I just like our chances against a Knicks team that's not as deep, and we have to deal with one guy trying to beat us as opposed to a whole team trying to beat us. I think that's a better recipe for success.
So the Knicks got 7 guys, maybe 8 guys. You got Precious coming off the bench. You got Cam coming off the bench.
Payne?
You got Cam Payne coming off the bench. You got Precious coming off the bench.
Don't do that. That's a good rotation piece right there. Don't do that. Right?
Now this, man.
I feel like I'm missing somebody. I think they got like 8. Precious, Cam. I feel like I'm missing somebody that they got.
They got bench players. We could throw Tyler Kolek in there too. Like,
you could throw Tyler Kolek in there, but
you see what I'm saying? They got bench players.
I mean, they do. They have rotation. They have rotation players.
Relying on to come off the bench.
And not only that. Not only that, is Tibbs going to play them?
Oh, McBride. My bad.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I was thinking. I knew I was missing somebody. So they got 8 guys, right? So they got 8 guys to that point, it's not like the playoffs start tomorrow and Jalen Brunson got to get right to it. I mean, he still has some time to get back and get ready for them. And no Dame. So who does he have to deal with? Who does Jalen Brunson have to deal with? Because Drew Holiday is long gone. So he's frying anybody that's in front of him with the Milwaukee Bucks.
That doesn't change with Dame gone.
It 100%
with Dame there, it's actually easier for him to fry.
Well, I don't know about that because
his defense.
with Dame, with or without Dame, he's destroying you guys. No question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dame doesn't impact what Jalen Brunson's going to do to us.
He 100% does, Ron. That's 25 a game out the lineup.
No, I'm talking about defensively. Defensively, with Dame there, they are going to miss, like how you guys always say, miss the whole mismatch hunting. Dame is isolated. We are circling out Dame and we are looking for him. We're 100%. Trying to get Jalen Brunson on Dame. Now, granted, Jalen Brunson's still going to have his way with Gary Trent. He's still going to have his way with Michael Porter Jr. He's still going to have his way with AJ Green, Torian Prince, Kuzma. I can go down the lineup.
Yep.
But out of all those guys that I just named, Damian Lillard is the clearest defensive negative out of all of those guys. I would much rather any of those guys guard Jalen Brunson than Damian Lillard.
And I won't argue that point about Dame in terms of his defense, but what he uses his offense as his defense to wear you down. So that 25 a game, consistently putting that pressure on you as an offensive player, getting downhill, putting Jalen Brunson on his heels or whomever is dealing with him, whether it's OG, whether it's Mikal Bridges, he's going to use his offense as his defense. Now, with the Knicks rotations, it's just a matter of Tibbs playing these guys. It's not like they don't have rotation players. They got rotation players. It's just a matter of Tibbs playing these guys. So, I mean, and on top of that, Cat is destroying Brook Lopez. Destroying him.
He's not.
He's going to eat his lunch.
Let's stop, Ron.
He's going to eat his lunch.
He's for sure going to get some threes. He's for sure going to get some threes.
He's going to eat Brook Lopez's lunch.
All right.
Yes. Now, on the flip side to that, to your point, Ron, on the flip side to that, we're going to go after Cat on the regular. We're going to put Cat in drop.
Yeah, we're going
to put Cat in drop. We're going to put Cat in pick and roll. And we're specifically hunting Cat. No doubt about that. And Cat is another guy who uses his offense as his defense, but I'm not sure that I want to see the Knicks in terms of grit and grind. I'm not sure if I want to see them, because if you have to play them, imagine if you get by them, like how beat up you're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking into the second round, I'm strictly focused on the first round, and I'm like, we don't have Damian Lillard.
Yep.
So who do we want? Who do we truly want? Who do we believe we can match up with? I would much rather have to deal with Cat in a rotation of 6 players. Much rather.
I just when it comes to the Knicks, they pushed all their chips to the front of the table this season. They pushed all of them to the front of the table when they traded for Mikal Bridges and they gave up all of those first round picks. When they traded for Cat, they much rather get the money to Cat than to Julius Randle. That's why they traded for Cat. So they much rather do that. On top of that, they paid OG Anunoby. So this wasn't a 2 or 3 year plan. We're trying to win right now. That was the plan. We're trying to win today. And it's obvious to me they're not better than the Celtics. It's obvious that they're not better than the Celtics. So, I mean, where does this leave the Knicks in terms of playoffs? Because I can tell you right now, fam, you got a 12-round slug. You're not dropping Detroit in 3 or 4 rounds with some body shots. I think this is a 10, 12 round bout where you end up in a 6-game, maybe even a 7-game dogfight against them. That's going to be a rough and rumble playoff series. So I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Jay, are you worried about the Pistons?
Absolutely.
As a Knicks fan?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Brother, if I'm matching up against the Pistons, I'm praying that they get into that 5 spot so they can go up against the Pacers in the first round.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
I don't want nothing to do with Cade Cunningham and them boys right now. Malik Beasley firing crazy. Jalen Duran looking like one of the best paint guys in the league right now. I love the Pistons, honestly. I love those guys. I really do, but I do not want to see them in the first round.
And their defense has been really good.
Amazing.
But to answer your question, Ron, this throws a monkey wrench in what they're doing in Milwaukee with Dame being out of the lineup. This throws a monkey wrench in it.
Mars Ox Gifted, would you guys like to touch on this situation?
Go ahead. Gifted.
I mean, I think Dame being out changes a lot of things for the Bucks. I'm kind of sick about it because we're not gonna have a chance to see Dame and Giannis in the playoffs. And if they are another first round exit after this year, I think they're gonna break up that duo somehow, some way. Which is really unfortunate because they trade, like, their whole point in trading Drew Holiday was to try to have a different look for this team because their offensive ceiling wasn't that high, and we just never got a chance to really see it pan out in the playoffs. Like, they had moments in the regular season where, okay, Dame and Giannis still like aren't playing the greatest together, but there's a way that, okay, maybe it could work in the playoffs, but we've never got a chance to see it. So I feel bad for them on that. I do think with Dame being out now, it just becomes like completely more Giannis centric, probably more defensive leaning as well, but their defense just hasn't really been that great all year long. So it's like, I don't know what the best matchup for them would be to make it out the first round. I'm still trying to contemplate what that would be. I think the Knicks are interesting, but I think Brunson being out right now, I don't know what Brunson I'm going to get in the playoffs based on his injury. I don't know.
Gifted, if the playoffs started today without Dame, can they beat Indiana?
I thought Indiana could have beat them healthy. I'm going to like.
So with Giannis and Dame in the lineup.
Yeah.
With Giannis and Dame in the lineup, they could beat. You felt like they could beat Milwaukee.
I thought it was possible that they could. With Damian Lillard out, I feel like Indiana has the advantage in the series. I really do.
Oh, of course.
They're not beating anybody. They're not beating anybody. I like Milwaukee. I had Milwaukee beat.
Your mic is a little choppy. I don't know what's going on there. But keep going. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's still choppy, and I'll just reset.
You was talking that bullshit. Your mic doesn't like it.
See how
But the mic got to deal with it because you're gonna get the truth today. The Bucks need to go. The Bucks need to just go ahead and do that. It's time to pull the trigger. I know what you said. Chill. But it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. So you know what I'm saying? It's time to let her go. You know what I mean?
I don't want to cut off your philosophical moment, but you might have to just log off and jump back on.
I'll be back.
Fair enough.
That was a good point though.
Gifted. When you look at Indiana, what advantages do they have against Milwaukee? So with Dame and Giannis in the lineup, with Brook Lopez, who I'm not a huge fan of Brook Lopez. I think he's long in the tooth and I think he's older, but I still think he's a viable rim protector. Right. And then they get Bobby Portis back, one of the better rotation players in the game. And now you got Kuzma added to the lineup, who's really good. What advantages do the Indiana Pacers have over the Bucks with those guys in the lineup? Mars, I know how you feel about Bobby Portis, and I think you're ridiculous with it. I do. I think you are.
I don't even care about that. You said Kuzma is really good. I just disagree with everything.
He has been with Milwaukee. He's been really good for them. Yes, he has.
He was good for 3 games.
But he's been good for them for what they're trying to do. He's 100% been good for them.
Who you talking about?
Talking about Kuzma.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So what advantages in your estimation, Gifted, are you seeing that Indiana has over Milwaukee if both Dame and Giannis were available? Because this is 2 years in a row. You lost Giannis last year, and then now you lose Dame this year.
I would think I would trust their offense more than the Bucks. I also feel like last year the half-court accuracy that they were having in terms of consistently having good shot creation can still be present in the series versus them. Brook Lopez is just so slow, man. And I just feel like in a full series against Indiana, if they're able to speed that process up, it's going to be different. Pascal Siakam also provided a very comfortable mismatch last year for them in the playoffs as well. And this is a team that didn't have a healthy Tyrese Halliburton last year in the playoffs. Tyrese has been a much better player post All-Star break. So I just think it's going to be a much harder matchup for them than it was last year if they do play each other. And like that defense is still like very questionable to me. So I don't know.
I do think that defense is a bit of a question. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see it because Dame is out of the lineup. But if Dame was in the lineup, I think he puts a lot of pressure on Tyrese Halliburton as a defender.
I hear that.
I think he puts a lot of pressure on Tyrese Halliburton as a defender to defend consistently. Dame is going to use his offense as his defense. And Indiana hunts Damian Lillard in the 1-5 in the 1-5 switches, which I think is great because you want to get Brook Lopez on. You want to get Brook Lopez on Tyrese Halliburton. You want to get Brook Lopez switched on to Pascal Siakam because they do a lot of mismatch hunting, and I would love that if I'm Indiana. 100% I would. But the deciding factor in that situation, I don't know what it is. I think about Kobe Bryant and the San Antonio Spurs. It was like they owed him money or something. Like whenever he saw San Antonio, it was on. And it was on immediately. That's how I feel about Giannis when it comes to Indiana. Soon as he see them, like he waiting outside for them, and it is on soon as he sees them. So this could have been a series where I feel like Giannis would have dominated the series. That's why I feel like that's why I feel like they would have beaten him.
But he needs Dame though.
Right. Yes, he does.
For them to win. It's just, and plus, I mean, we talked about it, and this is, the circumstances aren't fair, but that's just life. That's just basketball. We already got some indictment papers typed up for Giannis anyway. In the playoffs.
They get issued this year. They get issued.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like,
y'all was saying that was about injury.
Yeah, Ron, but that's not the point though. The point is that. So
now you're switching the indictment papers?
No, I'm not.
You don't have indictment papers ready.
Are you going to listen? Are you going to listen to what I'm saying? You asked me 3 in a row. What I'm saying, Ron, is that it don't matter in basketball. It doesn't matter what the reasoning is. Like you can't have what happened to Miami, and then against Miami. I'm sorry, when Jimmy came through injury or no injury. Then what happened last year against Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Injury or no injury, and those were the issues, Ron. It was like, okay, is Giannis on his Joel time right now? And then now with no Dame, that might not be his injury, but I don't see him being very successful in the playoffs without Dame. So it's just going to be 3 very disappointing playoff runs for the Bucks back to back to back. They, especially after like how coming off of Dame, not Dame, I'm sorry, Drew. The way they did, Drew went to Boston, won the championship. Now they're dealing with this. If they don't make it out the first round again, bro, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, right? That's completely irrelevant. It's just like now it's going to look like this Milwaukee team is a failure. If the Clippers were a failure with PG and Kawhi Leonard, then the Bucks post championship are a failure as well. And so Giannis is too good of a basketball player. He's too much of close to one of the all-time greats that are playing right now to be going out like this. So I think not only do I think he should speak up like, all right, it's time to make a move, but I think Milwaukee should also see the writing on the wall and let's blow this thing up.
I mean, that's what I want to ask, right? Because their whole point in trading for Dame was to have some type of success. If you are a first round exit back to back to back, regardless, I just think that they're gonna make an explosive move to break up that, core. My question would be like, is it both of them? Is it Dame and Giannis? Is it just Dame to try to still make it work with Giannis? Like, I'm not sure.
Dame doesn't have any value right now, so we can't move off of Dame.
I don't know what Dame's value is. His contract is going to be very,
Why does Dame not have value?
Just with this injury alone, ain't nobody playing. Ain't nobody trading for that. No. With blood clots, nobody.
I think it's a movable contract still. I just don't know like the peak value. Like, I don't know if you can find something premium to where, oh yeah, we could actually win a title still with that.
Gifted, I don't know. He's going to be 35 this summer, and he's got a blood clot issue, and he's on the books for like $55 million. That contract is radioactive right now. Nobody wants nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. And don't get me wrong, he was playing at an all-pro level. So if you take the injury off the table, I think we have action. I do think we got motion. But with this going on and not really knowing the severity of it, even though the doctor said that this shouldn't be an issue, just the fact that it's there would keep teams away. Just the fact that it's there would keep teams away.
Morris, would you like to comment on this whole thing? We haven't really heard your thoughts on it.
More Dame's trade value?
No. Just the situation in general. I mean, we talked about a lot of things. Whatever you want to chime in with.
Are we concerned about how many blood clots are happening in the NBA?
I was thinking that too. Like, this is
in the last 12 months. It's been
what's happening?
Like, I don't know.
Stuart Thompson, Damian Lillard, Wemby, right?
Yeah. I don't want to say what it is, but I think Kyrie Irving might know.
Huh? Oh, okay.
What you mean?
Well, if it is that, then I guess, but like I think that's concerning.
Text me.
They watch the text messages, bro.
I do think that's concerning that blood clots are becoming more prevalent. Before the last year was Christian Coloco dealt with blood clots, I think. Then before that was Brandon Ingram, like 2019.
It was Brandon Ingram, yeah, sure.
Like them coming around this commonly. I know it's 3 people in a year, but like for something that's as rare as it has been, I think 3 people in a year is concerning. So hopefully Dame recovers. I'm not looking at the Bucks' future prospects. I'm looking for Dame to be healthy and come back. The Bucks win, they win. They lose, they lose. Didn't have them doing much anyway. So as long as Dame can get healthy, as long as Wemby can get healthy. Asar Thompson came back this year, looked really good. So just that's all it really is. Just hoping Dame can stay healthy. Well, get healthy and then come back and be himself.
Because the last thing we need is for this to be something more serious than it already is. So, and I guess I just it's unfortunate because when was the last time we've actually seen a playoffs where everybody was legit and as healthy as they could possibly be, and we're going into the playoffs, right? 23, Cat ends up missing like 54 games. He comes into the playoffs beat up, right? Kawhi Leonard breaks down in the playoffs. Last year, he also broke down in the playoffs. In 22, let's see, who am I thinking about? In 22, when the Warriors won the championship.
Ja Morant got hurt in the second
round. Ja Morant got hurt in the second round. Yeah. In 21, you had James
The
Harden.
whole playoffs was injured.
Yeah,
the
you had
The whole
Kawhi
players were hurt
Leonard,
that year. Yeah.
and then in 20,
it just doesn't count. Yeah.
but also, I mean, Giannis rolled his ankle against Miami, and he ended up going out of that series. In 2019, KD tears up his Achilles. Clay tears up
that
his
when
knee.
Tatum got hurt too.
Which one?
Nah, 21 was the year Jaylen Brown and then
Jaylen Brown got hurt too.
Yeah.
That year in 21.
What's the year where Tatum got hurt and they got packed up game 7? That's 23, right?
23.
Yeah,
23. Yeah.
He
And then
rolled his
Embiid
ankle.
all of these years.
Yep. So in 19, like you said, KD tore up his Achilles. Clay tore up his knee. James got hurt that year, so he wasn't in the playoffs. In 18, I think we had a healthy. Chris Paul again.
Yeah,
Chris Paul got hurt.
My fault. Yep. Chris Paul against Houston. 17.
I mean,
Leonard.
Kyrie missed the whole playoffs in 2018.
Kawhi. Yeah,
Yes, he
17
did.
Kawhi.
Yep.
17,
Kawhi.
Kawhi got hurt. 16, the Draymond Green suspension.
Steph Curry got hurt in the playoffs.
I think 16 is probably the last time we've seen everybody. I mean, and Curry got hurt in those playoffs. Didn't he get hurt against Houston?
He got hurt in the second game, I think. Was it the second game?
Curry got hurt in those playoffs, but he came back, so he was ready to go. But other than
That's basketball, though. Y'all know how
he was
it
out
goes.
there. He was out there.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know about ready to go, but he was out there. Yeah,
he was on the floor. But
I mean,
Jason Tatum was on the
last
floor in
week
that
we
game
talked
7,
about
but
this
he wasn't
though.
Jason Tatum.
100%.
Remember we had the injuries episode, and we just last week we talked about it's looking promising going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nobody's hurt.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, this
Especially with Zion and Kawhi looking like they.
Yeah, man.
Every postseason is affected by injuries in some way. Like this is
Everyone.
like
in every sport too. So I said it's basketball. It's not just basketball, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every sport.
it doesn't take away from like the champion. Like you win because you're able to either overcome injuries like Boston last year with Porzingis, or because you're on the fortunate side of the injuries. It's just life by the end of the day. But injuries affect every single postseason. When your team wins, you probably benefit from injuries. When your team loses, you're probably gonna blame some injuries in some way. Like it is what it is. Like, it's just the way it
I
is.
think there was like a whole Reddit thread that basically tracked basketball from like the 80s to now, where every single championship there was some type of major injury to a player or team at some point that impacted why each team won. So like every year, it definitely plays a big role for sure.
16 was probably the closest we've been to everybody being as healthy as they could possibly be. 16, I'm thinking. When I think about all the other playoffs, 16 is probably the closest that we've been to everybody. And I'm talking recently because in 2005 when the Spurs ended up seeing Detroit, everybody was ready in those finals. In 2006, Stoudemire got hurt, and Phoenix wasn't able to have him, so that threw a monkey wrench in that. And Wade got hurt in 2005 also. So,
what year was it when the Nets? I think they got that 6 seed. They had Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie. That was 19.
Yeah, and they played Philly. I think they played
Philly. Yeah, Philly, the 3-6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was a good years of playoffs. I mean, there was injuries, but
KD obviously, but I mean, it just depends how injured you think Steph Curry was, but we're not.
Well, I will say this: even though injuries are a huge part of the game, and obviously everybody hates to see their star player or a pivotal part of your team injured, it does create a lot of opportunities. Because without injuries, we don't see a lot of guys like Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes. Who else really stepped up in the playoffs based off injury? I know Pat Connaughton had a couple games in 2021. I want to say
one of them years.
Yeah, where he really stepped up, and so you get to see
22.
Yeah, and you get to see a lot of guys really step up into that role and maybe get bigger roles. And Obi Toppin is another guy who really stepped up in the playoffs and then got a big contract after. Bruce Brown is a guy, maybe not because of injuries, but just actually
Dante DiVincenzo last year got that bigger opportunity because guys got hurt in the postseason, and then he started averaging 20 against the Pacers.
Yeah, you
can't. Next was decimated with injury last year.
Yeah.
Even with the Pacers too, with Halliburton going down. Remember, just yesterday we spoke about
Nemhard got that opportunity.
Neymar too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it can be a blessing and a curse. When you lose, it's if this guy was healthy, you would have won. So, and then if you win despite the injuries, that means we repeat it next year when we're healthy. Like it's just,
but it's also a double-edged sword too, Miles, because to your point, when you talk about, it depends on how hurt Curry was. Well, if they win the NBA championship, like we wouldn't even be having that conversation about Curry getting hurt. If they end up beating the Cavs that year. Nobody would talk about the fact that Curry had a knee injury, but the fact that he had a knee injury and they lost, well, he had a knee injury. So I mean, it's a slippery slope when you're dealing with something like that.
I think winning definitely impacts how much they bring it up for sure.
Of course,
I hear you on that.
No, I want to bring this back to Milwaukee though.
Yeah. Okay.
So, my man Jay brought up the point where he was like, injuries do create opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's obviously a next man up thing. How do you guys feel about Ryan Rollins as a point guard? And then also, how do you feel about Kevin Porter Jr.?
I like Kevin Porter Jr.
They're going to get minutes. Yeah, they're going to get minutes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kevin Porter Jr., but I don't think that he fixes the problem of playing defense against a Tyrese Halliburton or Jalen Brunson, right? He poses the same issues on defense that Damian Lillard gives you, which is
he's a little better on the defense.
KPJ, since he got
he's a lot better on the defense.
He's looked like a whole different man on the defensive end.
Is he the upgrade that you need against Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson?
He can get it too. He can
get
no,
he's not solving that.
He's not solving the puzzle though.
Right, I feel like he gives you the same problem on defense.
Right. He damn near better defensively than he is on offense, but that's
I agree. But I
feel I admire your optimism, man. You know, thinking of who the next guy up is and everything.
Ryan Rollins is going to save the day.
Let's double back because let's double back because KPJ is going to be integral with Dame now being on the bench, and they're going to need defense. Mars, expand on that. That he's damn near better on defense than he is on offense. KPJ is. Why is he better on defense than on offense?
I mean, probably a combination of me not thinking he's that good offensively.
You don't think that, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't think he's good on offense. You do.
I don't think he's that good. Yeah, I think he's
good on offense.
And I think he's got very good size for his position. Very, very strong. He competes at the point of attack. He's not the best away from the ball, but he competes at the point of attack. And I think his physicality does lend some sort of value. Defensively, and then offensively, I just shout out to him, I guess. But like,
he would have been good offensively.
He would have been intricate in this chill if Dame was here. You know what I mean? So, like, without Dame, I don't think it matters too much. But with Dame, I think KPJ, I think Kuz, I think all those guys could have came and played their role and had a significant run. But no Dame. I don't think KPJ got it to carry. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he doesn't have to carry. I know y'all know. I use the word carry a little loosely. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would ever have to carry. I think that's Giannis's job. But with that being said, I mean,
well, he's gonna have to carry the bench units. Like when Giannis ain't off the floor, he's gonna have to keep them afloat. That's
right. So that's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to carry something. He's gonna have to carry his weight, whatever that weight may be. You know what I'm saying? And him carrying that without Dame there isn't gonna help him win. Isn't gonna help him win series. You know what I mean?
So. Yes, I get that.
Here's my thing. So first off, Kevin Porter Jr. He's been playing amazing since he's got there. Especially relative to expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Kuzma, not so much. But Doc is going to have to let Kevin Porter Jr. off the leash. He's going to have to let him go. If KPJ can keep playing as good as he's been playing, getting his shots, creating offense, creating turnovers on defense, that's going to help us a lot. But here's the thing, though. Hold on, chill. Just because I'm not about to jump off a cliff. I'm not.
Okay.
What I am
it sound like that's why I'm grabbing you because it sound like
I'm not
you're getting close to the edge.
No, I'm not saying Kevin Porter Jr. is going to replace Dame. All I'm saying is now we have another competent defender in the rotation and a very athletic guy and a guy if he can continue to do what he's doing on an expanded role. He has averaged 20 points per game in Houston. If he can do that, get back to that. That helps us. Marcy's much better than what he was. He's much better than what he was. But either way it goes, here's the point I'm trying to make.
I don't know, man.
Giannis, you are who you are, right? You're an all-time great. You're a two-time MVP. Some people would say you're the best player in the world. Me. A lot of people would say you're the second best player in the world. You are who you are. You're Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I mean, neither of those.
Bro, you gotta carry.
Crazy.
Giannis has to carry.
Am I ridiculous?
He sold Drew, Ron, and now he's paying for it. I told you already. I told you that.
Stop.
Yes, he did. I told y'all 2 years ago when he sold Drew. I told y'all he was going to pay for that, and he's paying for it. Drew was on the verge of repeating and Giannis is on the verge of not. You know what I'm saying? So it's
No, I'm not. That's all you got.
You know what I'm saying? He sold Drew, and now he's paying for it. Ron, if you want to jump out the airplane, that's fine. But that's a backpack, not a parachute you got on.
What you're talking about has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm saying Giannis Antetokounmpo got to be Giannis. You got to be dominant the way you're supposed to be dominant.
You're right.
You are supposed to. Giannis, regardless whether it's against the Knicks or the Pacers, Giannis needs to come out and average 34, 12, however many assists, and he needs to do it in a Giannis fashion. That's all. Good defense.
Yeah, and losing 6.
Regardless, here's the thing though. Like you guys can say losing 6. I don't think it's not out of the realm of possibility for Giannis to carry them to a first round victory against.
I don't know why that's ridiculous to think that.
He does that, and then they go lose in the second round.
Even if they lose in the second round, so what? And is it ridiculous that, like what Ron just said, we saw Jimmy Butler throw a unit on his back and win a playoff series? We saw
Duncan Robinson not miss a 3 the whole series, but
just Jimmy Butler. We can see AJ Green not miss a 3 the whole series.
I doubt it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, AJ is strapped. Oh, AJ is strapped.
Why you bullshitting, right?
That's not right.
For
right. We can see these dudes start to shoot shots, but for Jimmy Butler to throw a unit on his back and win against a number 1 seed, is it ridiculous? And Giannis is better than him. So is it ridiculous for me to think that Giannis couldn't throw a unit on his back? Because we've seen players throw units on their back and win a playoff series. I ain't even talking about the NBA championship. I ain't talking about the Eastern Conference.
The Bucks can win a series. Yes, the Bucks can win a series.
Right. And
the Bucks can win a series without Giannis putting a team on his back. They can still win a series. Their ceiling is getting to the second round. That's the best case scenario.
That's the problem. The ceiling isn't going to be
the best
that
case
high.
scenario is they get to the second round and lose to Cleveland. Like that's the best thing that's going to happen to them.
Cleveland
mops them. Giannis carries them through the first round, or he just plays well when they win the first round. Best case scenario, they go against Cleveland and lose in 5. Ooh,
yes. I think Cleveland. I don't think they get a game from Cleveland. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think they get one game. I think Cleveland smokes them in 4.
Yeah, knowing Doc Rivers, they're gonna go up 3-1. Like,
which, by the way, and a quick side note, Ron, did you hear Doc Rivers say he needs more?
Bro, Doc Rivers
3-1.
Bro,
did you hear Doc Rivers say he needs more credit?
I stand with Doc Rivers.
He said that.
He does this every year.
Let's hear what he was really saying, though. What he was really saying was that he deserves credit for getting them there based on the circumstances that was surrounding the teams that he was in.
This is some of the most
exactly.
Can we break down the circumstances, though? What exactly were the circumstances?
03, the first 3-1 lead he blew. They weren't even meant to be up 3-1 on the Pistons.
Exactly.
The Pistons were the overwhelming favorites in that series. Then they go up 3-1. It's like, oh, nice. T-Mac says, oh, yeah, it feels good to finally be out the first round. And then you know what happens. 3-1 lead disappears. Here's what it is. The second 3-1 lead, that was the Rockets.
Yes.
Rockets series,
in 15.
Right? That was a series that Chris Paul came in hurt. Blake Griffin came in hurt. They weren't meant to go up 3-1 because they were dealing with injuries at the time. And they go up 3-1. And then
Houston was the favorite.
Again. The Houston were the favorites in that series, the number 2 seed. Everyone knows Josh Smith, Corey Brewer, go crazy. Is what it is.
That was
3-1 lead. It's now blown. It disappears. And then the next one, the Clippers one, the bubble. Yeah, he's gonna have to earn that one. I ain't gonna lie. That was tough, yeah.
So Ron, is this dude trying to?
But those two,
this is some of the wildest shit I ever heard. So
I'm just saying, be fair.
I just want to make sure I'm.
I don't think he's that good of a coach, but I also don't think that if you go into the series and you're the underdogs and you go up 3-1, hey, good work. Right.
Okay, Mars, that doesn't work. That logic doesn't work with me, Mars, because you're the same one who told me that when you come back from being down 3-1, your ass shouldn't have been in the hole 3-1 in the first place.
Yes,
so up 3,
that's the exact same thing I'm saying.
If you up 3-1, end the series, end it. We can get one game.
This is what I'm saying. If you come back from 3-1, I don't give you extra credit for getting out of the hole you put yourself in. Like, respectfully, win 4 straight games. That's better than coming back 3-1. Doc Rivers, I'm not giving you extra credit for blowing a 3-1 lead. What I'm saying is I'm not giving you extra criticism for blowing a 3-1 lead because at the end of the day, you won 3 games in a series. Winning 3 games in a series is better than getting swept in the series.
Agreed.
So to me, if I look at a team that would get more blame or more criticism would be like a team like the 2022 Nets getting swept by the Celtics.
Right.
That to me is worse than a team blowing a 3-1 lead like the 03 Orlando Magic. Because the Orlando Magic won 3 games in the series. Right. That's better than getting swept. That's
So-
what I'm saying. Not,
Okay.
oh, it's fine to blow a 3-1 lead because you shouldn't have won 3 games in the first place. No, what I'm saying is the same way I don't give you extra credit for coming back from 3-1 as opposed to just sweeping a team because you put yourself in that situation to have to come back. I'm also not giving you extra blame for blowing a 3-1 lead as opposed to getting swept because at the end of the day, going to game 7 is better than losing in 4.
100%.
No matter how you get it.
That is quite funny hearing him like year by year say, you know what, like I really do deserve
he just be
more
yapping.
credit.
He's
just
never
yapping,
made a
bro.
mistake. Like
Yeah,
Doc
that's what I'm
Rivers
saying,
swears
bro.
he's never made a mistake. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for me,
Right.
for me, it's better to lose it. It's better in terms of like how you competed in the series to lose in game 7, losing a 7-game series, losing a close series, than get swept.
Mars,
That's just my view.
if I'm not mistaken, what is the actual goal here? The goal is to win the series. That's the
Of
goal.
course.
Is that correct?
Of
The
course,
goal is
I'm
to
not
win
giving
the
him credit
series.
for winning the series because he didn't do that.
And that's the point, Mars. You were actually closer to winning the series than losing it. So you shouldn't get any credit whatsoever.
No, you get credit for being close to winning.
That's the Mars. But here's the difference. You get credit for you get credit for getting close to winning it, even though you blew it.
Yes.
And nobody else has blown it like you've blown it.
Sure.
You shouldn't get any credit for that at all. Win the
disagree.
series.
But
End the
winning
series.
3 games is better than winning 0.
But Doc is saying he just doesn't deserve the extra criticism that he gets, which I believe
That's
is true. I don't think
where
he
I'm
deserves-
standing.
Like Mars said, I don't think he
you
deserves
don't get extra
credit.
blame for being close and then falling
Exactly.
over at the finish line. Like it's better.
I don't
It's
know
better
if
to
anybody's
fall
blaming him
over at the
extra.
90-meter mark than it is to fall over at the 2-meter mark. Like that's what I'm saying.
Is it better to trip at the starting mark than it is when you get right at the goal line?
Yes, it's better to actually compete. Yes, it's better to actually compete.
I don't know if I agree with that.
The same
But-
way it's better. It's the same way it's better
I-
for a winning team to sweep a team than win in 7 games.
I
That
don't-
means normally it means you dominated the series. You were the clearly better team. It's better to sweep.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the idea of extra criticism. Okay, I can get with that logic, Mars. Like there isn't anything extra here. You blew it. How about we just stand on that?
Absolutely,
You
they
blew
blew the
it.
3-1
Like,
lead. Absolutely.
we don't have to give you any extra credit. Like what would be extra criticism? You blew it. Like are we gonna say something? What extra can we say other than you blew it?
The idea that
More
Doc
than
Rivers gets maligned more as a coach, and I do criticize Doc Rivers as a coach, not really because of the 3-1 lead stuff. I don't care about the 3-1 lead stuff. My issue with Doc Rivers is a lot of things that I've gone through in the past.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like for me, I'm not, and I need to make this abundantly clear. The lack of criticism is not praise. Does that make sense? Me not criticizing you does not mean I'm praising you.
Sure.
I'm not praising Doc Rivers for nearly winning. Yeah, you were up 3-1, you nearly won. I'm not doing that. What
Right.
I'm saying is losing in a game 7, losing after being up 3-1, and then they come back and you go to a game 7 and you lose in that game 7 is not, to me, is not worse than getting swept. That's what I'm saying. If you get swept routinely, that's worse than blowing a 3-1 lead routinely, in my opinion. That's just how I view it. Especially in 2 of the series, you weren't even favored in the first place. Like, I'm gonna ask you, Joe, what's worse? You're not favored in a series, you go up 3-1, and you lose the series in game 7. Or you are favored in a series and you get swept. Which one is worse?
I'm on record saying when you get swept, you're not close to winning. I'm on record saying that.
Okay, so we're on the same side of the fence right there.
I'm-
So which
I'm
one is
on-
worse?
I'm on
Getting
record.
swept as the favorite, or blowing a 3-1 lead, but you were the underdogs prior to the series starting?
So you shouldn't have been there in the first place, is what you're saying.
Prior to the series,
Prior
you were
to the
underdog.
series, we were the
But then
underdog.
you go up 3-1 and
and we
lose
go
the
up.
series.
So you gave a gallant effort. Okay, you gave a gallant effort and you end up losing. So we're basically praising you. Not praising you. Let me rephrase that. We're giving you the golf clap because you put in a great effort, as opposed to.
I'm not giving you a golf clap. What I'm saying is just like
I know what you're saying.
you did better than getting swept. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
I know. Well, first of all, I'm not a.
Of course, they're both bad. You lost. Like
Right.
no one's saying either one. No one's saying these are good.
No, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. Sure, I think where the divide is between you and me is your idea of the competition, and because you weren't even supposed to be in it, and I'm going to give you an A for effort. You were there. You weren't even supposed to be in the series. The fact that you were there and you fought to 7 games, I could get with that. I just feel like when you go up 3-1, finish it. You there.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
did
I
it.
mean, you're that close. Yeah.
Finish.
I mean,
You
won 3
you
games,
were
win the
there.
series.
Finish
Absolutely.
it. If you get
Absolutely.
if I get swept out of the playoffs, I'm on record saying this. If you get swept out of the playoffs, we ain't close to winning. We're not close to winning. For a team to smoke us,
There's a clear
we're not
gap.
close.
at
You
that
guys
point.
are going back and
I
forth.
mean, you
on
can
this.
lose in a close sweep, but yeah.
Okay,
It's
but-
nasty either way it goes.
Well,
It's
oh,
nasty
yeah,
getting
but-
down
wait,
3-1.
wait.
Of course.
But the one thing that we're not talking about though is
you would rather win in a hard-fought 7 games
Yeah.
than lose. Like, of course, no matter how
Yeah.
it goes, you'd rather
Well,
win.
but-
in the
but-
lobby
13 doesn't
there
think
is
that.
one thing we're not talking about though, because again, like I think the point is this is Doc Rivers saying this. This isn't the first time we've seen you lose 3-1. Like
Or the
the
second
point with him is right. There's been multiple moments, and like you're talking about, well, damn, in these moments I deserve more credit for us being in a spot. But I think people are pointing to more because okay, we can understand in a vacuum, okay. Sometimes teams can lose.
Sometimes this happens.
Right,
But why
right.
does it keep happening to you?
And yes, exactly. And that is why people are criticizing because of some of his tendencies or habits that can lean towards you not being able to maintain a lead in the series. So that's why people are applying pressure towards you. For you to come out and say, I actually deserve more credit. Like, no, you can't big brain your way out of this one, Doc Rivers.
Oh no, yeah, he's for sure yapping, and I'm
Yeah.
very passionate about my disdain
Right.
for Doc Rivers.
Rod,
I actually think
Absolutely.
he's doing a bad job in Milwaukee right now.
Rod,
That's why
But
I
I
think the Bucks
also
were-
do
yeah.
think that
You know?
people see it's the same people, and I'm not making this a LeBron topic. It's the same people who act like losing in the finals is worse than losing in round 1. Like it doesn't make sense to me that you're being criticized for losing quicker. Like you're for taking longer to lose. It doesn't make sense. Losing in game 7, in my opinion, is objectively better in terms of how you performed in the series than getting swept. Losing in the finals, for the most part, because there's obviously context, there's conferences and stuff, but losing in the finals is objectively better than losing in round 1.
Yeah.
But one gets a lot more criticism than the other, and it always throws me off. Like that's where I stand on it. And I'm not giving Doc Rivers credit for going up 3-1. I'm not giving him a pass for losing these series. Everyone who knows me and watches this show for 2.5 years now knows how I feel about Doc Rivers. But I also think it's better to blow a 3-1 lead than it is to just get swept. Like, I'm just going to stand on that. That's
Real fast, which of his teams should have absolutely won?
2004, they
3-1?
should have beat Detroit. They should have beat them.
once they were
The
already
most?
up 3-1. Once they were already up 3-1. The Clippers one was egregious.
I think the Clippers in the bubble should have
The bubble
absolutely.
one was egregious. The bubble
Yeah,
one was egregious.
Inexcusable.
That was a bad one. That was a bad
The
one. for
bubble
sure.
one was
Yes.
terrible.
Losing.
They were healthy. They were healthy too. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
One
Jason
time,
Grills.
Why is Siri talking to me? Am I talking to Siri? I am not talking to Siri.
She
I'm
trying to
talking
get on
y'all.
the panel.
Why are you involved in this, Siri?
Siri,
I
you
am
want
not
to get
talking
involved,
to you.
man?
Why are you involved in this series?
I am not talking to Siri. I'm talking to you guys. I got it, Siri. I'm sorry, Ron. As you were saying,
Jason Grills said, "Yo, panel, y'all the best. This is the only show that can get me to watch a 3-hour-long podcast and basketball. Do you guys think Shai is peaking so high in scoring that he has a top 5 shooting guard peak? And 5 more years of this gets him into the top 5?
5 more years of this. 5 more years averaging 33 a game. Hell yeah.
He plays the one. He
plays
plays
the
the
one.
one. But if you are calling him a shooting guard, yes, he would be a top 5 shooting guard peak to me.
Top 5 shooting guard peak. Okay, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I understood.
If we're saying he's a 2, he's
If
the
he-
one.
if we
But
are
he's saying
saying
if he
shooting
was
guard,
a 2,
he would be a top 5 shooting guard peak.
in terms of scoring, or in terms
Play-
of what are we talking about here?
playing
play,
basketball.
right?
Overall player.
Playing
Yes.
basketball.
Mhm.
Who's he peaking over?
Whoever's not MJ, Kobe, Wade, and Harden. And to be honest, I'll have the Harden.
What
conversation.
about AI?
I'm just saying.
No.
No.
Shout out to AI, man. Shout out to
No.
AI. man.
AI's peak. You think that? You
Shout out
think,
I got
to
bad news for
AI.
AI
Shout out
right
to
now
AI.
this season.
Shout out to AI.
you think
Bro.
that if Shai does 5 more years of 33 points, right?
He
I'll keep-
clears Allen
let's-
Iverson. He
I don't think he
clears
has to do 5 years at all. I'm
He-
be real with you.
if we get a half a decade of this Shai, this is the gap between him and Allen Iverson. It's a huge gap. Yes. He clears him.
Shai's better than AI.
Right now, he's better than AI.
Right now, right, this year, his peak year this year is better than AI's peak year. Right, I'll give you better than AI's MVP season. That I can agree to. I can attest to that.
Okay.
If he does 5 more years of this, right, of this 30, what is it, 36 and 4 or 5?
Well,
That's
I don't know
right
what he
now.
averages.
I think he's averaging 33 right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
32, 33, 6 and 6, something like that.
If he does 5 more years of that, does he pass Allen Iverson's peak? I don't think so.
So listen. So what you just this is what you just told me. You just told me that this year he's better than Allen Iverson was in 2001. That was peak Allen Iverson.
Right.
So that means that 5 more years of this guy, and Allen Iverson went the other way after 2001. He wasn't nearly as good in 2001 as he was. He wasn't nearly as good in 2002 and 2003 and 2004 and 2006 as he was in 2001. You're telling me that Shai, who was already better than him in 2001, we get 5 more years of this, he still doesn't pass Allen Iverson? No, that logic doesn't work, brother. It doesn't.
I don't think so.
Chill. Allen Iverson didn't go like, and if he did take a step back, it was this
Minimal.
Yeah, but we got to understand what was just said. He said he'll accept that SJ this year is better than AI's best season, and so cool. We've established that. I think we're all on the same page with that. Maybe not you, Ron. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not you, Ron. But stay out of this. You're the host.
Okay.
So if we get 5 more years of Shai playing at this level, which means another 5 years of him playing better than Allen Iverson's best year.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That means he would have
no one
6
stays at their
seasons
peak for 5
playing
years.
better than Allen Iverson's best season.
Guess what? I don't understand.
What's the conversation?
He can't stay at this peak for 5 years, right? He can't
Why not?
average 33.
well,
No one does.
That's
That
what
absolutely no one does, and that's not how it works. That's
Hey,
not
but
how
hold
your
on,
peak
no.
works.
That's where I kind of disagree with that. Now, Allen Iverson, when he did it, he was 25. But here's the thing, though. I disagree with Chill. I don't think Allen Iverson after 2001 went like
Got
this.
worse.
I don't. The next
I
year
ain't saying this, Ron. I'm saying this. This is what he did.
Okay,
This
the
is
next
what
year
we
he
got.
averaged more points. The next year he averaged more steals. So it's
Right.
like he was the next year he was right there. He just didn't go back to the finals. That was the only thing. But the next year he was the same player. The following year he was fantastic too.
Right.
So you know,
So that's what I'm saying, Ron. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this.
okay, he might have leveled out. He might
what
have
he
coasted after that. But
Yes.
here's the thing though. Shai at 26, he's averaged 30 for the last 2 years. I don't see Shai looks like he's still getting better. The three ball's only gonna get better. The whistle's only gonna get better. The mid-range is only gonna like his game's not predicated on athleticism, where Allen Iverson's game was
better than what it already is. Holy shit.
Chill, it can't get worse. That's what I'm saying. Like Shai's not gonna come out next year and all of a sudden not be able to make a mid-range shot. Like obviously
No, I
scores
ain't
go through
saying
droughts,
that.
but
No,
I'm saying
I
like
can agree with that.
Shai's only feeling himself more. He's only getting more craftier. He's only getting more in his repertoire. He's not going to lose a step for another. At least I'm assuming so. He's not going to lose a step for.
I could get at this Shai, because this is peak. Have we even seen? Is this even peak Shai?
I don't know. Chill.
This is the best we've seen so far of Shai, but we don't know for sure if this is
we
peak
said the
Shai.
same thing to your point, Gifted. We said the same thing. I mean, like, is this peak Joker?
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago was that peak Joker?
Yeah.
No,
It wasn't until this came around.
well, it was
Right,
peak,
exactly.
but he's better than he was 2 years ago. So
That's
this
what I'm
is
saying.
actually his peak.
Well, if you factor in the fact
It
that
was-
his defense been egregious this year,
The
It was
defense has
prime
been pretty-
Joker.
yeah.
It wasn't
Fair
peak
enough.
Joker.
Right.
I could argue
So
23
so-
Jokic is better than this, but you know,
So
That's
who
what
you
I'm
would
saying.
take 23 over this year, Morris?
23 Jokic was playing defense.
23 Jokers was definitely playing defense, Ron. Yes,
This
he was.
Jokic ain't playing no defense.
Yes, he was.
But this
definitely more-
offensive Joker is better than that offensive Joker.
Why? Because he shoots a better percentage from 3.
Yeah.
He's shooting
doesn't.
wide open threes.
Look, that little,
And then he went to the
itty-bitty-
playoffs and shot 47%.
That he did do that.
So,
He did do that.
what?
But hold up though.
23
Playoffs
Jokic is a peak
playoffs
Jokic.
hasn't came yet, so we don't know what we're gonna get. All I'm saying is
True.
that little itty bitty bit of
I know that
defense that we
defense
got from
gonna be
Jokic.
That's why I know that defense.
That itty bitty that little snippety bit of defense that we got.
Well, no,
It's not really.
I just don't think it was as bad as it was this year. This is his worst. Like
This
it-
year, he's a clear.
it's bad, bro.
He's hurting
It's
the
bad.
team on defense.
sure.
23, he was a competent.
Wait, so like I want to ask this, right? So here's my thing. If we're saying that Shai this year is better than the best year of AI, my question is, what's the gap? Because I don't think Shai needs to keep doing what he's doing to still be better than him. Like he could.
Shai is closer to Wade, Harden, and Kobe. Than
That's what I'm saying.
Fellas, right quick, we are
Yeah.
going to pick this conversation right back up. Just hold your thoughts.
Go
But
ahead.
Everybody in the chat, I just want to talk to you guys right
Gotta pay
quick.
some
You
bills.
specifically. I'm talking to you guys individually, one-on-one. Let me resonate and connect with you because I know you guys have bills to pay.
Gotta pay some-
I know it's not Valentine's Day, but I know you still want to take your significant other out Maybe you have a dog and you want to buy your dog some doggy treats. I don't know what it is you want to do. Maybe you want to get your mom something nice for her birthday. Well, I have potentially a nice route for you to turn $5 into $50 and to turn $50 into, well, whatever your brain can conceive. Now, here's what you got to do. You got to download the PrizePicks app, and that's where you can run your game, control your game, and win your game. And then you use promo code PANEL. And just like that, you'll be able to get $50 instantly when you play just $5 in promo funds. Now, let me show you guys something that happened last night. And this is why we are going to cook this fraud up top, Jimmy Cutler, because all he had to do was get 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and we would have been doing good. But him and that dribble handoff merchant, they just didn't do their job last night with the PRA. But you see, LaMelo Ball, he got his buckets. OG Anunoby, he did what he was supposed to do. But let me show you guys what we're going to actually do tonight. Let's not dread on the past. Let's focus on the future. Tonight, we got a real GOAT, LeBron James. 34.5 points and assist. That's a demon pick against the Pacers. You know, the Lakers haven't really been doing too well. They're on a 3-game losing streak. I expect the king to throw the team on his back and do king things. And then we got Kawhi Leonard in the Garden tonight, just getting a smooth 17.5 points. That's a goblin pick. That's easy money for Kawhi. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo doing what he does on defense, just 2.5 steals and blocks. Giannis can grab 2.5 stocks, right? We're taking them more on that. Oh, and that, last but not least, we got Tyrese Halliburton. Points and assists. He's been on a roll lately. He averages much more than 27.5 points and assists over the since All-Star break. So we're going more than that for him. And that's how we rocking today. Y'all let me know if y'all feeling that. All right, fellas, let's get right back into it. We're talking about Shai, and we're comparing him to other shooting guard peaks. Gifted, you were making a point? You had a question that you asked?
Yeah. So my thing is this, right? Like, if we're saying that Shai this year is better than AI, I think that Shai's more closer to the higher end guards in that conversation, but I don't think Shai needs to continue to do what he's doing for 5 years to say that his peak was better than AI in terms of like multiple seasons. Shai already has 2 seasons before this where he's averaging 30. So to me, it's like if he's just putting up 29 to 30 a game with similar efficiency and is still like a plus defensive player, I don't think he needs to do all that. Honestly, I think if he does this for 5 more years, that puts him in a much higher conversation than just overpassing the prime years of Allen Iverson, to me at least.
And because you average less points does not mean that you aren't as good. I mean, Cade Cunningham is the prime example of that, where Cade Cunningham, he's only averaging a bucket more this season than he did last year, but he's a lot more efficient. His game is a lot different than what it was last season. He's just a much better player. So if I'm averaging 30 a game or 32 a game, that 32 drops to, I don't know, let's say 29 or 28.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot more efficient. Does that mean that I'm falling off? No. That means that I'm getting other guys involved. That does not mean that at all. I feel like other guys are getting involved. I'm getting the other guys involved. I'm doing other things to make my team better. So I don't think Shai has to have to give me 33 a game, which if he did give me 33 a game, I think we having a way different conversation about him for 5 more years if I'm getting 33 a game at this efficiency. But I don't think that we have to get that from him, considering he's already over the last 3 years, averaged over 30 a game and been a pretty efficient guy.
And been first team All NBA caliber, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Ron talks about the free throws. Ron, don't forget, I lead the league in scoring without going to the stripe. Let's make sure we're clear about that. Like of all the guys in the league, I lead the league in scoring without going to the stripe. I average 24/7. That's what Irv averages, and he goes to the stripe. That's right outside the top 10. So I mean, that's before I even get to the stripe. So when you're talking about him and Allen Iverson in terms of players and in terms of peaks, if I could get 5 more years of Shai being as efficient as he is, if I can get him being the bucket getter that he is, and that defense stays where it is, yeah, I think we have a separation.
Allen Iverson isn't even a name I want to talk about.
Yep.
The guy I want to talk about now, granted, if Shai has 5 more years, like his peak's going to be much longer than this guy.
D-Wade.
But those 2 years, no, let's leave D-Wade out of this. Those 2 years we got from T-Mac,
Oh, T-Mac. Okay.
Oh yeah, Shai's better than him too. But I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I will put Shai's peak above
Yeah,
T-Mac.
Shai's better.
Why
Than
he,
T-Mac.
Okay,
bro,
his peak.
I don't understand why you keep fighting that, Ron. The dude
his-
led the league in scoring and shot 41% from the floor.
Hey, his
That's how
peak
we gotta
might
go
be
over
better.
it.
His peak might be better. He's not a better player than T-Mac.
He's a better player than T-Mac, Ron. I'm sorry.
He is not.
How are we evaluating better players?
I don't know how Ron's doing it.
Yeah. Like I want to know your metric, Ron. You gotta talk to me. What's your metric for evaluating
So
a
to
better
run to the 41%, okay, yeah, that's kind of nasty. But then obviously you got to
That's
add
not
some
kinda
air
nasty.
attack.
That's not kind of nasty.
You got to add everything into that.
What year was he 41%? Let's look at some team.
He led the league in scoring. I want to say in 2003, 2002 or 2003, he averaged
2004.
Well, he shot 45%. He shot 45%.
Yeah, in 03, he shot 45.7%, average 32. In 04, he led the league in scoring again, average 28, shot 41.7%. So, yeah. But 03, quite good.
He was fire in 03, 100%.
Once again, what was that relative to league average? What, he shot a couple percent of the league average?
That's a good
1%?
question.
I mean,
was he at league average? I'm saying obviously everybody. Kobe was inefficient during that time. You guys, we just brought up Allen Iverson. You guys slander Allen Iverson, but somebody has brought up the point before that Allen Iverson was right around league average.
The average field goal percentage was 44% in 04.
Oh, so now he was above league average. So now we can ask.
In 04 when he shot 41.7,
the
average was 44.
So he was below.
Oh, no, 03 he was above league average field goal percentage. Yeah, for sure. By 1.5%.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, like Jay asked me, what am I evaluating? I'm just evaluating overall game. I think T-Mac was a better defender. I think T-Mac was a better scorer than Shai. He was bigger than Shai. He was a better passer than Shai. Like all of that. More athletic than Shai. Mid-range, I give it to Shai, but T-Mac was still a bad motherfucker in that mid-range area.
Who was better at driving to the basket and scoring?
Shai is smaller, and he's more physical going to the basket.
Tracy McGrady was a better
T-Mac was going to the basket, putting people in the hoop.
Yeah, Tracy
T-Mac was getting downhill. Like, let's not make no mistake.
I hear that, but like I'm mentioning, like how much frequently did he get to the basket compared to Shai?
That rack. But then also too, here's also the thing too. Once again, we got to put error into context. Into context.
Oh, man.
Like it was so much harder to get to the rack in the 2000s where bigs were camping in the paint. You had two bigs. It was more physical. So like I'm not using that to tax T-Mac. If we're talking about today, if T-Mac played today, T-Mac is living in the paint. Living in the paint. He's getting there at will.
Well, we have two bigs in lineups today. We got Mobley and we got Jared Allen. We got Hartenstein and we got Chet. We got two big lineups.
Now give me three other teams.
Let's see, two big lineups. We got Cat and we got Robinson.
Cat. Oh man,
known rim deterrent. Cat.
Yeah, we got.
But we have the center. Like they run that lineup rarely.
Yeah, the Rockets run Şengün and Steven Adams.
Yes.
Yeah, but
we do have two big lineups, no doubt. But I think the separator is we got a lot more space because those bigs, like Shaq didn't have to worry about David Robinson or Tim Duncan stepping out to the long ball line on the regular. He didn't have to worry about that, right? So, Ben Wallace doesn't have to worry about Kevin Garnett being 22 feet away from the basket on the regular. No, he didn't have to worry about that. He not nearly as much. Kevin Garnett was a body
17, 19.
17, but he didn't have to worry about him being out there on the regular, right? Kevin Garnett played on the block a lot more than he wasn't just a jump shooting big. We got a lot of guys today like Brook Lopez who stand out on the long ball line.
Yeah,
we got a bunch of bigs like that. Bigs back then didn't have to worry about that. So I feel like the spacing is a lot different. So Tracy McGrady, for all intents and purposes, is now looking at the lane where, now Ox, that's interstate number 5.
Chill, it's the Red Sea.
Right. That's interstate 5 now that we jumping on. And this is what it looks like.
We talking about team.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends what team you put him on. Because if you put him on today's Orlando Magic, there ain't no space.
Franz still gets to the hoop.
Of course, I'm not saying not gonna get to the hoop. I'm saying there ain't no space. That's what I'm saying.
Ron, T-Mac was getting to the cup when the paint was packed. It don't matter.
Of course, good players are gonna get where they want to go, regardless of the era. Like That's not what I'm saying.
It's kind
I'm
of
not
my
saying
point
he's
with
gonna
that.
get to the rim less. What I'm saying is the idea that he's just gonna. I've seen someone in the chat say he's gonna average 42 in today's game.
That's
Seriously.
bullshit, bro.
That's bullshit.
I mean, it's
I mean,
not that.
I'm not.
that number's bullshit. That
No.
number's bullshit.
I'm saying that, no.
tired.
I'm saying that's
I'm
bullshit.
really
I'm saying that's
tired
bull-
of hearing how every player who
I'm tired of that
30,
bullshit, bro.
20 years ago
Not
would
every
average
player,
40
Mars.
today.
He
But
can
every
average 42
player-
a night.
Every
No,
single
bro.
player who averaged 30 20 years ago, I have been told
It's gonna
in the
average
last
40
2
something,
years
yeah,
would
bro.
average 40
All
in
right.
today's game.
T-Mac,
So
Jordan, and Iverson. T-Mac, Jordan, and Iverson. Okay.
All right.
I'm Kobe.
even-
Hey, 42 is still crazy, but shit, I see where you're coming from, though.
I'm
38%.
I'm sick of it. Every player who averages.
All right, but Morris, can we get down to the bottom of the real ones that'll do it? Like, okay, I
No
know
one is
everybody
averaging
wanna do it.
40.
Kobe, Jordan, T-Mac.
I think the only name I would
And
really
obviously-
entertain is probably Jordan, and even then, it's.
I don't think
I don't think I understand what- I don't think I understand what 40-point average is.
you
I
guys
think we
just
do
say,
understand.
oh, he
But
averaged
just average now, you got
30
40,
era,
bro.
so give him 6 extra free throws. So he's gonna average like that's not how it works. You're not
That's
averaging
not how it
40.
works.
Gifted 40.
No, I mean,
Gifted
we just
40
is a lot,
keep
yeah.
That's on a
we just gonna
Tuesday.
keep saying you would. Y'all gonna keep saying
That's what I'm saying. You can have 40 on
Yeah,
a
that's
Tuesday,
40 is on a
70 on a
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
So
40 is
on a Tuesday, I'm 40. On a good night, on a good night when I'm feeling really good, I'm 47.
On a
48.
bad night,
On
it's
a
like
night
20,
where, I'm
28.
You know how
You know?
bad
30.
28 would be if you're averaging 40?
That's what I'm saying.
Equivalent of Shea
like
scoring 12.
32.
It's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
30,
Well,
30,
it's like
32.
16, but like, you get my
30.
point.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Thirty-
Yeah.
A bad night
get
when
it.
you averaging 40, a bad night is like 28. That's a bad night if you averaging 40.
Horrific night.
That's 12 points below your average, right? And on a good night, like I said, on a good night, I'm like I got it going. I'm 55. I'm 50 to 55 on a good night.
Yeah.
On a night when I ain't missing, I'm 70 to 80. That's 40 a night. That's what 40 a night looks like. Man, that's a lot of damn points, yo.
40,
A
like
lot.
40 is ridiculous. Like, 40 is not happening, especially with the regularity that apparently every great scorer from yesteryear.
Yeah, I'm not on that, bro.
We're not
Like,
saying
every-
every.
not
We just
every,
gave you
Mark, not
three
every.
days. I'm
Listen,
just saying the fourth. I don't.
I'm gonna be
I don't
honest.
agree with that.
No disrespect, bro, but
I
like
didn't say fourth because you said Kobe. I didn't even say Kobe, but
I feel like T-Mac gets like routinely overrated. I really don't want to talk about him.
Hey,
I want to ask about.
hey,
I don't care. That's fine. I want to ask the question, right? Shea versus Harden to me is the conversation I want to have because I have a lot of respect for James Harden
You want to come on T-Mac to talk about Harden?
because Harden's a better player than T-Mac. Sorry to tell you that,
No,
Ron.
he's not.
Yes, he
He
is.
is, Ron.
No.
James Harden is clearly a better basketball
So we
player
don't
than
know.
I love
No,
Very,
say
very
what you want to
clearly
say.
better
A better
player.
scorer.
Very
Now,
clearly
we're talking
better.
about basketball player.
He's a
We
better
just talked
player.
about two sides of the basketball, right?
Oh my goodness, man, with this
Nah,
T-Mac shit.
before I got up here, y'all were saying that SGA is better than T-Mac. Is what I walked.
Well,
with.
it started with
Yeah.
Allen Iverson.
What it
Then
started
went to
with
T-Mac.
among shooting guards, where does SGA's peak rank? Is it top 5? Even
Right.
though he's not a shooting guard, but we said for the sake of the conversation, let's
Yeah.
say he is. I
I
said
think it's
I
an
would
over.
have him in the top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
Then we had SGA. Then we discussed SGA versus Allen Iverson. I picked SGA. Gifted picked SGA. Then we had a conversation about Allen Iverson's peak. Blah blah blah. Then Ron brought it over to T-Mac. I said I think SGA.
He's not in the convo, bro.
He's absolutely in the combo.
No, no, the fuck he's not in the convo.
Gifted now thinks T-Mac is overrated.
Allen Iverson.
And then we started talking about how T-Mac could average 40.
Who is
That's-
putting T-Mac in the convo with Wade, Jordan, and Kobe? Who's doing that?
Who is in the
I'm
combo?
putting
All
Jordan
time,
Brand.
all
I'm
time
making it
in terms of.
abundantly
Who's
clear.
putting
Yeah,
Shea
bro.
in that conversation?
2003.
How did
T-Mac
Shea get here?
was in that conversation.
He's asking where Shea would be hypothetically if he was to carry it.
Behind T-Mac. Behind T-Mac.
I'm saying, Ron. In his question, he said, if we're considering Shea to be a shooting guard, and he
Yes.
did this shit for like 5 more years, if Shea averages what he's doing right now this season for 5 more fucking years, T-Mac is nowhere near close to the fucking door, let alone the house of where Shea will be at.
If we're talking about the
Like, this
longevity,
gas and
which
T-Mac be-
obviously we would have to talk about that. If T-Mac averages 30, or if SGA averages 30 for 8 straight seasons, okay. Like,
That's a lot of seasons.
it's
That's a
going
lot of
to-
seasons averaging 30 points.
it's going to be a separator. What I said is we're talking about just at their apex. Who's better?
And Shea at his apex is a better player than T-Mac, period.
Today,
I agree. I just
Nah.
don't agree with Gifted.
That's what's up.
It's not no
not.
period. There's no period on the end of that. You know what I'm saying?
and I just
SJ's better
outlined
than
everything
T-Mac,
for you
period.
guys.
I just think
believe that T-Mac does
I just
better
think
than
we're
Shai.
wasting time with the T-Mac conversation because I think the James Harden conversation is a more interesting one. I think I have Harden personally, but
which I could get with that Gifted, but
yeah.
All I want you to do, my man, is Tracy McGrady was nice as hell.
I don't be falling for that nice for hell shit. I like cool, bag work. That's fine.
You can
You ain't even watch
Chill. You can hear how Gifted is saying. There's no point.
Chill. I see you smiling. Chill. I see you smiling, laughing. So you agree with me? You agree with me on that?
I 100% said that, but I think it's the conviction in your voice that's
yes, because it annoys me so much when we do this shit for players, but we don't talk about the results and their performances in the highest moments. Like, what was T-Mac really?
Because he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
I just think T-Mac loses
I know what I'm talking about.
once you start.
What series? Hang on. What series has T-Mac had that's similar to what Shai did versus the Mavericks last year?
Similar to what
Shai
Shai
did
did
versus
versus the Mavericks. I'm talking about who was a better basketball player at the what I'm talking about the conversation we're having. Who's better right here? Up here, who's better?
To me, it's
I think Shai.
Okay, I understand. I heard y'all say that. What I'm saying is, you asked me a question. What I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna go to one playoff series and say, oh, well, he was better in this playoff series. He was better in this playoff series. That's not how I look at who's a better overall basketball player. Now, to your point, Gifted, if SGA were to do something like this for 4, 5, 6, 7 more years, obviously he's had a much better career than Tracy McGrady. And I'm fine with that. I think inferior players have better careers than superior players all the time. That's normal. It's just basketball. That happens. You know what I'm saying? So
I just think we're saying this is Shai's best.
I just think if this is his best and T-Mac's best, I think it's a conversation to be had. Sure. I think SGA has definitely gained that respect.
I mean,
I think 03 T-Mac is really good. I just think T-Mac loses out once you start factoring in the years around 03. 03 is clearly better than every other year.
And that's what I think the conversation has been. Yeah.
04 is a dropper from 03.
It's
03 T-Mac. 03 T-Mac was shooting pull-up threes at 39%. 03 T-Mac was doing some crazy things. If 03 T-Mac existed for 4 years, he'd be in some ridiculous conversation. 04, he was still amazing, but he was clearly not as good as he was in 03, in my opinion. 03 T-Mac, I'll have a conversation about him against anyone. I'll have a 03 T-Mac versus Dwayne Wade conversation. I would do that. That's how good I think 03 T-Mac was. I just think 04 is and then you get to 05 and 06 is and then 02 is
I'm just saying, if we're factoring in a multitude of years, right? And we're saying that Shai plays at this level for the next 4 to 5 years. By the way, before this year, Shai was already first team all NBA caliber. This shit is like a historic point guard season we're seeing, period. So I'm saying, if we're seeing this for a multitude of years, how the fuck does T-Mac hold a candle to it when you have more years than 03? He does not.
Because you're not supposed to be talking about the whole career. I thought we were talking about the peak. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No, but they're saying peak in terms of multiple prime years. That's what they're saying. We're not saying single season. We're saying peak in terms of multiple prime years. So I'm saying, if we have to extend past 03 for T-Mac to, contend with multiple years of Shai just at this level, I don't know what the convo really is. Well, I don't think that is a convo.
Here's the thing. So I guess I can even clarify this.
Yeah.
Y'all could keep still just running 03. I think T-Mac in 02 was better. I think Mac in 04 was better.
See, you're wrong. Now you're on drugs. Now you're on drugs. Now you're on drugs. Now you're on drugs. Now you need help. Now you need help.
05 T-Mac was the shit throughout that whole moment in time.
That's four seasons right
there. A heavy twin baby.
I don't know.
Juan is a heavy twin baby.
02 and 03. 02 and 03 for sure. 04, 05. I think that's 4 or 5 seasons right there.
So 4 or 5 seasons better than this season of Shai duplicated for 4 years.
05, 06.
What I'm saying is, look, we haven't seen the extra ones from SGA yet, so we haven't seen it yet. We're being but
we're saying hypothetical.
Okay, now listen, I understand that. Let me finish. Let me tell you what I'm saying, Gifted.
Yeah.
Okay,
now, 03 in this year. Give me T-Mac. You know what I'm saying? So now you got 3 more years from T-Mac. 02, 04, 05. Now that's all I'm saying. I just need 2 more years from SGA.
03, 04, and 05. Those four years.
02, 03, 04, 05. Yeah.
Those 4 years of Tracy McGrady. And this
you were going all the way to Houston?
Oh my God.
And this
I'm
Tracy
gonna do what I gotta do,
Don't,
Mars.
don't,
I go where I gotta go, Mars.
Don't sleep on Houston.
Hey, Mars, wherever I gotta go, I'm going.
I'm not like I think T-Mac was still a really good player. He was like a top 10 player. I'm fairly confident.
caliber. Yeah.
Like
He's
that's
top
cool,
10.
but like
Yeah.
All 3 T-Macs better
Nah.
than this. Yeah.
But no, though.
like 03, I'm 03, I'm
Yeah.
fine to have the conversation.
Yes, yes.
five.
All three T-Mac is better than this.
Hey,
this
hey,
yeah, they lost me, brother.
04, 05, since y'all want to
That's
talk that playoff shit, gifted. T-Mac averaged 30 in the playoffs for his four straight years in the playoffs.
And I showed the splits.
04, 05, they took Dallas to 7.
Not show the splits.
T-Mac wasn't an inefficient playoff scorer
At all.
He was a bucket getter in the playoffs.
Now
better-
the
he was better
issue
in the
is it's a
playoffs.
3 theory sample because he kept losing in round 1.
But
But Shea has a 2 series sample.
I agree.
So we can't even laugh at that. Shea only has the Pelicans and the Dallas series. That's all.
But then Shea also has the
And
regular
respectfully,
season.
And if we gonna keep that in context, if we're gonna keep
What?
that, if we're gonna keep that in
Rockets
context to it too, let's just
Rockets.
assume
He's a kid.
Zion's there last year.
Yeah,
If we just gonna keep adding
this
stuff
Shea.
to it.
Yeah, the real Shea.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Let's just keep adding stuff. Y'all want to keep adding stuff to it. What about this with T-Mac? What about that with T-Mac? Well, what if Zion don't tear his hamstring or whatever he did last year?
Like,
I don't even want to have a Zion conversation.
aside from chilling
Boy.
Mars, can anybody tell me who T-Mac was playing with on those Orlando Magic teams?
What do you mean aside
Aside from chilling Mars,
I mean,
tell
that's-
me. T-Mac
Gifted,
didn't have an
Gifted, I
all-time
think
great
this-
defense.
Yeah, Gifted, I think this is for you.
I'm not answering that.
I know you're not answering.
I'm
We
not.
don't
I'm
gotta-
not.
we don't gotta
I'm
answer
not even
that.
breaking that down.
We
My
don't
question
gotta-
for
we
you,
don't gotta do
Ron.
that. We don't gotta do
Ron,
that.
my question for you is this, right? I
Yeah, no,
understand
Chris
your
is
love for T-Mac. What my question for you is, again, if we're just saying in a vacuum, this season of Shea, right?
Mhm.
To his point, if this season of Shea repeats for 3 more seasons, and we're just comparing that to, let's say, 03 T-Mac, 04, 05, are you saying that those years that T-Mac has in a vacuum are going to be better than those seasons for Shea? That's all I'm saying. That's my only point.
I mean, here's the thing: if we're hypothetically speaking, and once again, if Shea averages 30 for 6, 7, 8
Exactly what you're
seasons,
seeing him do this season. Just imagine he does that 2 more years in a row.
Yeah, if he does that, he has a better career.
I've already said
He
that.
has a better peak.
No, but was
and-
he better though?
No,
Is my question.
no,
See,
unless he plays better.
I don't get that.
Than 03 T-Mac, he's not better than T-Mac. He had a better career than T-Mac. He might turn out to be a better winner than T-Mac, but he
Okay, so you're saying 04 and
5 better
wait.
defenders. He might got 5 better defenders on his
I hear that,
team
but you're
make
saying
it-
that 04 and 05 T-Mac are better than this year, Shea?
and 02.
Wait, you
Okay,
think
so-
05 T-Mac is better than Shea?
I didn't say
He's saying-
05. No, I said
No, I just
03,
asked you. I just asked you 05.
03, 04.
I
So-
said 05. I said 05.
05 in the
I was trying to add the next.
And 05 in the playoffs.
I was just trying
Okay,
to
so
add
you're saying
that-
02, 03, 04 T-Mac
You
was
guys
better
have
than
no-
this
Hey,
year, Shea?
You guys have
26,
no
27.
clue how good T-Mac was.
Okay.
You have
I've
no
been praising
clue how
T-Mac
good
on this
T-Mac
show
was.
for 2 years. I've been T-Mac's my favorite player.
Mars, I'm not really talking to you. I mean, but even with you though,
I ain't with that shit, man.
I still think you selling T-Mac short against SGA.
I said I'm fine with 03 being a conversation. I'll have that conversation. I ain't with you on this 04, 05.
05
I'm
is just
not-
nasty, bro.
I'm not with
Right.
you on that. Personally,
You can let
Like,
that go.
I mean this with all due respect.
Where-
You guys know I'm not the team success guy. The 04 Magic won like 20 games.
They lost 18 straight games that
They
season.
suck.
18 straight.
Like, cool. Team
They
like
were
led the league in
garbage.
scoring. And
They
I
were
understand
trash.
they didn't have a lot of help. I understand that. The team won like 20 games.
They lost 18 straight games at one
Okay,
point.
be that as it
He
may,
won
be
like
that as it
20
may. I would love
And he was
to hear
worse
what
than
y'all.
he was the year before.
Now,
I don't
remember,
understand
Mars,
how that
now-
he's
now-
still
now-
better than Shea. I don't understand that.
Now,
I
remember,
still
Mars,
just want to
team
know
success?
where would
Look,
these
I said
teams be
the
with
team
Shea?
won like
Where-
20 games, and he was worse than he was the year before. I said both of those things.
Yeah,
He was
but
playing worse. The team was worse, and they won like 20 games. All
I
of
don't-
them. I don't
now-
understand how you're praising this 04 season like it was like.
I'm
oh,
praising
T-Mac
what I
was
seen
T-Mac.
from T-Mac. I don't
Right,
have
Mars,
to. You
listen,
be the main person
How
saying
many
don't
04
complain.
T-Mac games you watch?
You be
The Christmas game against the Cavs. That's it.
there. What you talk about? I was there.
How many you watch?
I was leaving school, putting on TNT and watching T-Mac get busy.
I know.
Night in and night out.
Magic, yeah, how
Night
many
in and
games
night
you
out. Yes. I was
No,
there.
we said you were definitely
T-Mac
you
gave
were-
me-
you were definitely
We
there.
want to watch the T-Mac
know
Mars.
that.
You wasn't watching Tracy McGrady play basketball. Oh my
Oh,
God! I hate when
I'm
y'all
not gonna lie,
do
bro.
this.
You could have watched it all you want.
Oh,
That shit don't mean nothing when I'm.
How many Shea games?
I'm
did I
sorry,
watch?
bro.
I say you ain't watch T-Mac play.
How many Shea? Okay, what if I didn't watch Shea play? What? I don't understand what the
was in
point
that
you're trying to
eighth
make.
grade.
The
watching
question I'm asking,
basketball.
The same way
we are
I'm here
talking about-
watching
we are talking about
Shea.
single seasons. We are not
That's
talking
all
about
I
careers.
wore. T-Mac.
I
Yes.
don't question that everyone up here has watched T-Mac. I don't question that. What I asked, because we're talking about 2004.
Yes.
Tracy McGrady. So
Yes.
I'm asking you,
In his
how
peak,
many
at his
of
best.
the 20-win Magic team did you watch? How many games of that team did you watch?
A lot.
Morris, I
And
can't
then,
tell you.
how
I
many
can't
of them
tell
do
you.
you
I
remember?
can't tell you how many games of Shea I watched this year. I don't just have a.
So how
I
many
can't just be
04
like, oh, I watched Shea play.
I don't know for
32
sure,
of
Mons.
his
I don't know for sure, Mons, but I
64
can
games.
guarantee.
I
But
don't
I can
know.
guarantee it was more than
I
yours.
watched enough.
That's one thing I can
Cool.
guarantee.
I
And
watched
then
enough.
I'm
I was
just
there.
asking you a
I
question.
lived
This
through
is
it.
a
I'm sure it
20-year-old
was more than
memory.
you
Like,
and
there is no
Gifted
way
added
you expect me
together.
to
I
believe
know that much.
you aren't conflating
Oh, wow.
years of T-Mac. There's no way you expect me
Know
to
that,
believe
for sure.
that your 20-year-old memory is not conflating 03 T-Mac,
Yeah.
02 T-Mac, and 04
Well,
T-Mac
mine,
all in one. And that's not a problem that people
Mars,
do
because
that. But there's no way you expect me to remember that you just remember 04 T-Mac as its own
I
entity.
remember
And
that
there's no
whole
doubt.
stint. 02, 03, 04.
That's
I
what
just
I'm
said to
saying,
you.
Ron. You
I
remember
just-
the stint. I'm
I
saying
just-
04. That's it.
I just said this to you.
Don't let him hit you
I
with
just
that
said
pin
this to
shit,
you.
Ron. He's trying to
I
tell
know what he's
you
trying to do.
that your memory
I
is
just said this to
confused
you.
for memory.
Whether or not he was at his peak in 03, I said even if he played a step down from that, I
Right.
still believe he was better than Shea.
That's whatever. Like, I'm not.
But-
I know what you're saying doesn't make sense.
No,
Like, I know
Mark,
what
at
I'm
first-
saying
at
is
first I
You're
didn't-
doing the thing that you get mad at
I
everybody else about comparing a player to
Right.
his other version of himself.
Right.
Regardless of whether
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't as good
the
as
reason
03.
it's relevant. The reason that's relevant in this discussion is because we're having a conversation about 03 T-Mac versus
Yep.
Shea, and I even said I think that's fine. I think that's a fine conversation because of how highly I view 03 T-Mac. Then Gifted asked the astute question of if Shea continues doing this level of production, playing this well for the next 3 years, so that means he has 3 years playing at this level that is already in the conversation with 03 T-Mac. That would then mean that T-Mac, although 03 is the best he ever was, he is now going to have 1 year in the conversation with Shea.
Right.
And for some reason, you don't seem to think that T-Mac's decline is relevant to this conversation. But T-Mac being worse than he was in 03 in the surrounding years is absolutely relevant. And the question being asked is if Shea retains this level of performance. Shea is going to have 3 years at this level. T-Mac is going to have 1 year at the level that's in the conversation and
No,
2 years
02,
that are
That's
worse
in
than
your
yours.
conversation. That's in
02.
your
You're
conversation.
having a conversation.
I'm
Your
saying-
conversation,
I said,
what?
Oh, I know we're all having a conversation. In your thought, 03 is up here and the T-Mac's down here and it's no discussion. In my thought, in my brain, 03 is up here, 04 is here, and 04 is still in the conversation with Shea.
Okay,
I asked you 03, 04, 05, though.
I said
04
02,
is 04
said
is
05. I said 02,
If 04 is
03,
here, where is
04.
Shea? Okay, so ignore 03 T-Mac. He doesn't exist. He's wrong.
Okay.
04 T-Mac. Where is current Shea?
We are still having this conversation.
No, we're not.
See, now you
No,
lost
we
me.
are not, Ron. Hell no,
See,
we're
now you
not.
lost me. Now you lost
No,
me.
we're not.
Okay.
No, we're
And
not.
what about 02? Chill. What about 02?
02 is better than 04.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So why? Because I want to stand on 02 and 03. All right, y'all. We can leave 05 out
That's
of here.
better. That's
And if
better.
y'all don't want to talk about
04
04,
was just not-
fine. But 02 and 03 are here. Okay,
I
02
won't
and
argue
03
that.
are here.
03 is here and 02
isn't better. 02
Right. But 20 and
Yeah,
25,
I get what you're
03
saying.
here, 02 and 25. It's right.
Right.
Here.
02 is better than 02 is better than 04, but it's not better than 03. But in 04, Ron, if I remember correctly, because I live in South Florida, so I was around when that was going on. That was when they lost 18 straight games. He did put 60 on Washington, I believe. It was during that time, during that 18 game losing streak. I think he had another 45-point game. He was doing everything he could to keep Orlando competitive. They were garbage because he was running around with dudes like Tony Battie, Matt Harpring. Like these are the dudes that he had on his
Tyronn
crew.
Lue.
These are the dudes that he had.
I watched that Christmas game they played against the Cavs last week. T. Lue was hooping. Put some respect. Put some respect for T-Lou. He was hooping in that
I don't
game.
like this
I'll
shit.
pull out the box score right now.
Tyloo
Tyloo had a
wasn't no
good
bum.
game.
Tyloo
I
wasn't no
will pull
bum
up
at
that
all.
box score right now.
I'm
That
not saying he
Christmas
was a
game against the
bum.
Cavs. Let's see what
Yeah, no, I
Tyloo
know you're not saying that. All I'm saying is that just for context, I don't
He
think
had a-
Tyloo was a bum at all.
He had a
But
level
I do think it's quite funny. I do think it's quite funny that right now in this conversation and in this conversation only, it's certain individuals now up here and in the chat that are all about, well, he didn't make it out the first round. But when we do that with other players, it's like, oh, y'all got to remember, basketball is a team sport. Just because you didn't make it out of here, make it out of there, doesn't mean nothing. So now we doing this for T-Mac.
I just don't think 04 T-Mac as good as this year's Shai.
But Gifted, you're also standing on this not being a team sport anymore. But that's just because that helps your argument right now today. You keep talking about the first round exit. But when it comes to other players, and I've heard this from both of y'all. Don't tell me I haven't. I've heard this from both of y'all. Y'all always want to remind everybody that this is a team sport. But when I ask you, okay,
T-Mac for losing. So
okay, that's fine. That's fine, Mark. That's fine,
Mark.
Hold on. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. Don't get this. Stay focused. Stay focused. So you wasn't talking about them.
When did I ever blame T-Mac?
You don't have to say you blame T-Mac, but what you're saying insinuates that it insinuates that enough.
Okay. All right. So let's not deal with insinuation.
No, because we're not.
Let's deal with what was said.
Let's stay focused.
I'm with you.
Because that already happened. We're not going to go back and act like it didn't. But when we ask you, okay, well, who did he play with? Or when we ask you, well, what would happen if you put Shai on that 04 team? You say nothing. It's just straight crickets. So I'm just saying we got to keep the same energy. You know what I mean?
But the same energy is being kept.
I agree with that.
My energy's been consistent though. Again, I feel like this year it is. I feel like this year of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if we're repeating this for 2 more seasons, right? I understand the 03 argument. That's fine. I asked specifically 04, 05. That was my initial question. Ox said he believes 05 can contend. I thought that was kind of crazy. Ron is saying 02, 03, 04, right, Ron?
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying I don't think I agree with that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I think Shai has been a better player in those spots. I don't blame him for being the sole reason why they lose, though.
You don't like that people ignore what you produce. And then you brought up T-Mac's playoff moments. And then you brought that up in relation to Shai. And then I said, well, T-Mac played well in the first round and lost 2. And then you didn't say anything. That's the point Ox is alluding to. You was insinuating.
This is why Renegade was on your ass.
You was insinuating that T-Mac's playoff shortcomings were because of him. Whereas Shai's... That's what insinuating.
So then
didn't want to talk about the roster. And then
said you're not going to answer who was on the roster. That's what.
Hey, you ain't going to be able to get them frees against Jordan. You better got the frees against Renegade.
I'm not going to. Can we talk about like?
Yeah, go ahead. Go off.
I will let us talk about that.
Hold on, we gonna get there though. We're gonna get there.
What I want to get back.
Okay. All right.
Gifted, I want to get back to why is it more of a conversation with James Harden than it is with Tracy McGrady? What's the point with James Harden? What's your logic with James Harden more than Tracy McGrady?
Well, Harden's also better than T-Mac, and I think that the elite,
focus.
Yes.
I want to know the answer to that though. Mars, why is he better than T-Mac?
I think the James Harden conversation with Shai to me is more integral because I think James Harden's peak is higher than T-Mac's. I think his peak is easily one of the best peaks in basketball. And I'm trying to see how close Shai is to really getting in that conversation with James Harden, for me personally.
He's in that conversation.
So the best,
I agree
so the best version of James Harden, which I'm gonna say is 18. I think
it's 19.
You think it's 19?
Yeah, very clearly 19. He won the MVP in 18, so if you want to go with that, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
19 though.
I thought it was 18, but okay, if you want to say 19, sure.
No, go with what you think. We think if you think it's 18, I think it's 18. Yeah. If you think it's 18, go 18.
Hell, bro, what is wrong with you?
I think it's 18. So
okay,
with as good as James Harden was, how he revolutionized the game as an offensive player, as a bucket getter, as a long ball shooter, as a ball handler, as a distributor and a playmaker, and also getting to the stripe the way he did. Like they talk about Shai today being a quote unquote foul baiter. I mean, I thought James Harden was much better. Not necessarily a foul baiter, but just
He was a foul. Hey, we could be honest.
I'm not saying
He was a foul
I'm
baiter.
He was a foul baiter.
Yeah.
We can be honest.
He was 100% into it. And
I'm not saying that he wasn't a foul baiter. 100%.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he wasn't a foul baiter. What I am saying though is I felt like James Harden at that time did a much better job than a lot of other guys give him credit for at drawing contact, getting to the rim, because he got downhill a lot. And those one of the main reasons why he got to the stripe. And how much more efficient he was as a distributor. Like he made guys.
He was a way better playmaker than Shai.
He made Clint Capella more viable. He made Clint Capella more viable as a big. Like,
Absolutely.
Does Shai make Hartenstein more viable as a big? And could James Harden 18 make Hartenstein more viable as a big than what Shai did?
Are you saying more viable than James Harden would?
Well, they play differently. Like,
they play differently.
Hartenstein is the perfect big for Shai, whereas Clint Capella was like the perfect big for Harden. It's like with Luka and Harden, I know they don't play it exactly like, but you give them a lob threat. With a guy like Shai, you need someone who can play in the middle of the floor, be that. Like so, like Hartenstein is the perfect big for Shai, the same way Capella was the perfect big for Harden. Like they both make them better in the same way, in my opinion.
Shai can, but James Harden could play in the middle of the floor too, and I think that he can make, especially with that push shot that Hartenstein has at the mid post and at the free throw line. I think James Harden and pick and pop.
Yeah, that's how he uses Zoo. That's how he uses Zoo.
Yes, he would be. I think those two guys would be fantastic. Now, for all intents and purposes, we've seen Shai in the playoffs, and he had a bonehead play last year, which basically cost them the series. James Harden has had his shortcomings in the playoffs. Same logic. But when we're talking about these guys, player for player. And again, I think 18. You guys say 19. I think it's 18 Harden. When I think about 18 Harden,
why do you say 18 Harden over 19? I just want to ask.
I just feel like I feel like the quality of his buckets, being on that Houston team, I feel like the quality of his shots, him getting downhill and drawing fouls, him getting everybody else involved. The way I think he averaged double digit assists that year. I think he was.
No, that was 2017. He averaged.
So it was 17.
2018, he averaged, I don't know, like 7 assists. That was the year Chris Paul got there. And then 2019,
like 87 assists, I think.
That's when Chris Paul got there, right?
Let me look. I don't want to just start saying numbers that are wrong.
I don't know.
I just want to make sure. So in 18, I feel like with
in
Chris
2017, he averaged 11 assists. In 2018, your year, he averaged 8.8. So basically,
he averaged almost 9. So
and in 2019, he averaged 7.5.
Right. So. And I just feel like I said, as a distributor and with Clint Capella, I feel like he made Clint Capella more viable as a pick and dive and a lob threat guy. I feel like him getting to the rim every night, it was just him being able to get a bucket whenever, wherever, and he kept them in every game that they played. And for them to win 65 games that year, that was largely due to what James Harden was doing.
I think you saw more of that in 19.
Did you know in 2019, James Harden scored more than 40, more than he scored less than 30?
Yes. Yes.
19. That was the
2019.
Was that the 50-10 year?
The 60-10 year.
60-10 year, that's what I'm thinking about. Was that the 60-10 year? And didn't he have something ridiculous like 5 straight games where he was averaging like 45 or 50?
He averaged 40 a game for 41 games.
Yeah, so for half,
I think he scored the most unassisted points
in January of 2019.
You're wrong about that stat.
But here's what I'm thinking, because I know how you guys feel about buckets, right? I know how you guys feel how important buckets are. I do think that even if you score less buckets, you can be better because you could do other things. And I feel like James Harden that year, even though he wasn't the scorer in terms of volume, I still feel like what he was doing in terms of getting everybody else involved, plus scoring the basketball, I just think that was the best James. I think that was the best version of James Harden that I had seen.
I think that you can definitely be that chill. I'm just asking, like, what skill or like thing that he did in that year didn't translate to 19 as much? Because
I feel like the playmaking.
I feel if James Harden got his MVP that he deserved in 2019, you would think 2019 Harden was the best Harden.
I think so too.
That's what I think. But it is what it is. I mean, because I think James Harden's peak years to me are like 2017 to like 2021. That would be like the peak of James Harden.
Sure, that's fair. Yeah.
But wait a minute, Mo. Are we? Because first of all, I mean, I'm on record saying is how I felt about James that year in 2018. What I thought about him being the league MVP. So the fact that James Harden didn't win the league MVP in 18, or if he did win it in 18, I mean, I thought that what James did for that Cleveland team I thought that was ridiculous because they sucked at one point. They were garbage. And for him to drag that team to the playoffs the way he did, but for James Harden, that nightmare of a Western Conference, for them to win 65 games with, I mean, did Chris Paul even make the All-Star team that year? I think he was the only All-Star on the crew. I don't think he made.
He was definitely the only other All-Star. Yeah.
I don't think he made. I think James Harden was the only All-Star on a 65-win team.
He wasn't an All-Star.
No, he was the only. James Harden was the only one on a 65-win team with Trevor Ariza and
all that. Yeah.
With Trevor Ariza. Who else am I thinking about? The long ball shooter.
TJ Tucker.
Nope, Gordon? The other one. That's what I'm thinking about. Gordon. With those guys,
the sixth man of the year, right?
Yeah, to make those guys as viable as he did, I just feel like he was the most effective that year than he was in 19.
I think he did all of that in 19. Just Chris Paul.
I think he did all that 19 to me.
Is there ever a time, Chill, where like the role players guys that you mentioned make the star more valuable?
I go wrong.
There is times. I don't know if that's
yes. How about in 21? I mean, we talk about role players, right? And we talk about how important role players are. I mean, how much better did Bobby Portis make Giannis? How much better did Drew Holiday make Giannis during that time? I mean, how much better is Jalen? How much better is Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson making Trae Young?
Right, and that's why I say that because Eric Gordon was such a demon back in the day. You know, Eric Gordon really played a backseat to guys that he was just as good as. I'm not talking about James Harden.
I didn't forget Game 7, Eric Gordon.
That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that Eric Gordon was an amazing basketball player, and you know what I'm saying. It's so I just like to make sure everybody gets their credit. Like for instance, like when DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin used to bail Chris Paul out, like just throw it somewhere by the rim, Chris, and we'll go get it. You know, just one of those.
That was definitely to be clear, Jordan and Blake Griffin. That was Terry Bradshaw throwing the ball to his wide receivers. He was just throwing the ball and
just get it up there, bro. Just throw it anywhere by the basket. We'll take care of you, Chris.
Lynn Swann was throwing the ball and Lynn Swann was catching it. He was just.
I just think that 19 Harden is one of the best players that I've seen on a night-to-night basis doing what he did. And I'm saying, like, how close can Shai be in that context?
I'm doing other things. Oh boy. Hey, we in the Matrix, guys. Don't forget.
That was crazy.
Okay, word.
I don't even say nothing. So we in the Matrix. But go ahead.
Yeah. So then I want to ask Mars. So then you believe Shai's in the conversation. So like, is he over Harden for you or no?
He's over 18 Harden for me.
What would it take for him to be over 19 Harden?
Hey man, I'm Harden FC. You know, like you trying.
I know. I gotta ask.
I'm not a big.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he's probably better than James Harden.
Why do you feel that way? I really want to know that.
I think the floor is just a lot higher. Like I think consistency. He's less reliant on the volatile shot profile. I think the pace he plays with is a lot better. Like James Harden slowed the game down a lot, which is beneficial. But Shai being able to play up tempo and then slow the game down, playing the half court as well, elite in transition. I think there's just more layers to his game. And I do think there is a major playmaking gap with James Harden, way better passer. Yeah. Like one of the smartest players. I definitely can understand that. But I still think just in terms of like overall offensive impact, I think Shai is in that realm. And then defensively.
I mean, you know, hey.
And let's be honest. So like,
what about the playmaking gap though?
He spoke. He touched on it.
Yeah, I think James Harden is like the clearly better passer, clearly better, like the better playmaker, absolutely. But I still think the offensive gap in general, like I don't think is cataclysmic. I think that's a very good word.
Good word for that. Yeah.
I think Shai is in that same realm as an offensive engine, and it might not be because he like offense is usually just like scoring plus playmaking, boom, offense.
Yeah.
Like if you add them together, like if you just add scoring plus playmaking, I'm sure it's like James Harden is clearly better. But like maybe it's the intangibles, I don't know. But I don't think Shai is just being cleared by James Harden offensively. I think the scoring is in the same realm. I think the way he controls the pace of the game makes him a far, like, that closes the gap. I think the way that he never turns the ball, he turned the ball over like 5 times last night. So last night, notwithstanding, the way he never turns the ball over, like, I think the control in the possession game is extremely valuable. And then I think just being, like I said, the higher floor, and then like the mid-range stuff that you can't really take away. He's the best driver in the sport. The attention he draws is comparable to James Harden. Like, I think all of that ultimately comes down to, it's like, I think they're in the same tier offensively. And then defensively, I'm not as low on James Harden's defense in 2019. Like, I think he's way beyond the years of like 2015 where he was just dreadful. Like, I think he's probably just meh at this point. But Shai is like a clear positive on defense. Like, he's clearly helping his team on defense in a way that I don't think James Harden did. So that's why I think Shai's probably better at this point. But like, it's not noticeable. It's like
here, yeah.
And like, hey, let Shai play poorly in the playoffs. James Harden taking.
You want his ass? Okay.
It pains me to say, but I probably do think Shai's better than James Harden. I probably do.
So do you think that like Harden's buckets are like?
I mean, I'm trying to be honest. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to be honest.
Those are good points.
I didn't assume you to be biased about it at all. I figured you wasn't going to, but at the same time, I did think that you were gonna have James Harden over Shai. For sure, dude.
I mean, I tried to avoid that question, like, because of how highly I view 2019 Harden, and it's hard for me. Like, I'd have to go back and watch some more 2019 Harden games to like.
I feel that.
To like fully have a grasp, because right now I'm saying like the last 2019 Harden game I watched was maybe like 3 months ago, so it's like I don't have like the full scope of things. So like I'm not 100% sold on me saying I think Shai might be better. Like right now, probably like 54-46 Shai's favor. Like that's where I'm at.
I'm just trying to think of like where the bar is for the scoring.
I don't know, but last night when I seen so you know we were getting pummeled for a good minute there, and then Keegan Murray decided he wanted to play a little basketball, so we had made a decent comeback. You know what I mean? We were right there, and then Shai dribbles the ball up the left side of the court. I mean, Keon's all over. You know what I'm saying? I know Keon's acting like a blanket, doing everything he can. All SGA just boom, boom, bink, just a little bink right here.
Get him off. 3,
boom, just a layup. It's a layup. Now I'm like, well, if Shai's really strong enough and just got the balance and the skill set and the patience and just the wherewithal to be able to just, you know, I'm gonna kill this whole momentum right now with just a simple, just drop your shoulder on him, put your shoulder, boom,
just go there, boom.
Layup. It's like if you really just got that in your bag now, Shai, this shit is about to get ugly, y'all. Like I think what we're seeing right now is a warm up of what Shai got to give for these next 3-4 years.
He's getting better, bro.
Year after year. That's
what I'm saying. More like if that move to you right there coming up the left side of the court is as simple as let's call it like a Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway, then
it's getting dangerous. Yeah.
Maybe we can start having T-Mac conversations.
Like I don't know what you do as someone who is a 90% free throw shooter and gets to the line 9 times a game.
Yeah, 90% on that volume
is the best driver in the league. Is the best or second best mid-range shooter in the league. Him and KD. DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him his flowers. But like top 3 mid-range shooter in the league. He's now shooting pull-up threes at a 39% clip. He doesn't bail you out often with bad shots. Like he's gonna get to wherever he wants on the floor at any time. He controls the pace of the game better than damn near anyone. He never turns the ball over. And then on the other end, like he's clearly helping you. He protects the rim. He forces turnovers.
He's a positive. Yeah.
Like what do you do with that player? Like I know people like hesitate to like say players are all-time greats as it's unfolding. Like I remember the Jokic conversations before the championship. But like I was spearheading those conversations saying this man is all-time great, like regardless of the chip. Shai is an all-time great player. Like he hasn't won, he hasn't had the playoff success. He's
on his way to
we've only seen 2 playoff series of this level of Shai. But I'm sorry, like, I'm watching an all-time great, and I'm not gonna just deny it until I see it for 3 rounds in the playoffs. Like I know what I'm watching.
And Bars, 3 years ago too, and I don't want any of this whole heated T-Mac conversation to take away anything from Shai. I believe Shai's like that. But I'm gonna keep the same energy. 3 years ago, who was T-Mac playing, or who was SGA playing with? What did that
3
team
years
look
ago?
like?
When is 3 years ago? What's that? 2022?
The first year where he averaged 30.
The pre-check. The pre-check.
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul came and got it cracking, right?
Well,
Yeah,
but
that's the
this is-
bubble.
this
But
is-
the pre-check
Is
is
this after? Is this after Chris Paul?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's way
you
off.
talking about
This
after
is
Chris
way
Paul?
off.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is they were playing Poku heavy minutes. If I remember
Poku,
correctly,
man.
Jeremiah Robinson was probably on that team. I think.
Yep,
if I
he
remember
sure was.
correctly.
Hamidou
Like,
Diallo.
These were bleak times, but
They
because
finished
they
40
kept
Respect
shutting Shea
Diallo.
down for the tank. They kept shutting Shea down as well. This was like Lou Dort before he could really shoot. Like this is
Josh Giddey still there.
Darius Baisley was on that team. I think. Like it was.
Forgot about him.
Yeah,
This is J-Dub's rookie year. But
Was Mike Muscala
Shea
there?
Mike
Yeah.
Muscala
Yeah,
was
Mike Muscala was there.
Mike
Wow. Yeah, he
Muscala
was.
is a fucking bum.
He wasn't there that
Yeah.
exact year, but he was.
He
He
wasn't
was
in
in
Philly
Philly
that
that
year.
year. He
He
might have been in
was. He
Philly
played.
that
He played
year.
43
He was
games
one of
for
those.
him. But I'm
I
saying
hate
that
Mike
just to say, like,
All right, he
Shea
did play.
was
Okay.
Shea was entering conversations that year. We just didn't really acknowledge anything because it was his first year doing it, and they weren't a good team. And obviously, everybody's going to say we need to see more. Well, at this point, 3 seasons into it, he showed us enough. And to Ox's point, and I even said this too, I believe this brother's just getting started. So
That's what I see him getting better and better.
I mean, he's 27 in the summer, so like he's the regular peak years is what you'd expect Shea to be entering.
Yeah.
I mean, so
So
far the
if he
peak
keep-
to what?
if he-
Like I would say what, maybe 22, 23, 24.
I mean, yeah, depending on the player. Like normally mid-20s is usually like on
Yeah.
average. Is
Right.
probably
25
the
to
peak
29
year.
is what I said.
That's probably the peak years
Okay.
for most people.
but then
like,
also too,
Shea been like that for years now.
For a minute,
OKC
bro.
just sucked. I remember when I first came on before the panel, Player's Choice. This is like the 2022 season. I remember talking about Shea then, and the Thunder were winning like 30 games. I don't know how many games they won. The Thunder were winning like 30 games. I was like, this Shea guy,
Good.
nice.
Yeah.
I was saying he was a top 5 shooting guard like back then,
Mhm.
and obviously he's way better than that. Like he's maybe the best.
But the
guard
thing,
in the league.
the thing
been
too,
like
though,
that.
it's not like he has to add making crazy improvements. You know what I'm saying?
No.
When you get to a certain level, it's just simple things that make you
The
much
details,
better.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Simple things that you got to work on, which would take you from this tier to the next tier. So while I do believe Shea was so this is the 24-25 season. So I think the 23-24 season was when last year was when he really got to this level. The season before that, I think he was great as well. But I do think not only is his team getting better, but I do think he's gotten better too. Like we were talking about at the beginning, that the pull-up 3 ball, adding that to your game where people can't go under screens and things like that on you, but still being such a mid-range killer like that makes
Big
it where
ad.
if you're chasing me around screens, you're just walking me into my sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? That mid-range, that's my sweet spot. So while you can't go under these screens no more, you're making it so much easier for me. So much, because this is where I want to go. But then if you do force me play any other way, now I could bang the 3 ball. There's nothing you could do with me. It's putting him in Luka Doncic's level offense. You know what I'm saying? Now he might have surpassed Luka this year. I don't know what y'all opinion is on that. But once you get into that category, you're pretty much unstoppable.
and one
He has
more
so many
thing
counters.
to the super chat, like with Jason Grills. Shout out to Jason Grills. We've been talking about this super chat for an hour. But
Yeah, we have.
to what he was talking about for Shea doing this for 5 more years, the reason why I could potentially see Shea doing this for, and I can't put a number on how long I think he's going to do this into the future. But I do just want to, look at certain guys right now. This is the longest that we've seen guys consistently play at a high level into longer years. Steph, Dame,
True.
you could throw DeMar DeRozan in there. Obviously, LeBron.
James
All of these
Harden.
guys are old, playing very good into their mid-30s. Kyrie,
Yeah.
all of these guys. So I mean, if I can look at at this past generation, James Harden too, and see what these guys are doing, it only leads me to believe that Shai's gonna age well.
Especially when
Giannis is gonna
Shea's like
age
very
well.
durable
Luka's gonna
too.
age well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
True.
all right, y'all. Kind of just how I just acknowledged. We've been talking about that for an hour. Once again, shout out to Jason Grills. That's how you send through a super chat, and that's how you
Good topic.
send us the
Yeah.
Thank you. But it is some things that are going on right now, and then we do have a little scenario that we got to get into, seeing that it's March Madness, an all-time Duke team versus an all-time Kentucky team. But before we do that, we can't let Jimmy Butler off the hook, y'all.
Oh man,
No, we can't. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you guys had overzealous expectations, and now you gonna crucify him
I didn't
for
really
you being
expect
wrong.
much out of Jimmy last night.
Like you guys gonna
I
blame
didn't
Jimmy
either.
for you guys being wrong
All
about
right,
Jimmy.
you're right, Mars. I can't
Like,
let myself.
Wait,
off
now
the hook.
you guys wrong. Mars. All I said was that I was wrong. That's all I said.
Boy, Bam was motivated as hell last night.
Like, ain't no one told you to say he was gonna have 30. Like, ain't no one told you to say that.
I thought I didn't say 30.
Go in the media and talk big bad
You
shit.
said
about
25. You
Wrong.
said
What
You
you
had him frying them, Ox. You did.
I
You had him cook-
definitely did. I had
did.
him cooking. That's the first
Yeah.
thing I said. I didn't say,
Yes,
"Oh,
you did.
Jimmy, you play like a bum." All I said was, "Boy, was I wrong." That's all.
talk about Pat Riley better not say nothing to me because I'm not gonna say something to him or whatever he said, something along them lines.
Yeah, there were quotes before the game they were dropping. I'm like, I
Jimmy
don't know,
started
man.
this shit. Yeah, I just jumped on the. I jumped in the car with Jimmy. I should have said, "Let me out, dog."
You ain't know where y'all was going. You just jumped in the car with him, like you just seen you. Man, that was crazy.
said,
But
"Yo,
Pat
Jimmy,
Riley,
let me
Pat Riley used the ultimate Jedi mind trick on Jimmy Butler ass yesterday. It was
Man.
supposed to be heat, right? It was supposed to be problems. It was supposed to be. As soon as we walked in the door, what up? And what does Pat Riley do? He puts Jimmy Butler on the jumbotron in a tribute to Jimmy Butler. Wait a minute. He comes in here thinking that it's going to be action. And you showing me love?
Yeah.
Oh man, this threw a monkey wrench in everything now. Because now Jimmy got to go from this to he's here, and now it's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, now y'all love me. Oh, I thought y'all had a lot of animosity toward me. So now that threw a monkey wrench in everything that Jimmy Butler was trying to do yesterday.
See, Jimmy should have kept the same energy. That's on him for letting his guard down. He got outfoxed. I mean, that's all. That's all that is. I mean, with that being said, though, just because they didn't want to pay Jimmy Butler $60 million at 38 doesn't mean the Miami Heat aren't a Class A organization. You know what I'm saying? That's a classy joint. So yeah, he walked into a tribute video because he earned a tribute video. Pat Riley did the right thing. But with that being said, it's still funky though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm showing you some love, but you're gonna come in here and catch this work. Jimmy should have kept his hands up. You know, that's all. Simple
Well, you know who did have their hands up last night? Bam Adebayo.
Bam was
he
so
was a
good.
two-way player.
Bam
Didn't
was
I
so
tell y'all
good,
he was
bro.
a two-way player? 27 points, 8 rebounds, a block of steal. Yeah, he had him a good night. Tyler Hero was locked in. 20.7 assists.
And I don't even expect this Bam. I oversold Bam before the season started. And Mars and I had gotten into this about what Bam could be this year. Because I thought Bam had the potential to be an all-pro this year. That's where I thought he could be. I thought he was going to be a 20-10 guy. He just came out the gate so slow. With this team, he's so much more aggressive on offense as a scorer. As a scorer, he's way more aggressive on offense as of late. And that's the kind of dude that I expect. He still turns down shots that I think he should shoot, but he's way more aggressive and looking to be more of a scorer. That's the Bam that I expected when the season started. I expected him to come out and just be a guy who, you giving me the ball, you running the offense through me, but I'm going to take advantage of mismatches. I'm going to take advantage of my matchup. If I got a smaller guy on me, which is what he did last night, when he had smaller guys on him, took him to the rim. When he got on the block, he took guys to the rim and made mid-range shots, stuff like that. That's the stuff that I expected from Bam throughout the course of the year. I only got that like the last maybe 30, 35 games. That's who Bam has been. And it's been a little bit disappointing because I expected a lot more from Bam this year. And Mars is selling me, chill. Maybe Bam just isn't as good as you think he is. Well, here's the problem. When he does stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, he is. Yes, he is as good as I think he is.
That's how I bought into the Jalen Green hype for 7 years.
That is true, man.
Wait, though.
I mean,
I seen Jalen Green last night.
He was great last night. At some point, flashes are just flashes. Like, they aren't the sign of something more. Like, these guys can have great games. Bam can have great stretches offensively. At the end of the day, he's going to be a flawed offensive player who you probably don't want to build your offense around.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. He's still a great player, and I think he should be on all defensive team this year. If he doesn't make it, I think it will be because people are just down on him because of the bad offensive year he's had. But at the end of the day, Bam is still Bam. Like, he's still who he has been. It's just who he has been for years has been a flawed offensive player. This is you expected him to take a leap because of the Olympics. and that didn't happen.
I did.
But
I did.
he's still
expect
back.
That's what it was.
100%.
Yeah.
I expected him because he came back from the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He was shooting the 3-ball over the summer. I expected him to expand his game this season, and I expected him to look for him to expand his game. And he did that for the most part in stretches, to your point. He did that for the most part. My issue is I don't expect Bam to be 25 and 12, 26 and 11. No, because I don't think he's that good as a scorer. No, but I did expect anywhere between 20 to 23 a game from Bam on a Tuesday. That's what I expected from him this season. And I was getting 17 and 14 and him turning
12
down
sometimes,
shots, 12, and he's turning down shots that I know that he can make. He's slowing down the offense, which I know he's better than. I know he's better at that stuff. I accept the fact that Bam is an offensive. He's flawed offensively. There's plenty of players in the league that are flawed offensively. But what he's good at, there's no reason why he couldn't consistently be good at that. He could knock down a mid-range jump shot. He's great in transition. He's a damn good ball handler. He's good in DHO, right? He's good in pick and dive. So with that stuff, I expected him this season, plus playing with James, plus playing with KD and Curry and having that confidence. I expected him to come back this season and be what I saw and have an expansion of what he was, only except I didn't get that.
I just want to leave you guys with this. The Golden State Warriors offense without Steph Curry, last in the league. Third.
Garbage. Trash.
Golden State Warriors offense with
Trash.
Steph Curry, sixth in the league.
MVP case?
Is that based on
MVP
points per game? Is that based on points per game? Because you know that's how we have to measure offense, points per game.
Points per game, I think they're a little higher.
Yes.
They might be second.
There we go. Now
Oh, we go-
Well, that's
Impact.
gonna happen.
Oh, Mark,
That's gonna
is there a conversation for Steph in MVP case?
Always,
It's, you got to think about his
Always.
value on offense. Look at that.
every single year. Always.
Look,
Every
what
single year.
I know y'all don't. I know everybody don't like it, but we
I'm
talking
at
about
the point. I'm really at the point with this
non-Stephanie.
MVP stuff. Like, shout out to the conversation. Well,
I shouldn't ask you, Mark.
I'm gonna ignore that because I know what you're getting at. I'm at a point where I think
Non-Steph minutes aren't serious.
that's cool. I'm at a point where I think Shai is closer to being unanimous than he is to not winning the MVP.
That's really what I'm leaning to.
I agree.
It's getting
Hold
closer.
on,
to
wait,
me as
wait,
well.
wait.
Your players are not going for that, Mark.
When Steph,
No,
I'm not
was
saying he's
unanimous
gonna
MVP,
be unanimous. I'm saying I think he's closer to being unanimous than he is to actually not
It's
winning.
just no
the
holes in his case. That, like
It's more.
I don't know
It's
what the
more
holes are.
likely he'd be unanimous than it is that he comes second, in my opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not pushing back against anything because this is the second time in the last 24 hours that I've seen this or heard this. So
Mhm.
now I'm asking. I want to go back to Steph's unanimous MVP case. Who was there during that year? That was Kawhi.
It was Kawhi.
Yeah, him and Leonard. Mhm.
No one was there, Ron.
Nobody had a case.
Kawhi-
Nobody else had a case.
Kawhi had a
No,
small
Kawhi
case.
was there, Ron. Keep
Yeah,
going.
That's the difference between Shai's year this year and Steph's. Like, okay, respect Kawhi. Ooh. No
Yeah,
one was
it's
like,
not,
no one was there.
it was so
Jokic-
clearly far and
Jokic
away,
has been
Steph.
So
Yeah.
amazing.
That's how
that,
Curry makes anybody
like,
seem.
I don't
Yeah.
think Shai's gonna be unanimous. Like, let me make this one. I don't think Shai is going to be unanimous. But what I'm saying is, it's more likely that he would be than Jokic would actually win the
Yeah.
awards.
It'll be a
And
gap
I'm
in
not
the
saying
voting.
that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what I think is actually going to happen. That's But,
Shai winning the league MVP is going to be so dope.
Mhm.
I just want to emphasize, like,
3 league
70
MVPs in a decade.
crazy.
Oklahoma City, 3 league MVPs in a decade.
That's
Three
insane.
different league MVPs in a decade.
Mhm.
Who's
One
done
was
that?
just like really special, and the other two were just like, you guys got buckets.
Who's done that?
oh, Russ. Oh, okay, that's one.
Wow. Mm.
I'm not going to slander Russ on this fine day, but Russ is the worst OKC.
Who else? I'm
Is
thinking
he?
about
Just like
Kirk. I'm
Is
thinking
he?
about the. I'm
Is
thinking
he?
about the organization. I ain't even
No.
talking about in the last.
Shai is better than Russ.
Okay,
Let's
what
not
about-
do
Y'all
that.
are really high on
I'm just-
SGA. Really
No,
high
Shai
on
talk
is
about
better
the
than
MVPs.
Shai is better than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
But Russell's
He's
MVP
not
season was better than
KD, though,
KD's MVP season.
No, he isn't better than KD.
Russ is no
Let's
Russ
chill.
is
No,
MVP season. was
we're
better
talking
than-
about the MVP season.
The
I
MVP
can't. We just did the
season.
T-Mac thing.
Wait,
you
Jay.
guys,
Wait,
please,
Jay.
spare
You
me.
said Russ's
Russell's
so you
MVP
think KD?
season was better than KD's MVP season. On
Right. No, I
So
got
Russ
That's
in
it.
2017 played better than KD in 2014.
Absolutely. And he
No,
did.
we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Time out,
Oh,
time
wow,
out.
no,
We're
no,
talking
no.
about the
How?
MVP season.
And I'm
Yeah,
down.
good.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a humongous Russ fan too. I
And I'm
can't.
not.
I
And
can't
I'm
say
not.
that.
And I'm not a
I'm
human.
a-
disagree?
I'm a humongous Russ fan.
And I'm not a humongous Russ fan, but I'll give it.
You disagree with that, Gifted?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, bro. KD in 2014.
was a monster.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, bro.
My man.
Well, where's Shay in this though, Jay?
Wait.
Where's Shay?
Let's take Shai off the my man.
Okay.
Tell us why Russ in 2017 was better than KD in 14. I'm listening.
I know the argument Legend go through.
I gotta look around at who. First of all, we're gonna ignore the triple double because that's just a given, right? That's just a given.
Okay.
We're gonna look around at who he had with him. He took Victor Oladipo, right?
Andre Roberson.
Andre fucking Roberson. Let's not downplay.
Hey, you could just stop right there. But
Really good defender though. Really good defender though.
Yeah, they were a great
phenomenal defender. He still had Serge Ibaka, correct, on the back end there with him.
Yep.
Oladipo.
No, Serge wasn't there. Serge
We
was
said
in
Oladipo, and then
Serge was in Orlando at that point.
Yeah, Serge was in
Orlando.
Oh,
Serge was in Orlando at that point. That's how y'all got Oladipo.
Oh, perfect. Oh, so even better.
Rookie Sabonis.
Yes.
Rookie
Jeremy
Sabonis.
Grant.
And it's freedom. Yeah, and it's freedom.
I'm looking at them right now.
Jeremy Grant.
Grant.
Too, right? Yeah.
Ilyasova. Like, let's be serious, guys. He had Doug McDermott.
Samaj Kristen was on that.
Cameron Payne, the young Cameron.
Hey,
Did
but
they have
hold on,
Chance
that
Ferguson
Jeremy Grant was not the Jeremy Grant that we see today.
At all.
It was not. It was
No,
not.
no, the
At all, at all.
Jeremy Grant, but I get
Yeah.
the point.
Here
He
we
was
go.
playing spot minutes.
I mean, wasn't Sabonis over there too?
Yeah, rookie
but he was
Sabonis.
rookie.
They had Alex Abrinas. Alex Abrinas
dog.
getting minutes on that team.
So anyway, okay,
So
just
to
who we had.
drag that team to 47 wins, to drag them. And he did drag them. So 47 wins. What were they, fifth in the West? In a
Six.
tough Western Conference?
47
Six
wins
in the West.
Oh my
Six.
god.
And 47 wins?
But
That's a great
the
MVP season, big guys.
It's an MVP. There's no such thing as a bad MVP season. That's
Of course not.
Okay.
But that was an elite
No, some
MVP
better than
season.
an amazing MVP season. Amazing.
Wait,
Amazing.
Are we aware that like the 2014 Thunder won damn near 60 games and Russ missed half the year?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, damn it! Like, I'm pretty sure they would have won seed.
In 2014.
I think they were.
And Kevin Durant,
Let me double check.
Kevin Durant
I'm not
was
tripping.
amazing.
He was really good, bro.
Right now.
And when Russ went down, KD was there.
They were indeed the number one seed.
Like, he was
59
running
games.
the offense. Kevin Durant was bringing the ball up the floor, getting guys involved, and was basically a point forward once Russ went down. And he was able to.
Oh, they were the 2 seed, Mars. They were 2 seed.
The Spurs won
San
more
Antonio.
games?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm ruining the agenda. But like, points still stands.
Yeah.
What
He was
Kevin
really
Durant
good,
was
bro.
doing for that OKC team, especially once Russ went down, in my opinion, he was the best scorer in the regular season that year. And I know LeBron was going crazy. But when I factor in situation, versatility, shot profile, all of that stuff, Kevin Durant was the best scorer in the regular season that year, in my opinion. Took a major playmaking leap, was backpacking the playmaking load for that OKC team. And then defensively was a much better defender than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was taking so many plays off defensively.
He was.
So many plays.
He
off.
had
Kevin Durant was.
because he was.
That's cool. That's cool. I
know.
understand.
I hear that.
I understand.
Russell
100%,
Westbrook is a
Russell
world-class
Westbrook the man's
team,
back
bro.
didn't break.
2014 was a world beater on
Spinal.
defense because he wasn't. He wasn't a world beater on defense. But like when I factor in the scoring impact that I think Kevin Durant had, the fact that he was running that offense, the fact that he was still able to keep that Thunder team playing at an elite level. With Russ, he was able to keep them afloat. But with Kevin Durant, he had that Thunder team playing at an elite level while he was on the floor. Like,
In a nightmare
wait,
Western
though,
Conference.
Mars.
too,
Hold on,
Mars.
wait,
Don't-
wait,
don't-
wait,
He's just the best
Nightmare
player.
Western
It's
Conference.
two completely different.
Russ was also in the
dudes,
Nightmare West. He was in the same West that we were just talking
yeah,
about James
and
Harden being
it's
in.
two completely.
And don't forget, and since you on the subject of
completely
James Harden,
different
James Harden was gone too, by the way. James Harden ain't on
No,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
James
but
Harden
when
was
Russ's
on
MVP
that.
season, KD was gone. So I mean,
Yeah, but I'm saying like KD still had a playoff team, a playoff level
Absolutely.
team.
Yeah.
Still have Reggie
Starters.
Jackson.
absolutely.
still have
Like,
Reggie
yeah,
Jackson.
you lost your other all stars, but you have competent players around you.
Absolutely.
Well,
There's no way y'all
But
trying to make a case for Russ over KD's MVP.
I'm not saying KD carried a
Why are you
larger
talking
burden.
about competent? Whoa. Ho. What do you mean competent NBA players? Ron, Victor Oladipo in 2017. Don't forget who he was. I mean, he could play. He wasn't garbage. He wasn't garbage. Steven Adams could play. Steven Adams
was solid.
was one of the consummate dirty work guys. He
He was
can play.
definitely
Now, don't
solid.
get me wrong. When Russ comes off the floor, that offense takes a drastic dip. I'm not going to argue that. But with that offense taking a drastic dip, I also got the leading scorer, just like you do. I got the leading scorer off my crew in 2014 in Kevin Durant, who's responsible for a lot. Just like Russell Westbrook was responsible for a lot in 2017. I'm not going to argue that. But
Russ led the league in scoring in 2017.
yes, he did. I'm not going to argue that. Right. But He led the
and
league. He led the
dragged
league
them
in
to
scoring.
47 wins.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
And
a lot of wins for a bad team. For a
I'm not
bad
arguing
Like
with
it's the win,
I'm
like
not arguing
it's
that.
the wins for sure. But it's like I think the biggest case I have, I'll say for Russ, because again I watch almost every game. Like
Yep.
it's like the force that he played with every single game, on top of like the amount of clutch moments he was having during that season. Like people like yes, he averaged that, but the win percentage he was carrying his teams to with that impact is there. I just think what KD was doing, like. That's one of the craziest scoring seasons I've seen, man. And I know, like, it's not just bucket getting. Of course, I hear that, but the impact of that to me puts it over Russ. Even though Russ in 2017 again legitimately was carrying his crew on a night-to-night basis, a clutch shot making, all that. You know,
I think where the separator comes in is to your point. You were talking about Russ was carrying a bad team to 47 wins, so we already know that. Kevin Durant has Russ. Loses him in the middle of the season
and still wins.
In the process of losing him in the middle of the season, that could throw a monkey wrench in everything that we're doing. This is my primary ball handler. This is
100%,
25 a game. That's now gone. We got to switch up the whole way we're playing. We don't have to do that with Russ in 17 because we already know what it is right from the beginning. Russ is the primary ball handler. He's the primary distributor. He's the one that's going to be on the floor. He's the one that's dictating the offense. He's the one that's dictating the pace. Well, now I lose 24, 25 a game from Russell Westbrook. Now I got to do all the other stuff that Russ was doing in addition to what I'm doing now and still keep us afloat in a nightmare Western Conference.
Yeah.
While I'm having to deal with James and all of these other guys.
Is it better to lose your co-star at the middle of the season or for the whole season?
For the whole season, because I already know exactly. I know exactly what I'm going into. I can't lose you. I can't lose you in the middle of the movie. I can't do that.
I see your point.
My thing is, though, like,
I can't get with that.
Y'all act like Russ. So Russ played 46 games. He played closer to 2/3 of the season than half of the season. Somewhere in there. But I'm saying,
half the season is 41. He played.
Oh, all right. Well, regardless, he played over. He played over half the season. He played over half the season. The point I'm trying to make is, let's not act like Russ didn't assist in that happening.
Absolutely.
Let's not act like Russ wasn't feeding KD for half the season.
Let's
one's
not act
like Russ didn't contribute.
No one's arguing that KD had more help than Russ. No
one's doing that. No one's doing that wrong.
If we talk about MVPs with the least help, Russ is up there. For
Allen
sure. Iverson, like if we're being honest, like
that's what adds on to it to be a better MVP, in my personal opinion, is that he had less help and still was able to drag them
in the games that Russ missed.
Sure,
Kevin Durant went like 19-6 or something in like that 25 game stretch that he missed. He was averaging 35 a game on 50, 40, 90.
So essentially, Jay, what he's saying.
Do you know what Kevin Durant was doing? He was their primary playmaker, putting up 35 a game, and was like the most efficient scorer in the league while doing it.
And I agree.
And they were dominating while Russ was out.
And I'll be the first one to tell you I'm the biggest Kevin Durant lover in this entire. You won't find anybody else that loves Kevin Durant more than me. Pause that. But you won't find a better Kevin Durant lover more than me in this chat. However, I think that Russ putting up 30, 10, and 11 as the only real option on that team and winning games. It's very important. The winning games part to me is so important, right?
Sure.
Because you can put that up and lose. You could put KD was winning games, but he had a better team around him.
Here's the difference, though.
Won more games.
Because Ox challenges that.
It's not they won the same amount of games. Like KD.
By the way, Mars, I have the actual KD numbers without Russ that year.
Without
Talk to me.
Yeah. So it says here, in 35 games without Russ, he averaged 33, 7, and 6 on 50% from the field, 38 from 3, 88% from 3.
Almost 40, 90.
Yeah, they were 24 and 11.
12 games, 24, 13 games over 500.
Yeah.
And Ox, you know how you know how heavy a couch bed is, right?
Yeah. Like
if you have to carry a couch bed yourself, you already know what it is, right? You already know what it is.
Nowhere.
Right. But you got to carry it. Even if you got to drag this damn thing. Right. If you and me carrying this couch bed,
56 win pace without Russ.
If you and me carrying this couch bed, and halfway through us carrying this couch bed, you conk out. Now I got to throw this bitch on my back, and I got to carry it the rest of the way. Yeah. And not only do I carry it, I throw that bitch on my back, and I start running with it.
Well,
That's what
but
KD
chill. I
did.
mean, with that being said, I helped you get it out the house, down the stairs,
Yes,
and
you
Yeah.
did.
a quarter of a way to the U-Haul.
Yes, you did.
You
Yes, you did.
once I fell over, you could
Yep.
see
Yeah.
the U-Haul though.
That
You know
is
what I'm
different than
saying?
like
So
you
that's
having to
the- that
actually
was the
pull it
motiv- that
out
was the
and walk all the
motivation
way to the
you
U-Haul.
needed.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Absolutely.
I helped you get this thing going. You know what I mean?
You did.
So
You helped me get it going.
I understand what you're saying though. Like it makes perfect sense. If I know the journey I have ahead of me, I can be prepared for it. I know what we got to deal with. I understand that. But those first 46 games, I gotta rock by myself. Well, not by myself. I don't want to disrespect the other guys, but for this conversation, I got to do that first 46 game by myself. I would much rather you be there with me for those first 46 and then lose you, because at least I got a 46 game head start with my guy with me. And now I just got to get past these last 38, whatever's left. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so I do think that's a fair point you made, just because I know what I'm getting myself into.
Right.
But I still need those four. I need that help. I need you to help me get so I can see the U-Haul.
I'd rather have Russell Westbrook for 40 games than
not at all.
Like
100% on that.
But I just think KD just played better than Russ. And like the help point, which is everyone agrees, the 17 Thunder are worse than the 14.
Clearly had work. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't think that you on crack. You on crack.
But the 14 Thunder, when Kevin Durant was on the floor without both Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka, the two next best players on the team, the Thunder had a plus 16.5 net rating.
Plus
like
16?
they would, as long as Kevin Durant was on the floor, they dominated.
On the floor, but
wasn't Tabo on that team, Morris?
Cephalosha was on that team.
I think Tabo was on there.
Respect Tabo.
He was on that team.
All right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's do that first.
If you take Tabo off, they lose all.
Kevin Durant on the floor without Russell Westbrook, Serge, and Tabo Cephalosha.
There we go. Word.
Plus 16.97.
But you're not doing this though. See? And he came out and said it. He came out and said it, that he was the heart and soul of this team, that OKC team wasn't nothing without him. What about Kendrick Perkins?
What about Kendrick Perkins?
What about Big B?
You can't never forget about Big Perk now,
Kevin Durant on the floor without Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Tabo Cephalosha, and Kendrick Perkins, plus 18.6.
But wait though. To be fair though, and listen, to be fair, Mars, to be fair, the impact Kendrick Perkins had on that team was mental. So we can't even track the intangibles of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I can't even tell you the impact that was really there.
Hold on, y'all. On a serious note, I know we're supposed to not like Kendrick Perkins because he makes crazy takes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know we're not supposed to like Kendrick Perkins. We're supposed to talk about how terrible he was when he wore a jersey. Kendrick Perkins absolutely served a purpose that we will never see in the stats.
For sure.
Kendrick Perkins
was a good NBA player for a stretch of years.
Right.
He was.
I think so. Even with OKC, Kendrick Perkins served a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I think he was much better with the Celtics. He was still moving a little better. But Kendrick Perkins, I think a lot of times I don't want to say understand, but I don't think we give credit to those big guys that are really there just to be physical. You know what I'm saying? Grab boards. You know what I mean? Bump cutters. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I do think Kendrick Perkins is much better than we give him credit for. You know what I'm saying?
I will say
they would have won this in the Celtics, not OKC. But if he wouldn't have got hurt that year with the Celtics, right?
My biggest issue, and this is not a Perkins issue. This is just the NBA.
Yeah,
I have no idea why I'm going back and watching 2012 Thunder games, 2014 Thunder games, and Kendrick Perkins is legitimately getting post touches. I don't know why that's happening. Like, I get everything he brought in terms of that toughness, the post defense, the rebounding. He was boxing out. Cool. All of that is great. Why am I seeing him start the games with 3 post touches?
I think a big part.
Is that happening?
So you gotta keep the defense.
So like the only
he could pass out the post.
The only reason why I think Mars is because like you still have to make the big feel involved offensively somewhat to inspire them to keep doing what they're doing on the other end. That happens a lot.
On the first play of the game, and I kid you not, he airballed the jumper. Like, why am I watching?
You got to keep defense
feeling, man.
honest. You gotta keep them honest.
Listen. Oh no, fuck that. No,
You gotta keep them in, at least feel like they have to.
You gotta keep him feel like he's a part of the team offensively, because there's moments where, like, if players don't touch the rock offensively, they feel less engaged in the game to do what they do defensively, even if they're not that good offensively. You know,
It's just a very sad watch every time I see it.
it is. It is a sad watch.
Tank is cooking in the chat too. Y'all got to remember they were dealing with Billy Donovan.
Oh yeah.
No, 2014. 2014 was still.
No, that was still
Brooks,
Scott Brooks. That was still Scott Brooks.
Oh no, 14 pre-Billy Donovan. I forgot.
2014 was still Scott Brooks. They didn't get Billy Donovan until
yeah.
16,
Billy Donovan.
So what,
15?
After KD.
16, I think. 16.
16. Okay. Right. Well, whenever they got Billy Donovan, that was bad.
So my question, because you brought up Russ. If Russ
Hey, now that you think about it,
I just say it.
If Russ doesn't get hurt, and he has Russ that whole season,
They probably win 70 games, maybe.
well, that's what I was about to ask you. Are we looking at a finals rematch from 2012?
Oh, that's a good question.
I
Russ was
think
back in the playoffs,
I think if Russ didn't get hurt, if Patrick Beverly didn't do what he did in the playoffs,
They might
go back
win
to
that year?
2013. Like that,
Okay.
the Thunder were good enough to go back that year, but then Patrick Beverly decided to commit assault. And
Yeah, that was bad.
In 13, they lost to the Grizzlies, right?
I think it was the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
They ended up losing to Russ.
Yeah.
But 14.
Oh, Spurs. Yeah. Okay.
14, I think San Antonio probably just had them.
Of course.
Yeah, I think
They were so good in 14.
13 was the year they should have gone back, in my opinion. 13 was the year they should have gone back.
They won 16
And then
games.
15, obviously, KD was out. Like it's a lot of what ifs with that
A lot of what
those
ifs.
teams. And then it's like, obviously, if KD doesn't leave, I don't think we ever got. I don't think they got a fair shake at what we could have potentially seen with that team. And that's the only thing that pains me, because that was really.
Wait, so then real quick to Ron, this goes back to like our trio conversation between Shai, Kevin Durant, and then Russ. Shai has the best MVP of all three of them. We got the Russ part down. What about those two?
What do you mean?
Like 2014 Kevin Durant.
Look, Ron was debating for 1 and 2. KD and Russ 1 and 2. Shai lost.
Okay.
That's what he
Yeah,
was
well,
debating.
you got
No,
that
I was
one.
debating
So
for Russ and KD or Russ and Shai.
Yeah.
KD's
And you
lost?
tried.
Yeah.
Oh no. CC.
I don't know.
All right,
See, no, I
really. Them two niggas can rock paper scissors for
Oxford
second and
is still
third.
in the chat.
Me and my man Jay got Russ for first, and that's all that really matters.
I do have Russ for first. I do.
But my thing is, are we saying 2014 KD had a worse MVP than Shai? If Shai wins it, of course. We don't know, but
that's super debatable.
I kind of know though.
Because like he was like 32 on 50-40 splits is just absolutely ridiculous. The plus numbers with him on the floor is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's definitely an argument. 32 on 50-40 splits.
Did Shai have a higher plus than Kevin Durant?
But 10 years ago, also we have to
think
remember.
he might have.
He did before the All-Star break. I don't know where it's at right now. I'll check. But
Okay,
he
no
definitely
problem.
did before the All-Star break.
I think Shai's like what, plus 17 now, maybe? At one point, which is crazy, by the way. But
Does
like,
OKC still have the best net rating ever?
Did you just say he's plus 17? Is that what I just heard you say?
oh no, Ox, no. That's actually down because he was at one point plus 18. Plus 18 when he was on.
Thunder in general have a plus 13. He's still plus 18.
Okay, so he's still
where
plus
are they
18,
ranking
okay.
right now in terms of all-time net rating?
Plus 13. I want to say that's top 2.
I think they were
ever?
second, right?
I'll check.
They were second.
Let me see. Because plus 13 is ridiculous. Yeah, they're second behind the 96 Bulls.
That is
Okay, so
insane.
yeah, that's insane, bro.
That is
Wow.
Hey,
that is incredible.
Hats
I
off to
said
the
T-Mac
Thunder,
better
man.
than him.
You did say that.
You did say that
That is what you
I ain't say that.
multiple times, actually.
You were very
I'm
adamant about it.
telling you, Shai is.
Yeah.
Don't back up now, Ron. Where you going?
Right.
I was just making sure that I.
There's no way
that's
that specifically made you rethink. Oh damn! Did I really say T-Mac?
Just making-
You know
Yeah.
how crazy,
You said that.
You know how crazy plus 18 is?
That is
Plus 18 is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Plus 9 is ridiculous.
Yes.
Plus 18 is unheard of.
It's double that. Yeah.
You don't do that.
I think plus 18 might be the highest like any player
Yeah.
ever been.
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
now,
Like,
2016
Right.
Draymond, maybe.
Now, chill. Right. Going back. Imagine him being plus 18 for 4 seasons in a row. But that's what I'm saying. That is literally.
Wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are we going back though? Are you saying like if he does?
Yeah. Bring it back to our first conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he's talking about.
I'm
So
just
you're
saying,
like
like,
for the next 4 seasons doing
yes. I'm saying it's one thing to be plus 18 in a season because most people will probably say, okay, clearly we haven't seen that before. Like that won't happen again. Imagine if he goes out and is the same plus 18 for 4 years in a row. Like then it's like that's uncharted levels at that point.
All right, Charles, we do got to move on, though. We can obviously talk about Shai and the Thunder and all of that, but I got a couple other good things for us to get into. Before I do that, let me shout out our Hall of Famers first. I got my man Minor. He is our most recent Hall of Famer. Shout out to him. Tyrus Williams, SSG, SS Popo, Cheese, Vale, and Multi Kenny. Salute to all of our Hall of Famers. If you are in the video, or if you are watching this video, turn on your notification bell. Like the video, subscribe, and if you're feeling generous, I guess, become a YouTube member as well. Salute to everybody in the chat right now. We got a couple super chats, so I'm going to dive into those, and then we are going to talk about some of the best NCAA players in the NBA and just take a trip down memory lane. And then we got a nice little hypothetical, once again, all-time Kentucky team versus an all-time Duke team. We'll get into that. But Kent Lipscomb Jungler said, hashtag heat culture, stand up. Hashtag Castle, rookie of the year. Tim Duncan, top 5. And yes, he is number 4. We all have Tim Duncan in our top 5?
Good pick. I got Tim Duncan number 4.
It gets murky. Yeah, it gets murky.
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I doubt it. But maybe.
Because who's he taking out? Who is he taking out? If we put him in the top 5, I don't see him taking out Shaq. I don't see him taking out Braun. I don't see him taking out MJ. He's not taking out the other two. Who else do you want to throw in there, guys? I personally put Steph in my top 5, but who do you want to throw in there?
Damn. Yeah, but I got Shaq at 5 and then Tim at 4. So.
Okay.
Over.
Oh yeah, because you have you have Kareem, MJ, Magic, right? Kareem, MJ, Magic, and then
I like the thumbs up. I like it.
Kareem,
Thumbs up,
Magic,
I like it.
All right, Cheese
I doubt it.
Yeah.
W Cheese.
Cheese gifted 10 Players' Choice memberships. Cheese is on a GOAT run right now. He's on a Kobe 2004 run where he's just going ballistic. So shout out to Cheese for spreading the love. DSG Piccolo said, Klingen FC, we up. Highest rebound percentage for a rookie since the 79-80 season, roughly 22%. DG was cooking. Tumani and Ty, 8 scoots lunch. Damn. Also, I had a heart attack when I saw a 4-guard lineup. Fuck is Chauncey doing?
He's doing his best. It's roughly important.
He's seen the Suns go on that win streak. He's seen AD come back. He was like, "Hey, Cooper Flag, we back."
But Portland has been competitive in the second half of the season, so let's not knock Portland.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
They're only 2 games out the play-in. Before last night, they were 2 games out the play-in.
Yeah, but then the Suns started.
I think that ship is sailing, man. Yeah.
So now Chauncey is he's shifting the ship over to the Cooper Flag. It's like we competed for the play-in. These teams decided to be serious at the end of the season. Yeah, let's try to help on.
Yeah,
they played Cleveland tough last night, though. I thought they were going to pull it out. Well, I didn't think they were going to pull it out, but
no, they kept it competitive. Yeah, it was a watchable game.
They made a game of it.
Versus earlier in the season, I wouldn't even turn that game on, but it was a watchable game.
I didn't want to turn it on last night. The Kings was just selling.
You turned it on because Keegan warmed up and you thought you got spent. You thought we about
that third quarter, you guys could have missed from 3. That was ridiculous.
But the first 2 quarters, they was hitting crazy shit. This is bad.
Caruso been making threes for like 3 months now, by the way.
That's very, very big, Mars, for the you know what I'm saying?
That's
it's gonna be a big go-to. Hey.
The problem with Sacramento last night is that they fell in the hole. And when you fall in the hole against Oklahoma City, you doing anything that's like falling behind Usain Bolt like 20 yards. That's what was happening last night with them dudes. Like now, I'm doing everything I can just to catch up.
Yeah.
So we need.
It's dangerous to fall in a hole versus them because they are known for being a team that starts slow and then picks up hot. So if they start out, it's it's tough.
I mean,
that defense though, you can't go down against a defense like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're down 15, 16 plus and you're playing against a team that plays suffocating defense,
you might not get back up in there.
You're gonna have to have an out of body experience like our third quarter to even make it respectable. You know what I'm saying? You can't just play good and get back in the game, chip away at the lead because their defense is too good. So once you go down like that, you're done. You lost.
You maybe 16. Was it a 16-0? Something like that.
16.
Yeah,
what 16? It was 16.
Yeah,
it was 16. Yeah,
crazy, yeah.
It was 16.
Doing that against that defense is tough. I mean, shout out to the 3-point show, but
I know how you feel about. I know how you feel
I'm
about.
gonna tell you like this, Mars. We better with Malik than they are with J Dub.
No, you're not.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, I'm letting you know right now. Chill. We can beat that team. We can beat that team.
No,
we just need Zach and DeMontis can't have no down quarters. I'm trying to tell y'all.
What makes you think they're not
problem right there, though.
Hear me out. The score that SGA is right.
2 for 12.
The score. Hold on, Ron, because the score that SGA is right. Now look at you look how good of a scorer he is through 4 quarters, right?
Sure.
We got 3 guys that can match him this quarter. So first quarter, it's the Zach show. We got Zach going band for band with SGA. Second quarter, now it's Malik. It's your turn. It's your turn to step up. You're going band for band with SGA for the second quarter. Third quarter is the team effort. Keon, Trey, Keegan, I need y'all to shoot. The big fella, you got to play consistent the whole quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, y'all know what time it is. It's Debo. Debo coming. We chain snatching all fourth quarter. I'm trying to tell you. Look, we going Zach band for band first quarter, Leak band for band second quarter, and Debo. Don't none of them young punks win with Debo in the fourth quarter.
Ron, you are aware.
Beat this team.
Okay, so Ron, you are aware that last night they barely scored 40 at the half. Barely scored 40 at the half. Okay, and we talk about
that's a big deal.
When you talk about chain snatching, Debo was in the sleeper hole. And they, not only was he in the sleeper hole, them chains that he snatched, they took them chains off of him and gave them back to who he snatched them from.
Hey, chill. You see the meme I sent to the group chat? I'm talking about, hey, Shai grabbed that brick.
Debo woke up.
Shai grabbed a brick like Ice Cube, threw it at Debo. Hey, Hart ran over, grabbed his kicks. Like Debo was on the ground, motionless. What I'm trying to tell you though is,
so y'all gonna tell me Debo didn't wake up and shake it off. He didn't wake up.
No, he didn't. Ox.
Yeah, he
didn't.
Next Friday.
That's what he did. The problem what we had with Oklahoma City is like you just said, y'all better with Malik Monk than they are with J-Dub. So that's 20 a game that's out the lineup that you're gonna add to the lineup, and they threw y'all 20 back in the hole when y'all got back in the game.
That's just one game, too.
Right. Just one game. And the reason why this is important, Knox, is because your offense, offensively, is not as good as their defense, and their offense is better than yours when they play in defense like that because they create more offense. That's why you fell in the hole. And on top of that, if I'm asking Keegan Murray to crack 8-9 threes in order to keep us in the game, forget us winning, just to keep us in the game, we are getting smoked.
Well, you got a regular DeMontis and Jamal game.
He doesn't look at the basket.
We're not expecting.
And
we're
he's
not
looking to pass the ball out to the long ball line. He's not even looking at the rim. You know why he's not looking at the rim?
We can't judge it all
under there because Hartenstein's under there. So he's throwing the
so
ball out to the long
one
ball
game
line.
chill.
That's
One
fine.
game chill. You're gonna do it off of one game. That's what I'm saying. When have you ever seen that from him against Chet, except for last night? You haven't. Never, not once. So that's all I'm saying. And Keegan Murray, we don't expect Keegan to make 8-9 threes a game. Like, yeah, that was great, Keegan. You made this game look respectable, but we got our asses kicked last night. You know what I'm saying? We got our asses kicked last night. Keegan had an out-of-body third quarter and made it look semi-respectable for a little while. But ultimately, they beat the shit out of us. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is we don't expect that from them, but I do expect DeMontis and Zach to play much better. You know what I'm saying? I do expect Trey Lyles and Malik Monk to be in the lineup and play much better. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And I respect J-Dub. I respect J-Dub when he gets to.
And I expect J-Dub, who was also one of their better defensive
players,
Casey
Wallace
to get back in the lineup. No Casey Wallace last night, right? So I expect them to get back in the lineup. And the chokehold that they had on Debo
and Aaron Wiggins,
slowing down Keegan Murray is not going to be as difficult when you have all of those dudes.
Well, once again, I'm saying, how many times have you seen these dudes do that to DeMar DeRozan for 2 straight quarters like that?
I mean,
That's
OKC
not-
does that to
that's
many
not
guards
the
that go against. Period.
They
It's just
don't,
their
they don't
defense
do
in
that.
general.
They don't do that to DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm saying. This one.
You think that was an anomaly?
Hell,
It's the best defense in the league.
What? You
This
think
is
Alex
what
Caruso
DeMar
can guard
averages
DeMar
versus
DeRozan in
OKC.
career?
So hang on.
This isn't a good defense. This is the best defense in the league. They shut the door on you guys last night, and they had half of their best defense on the bench.
Yo,
Half of their
chill.
defense
They don't
on
got
the
nobody. They don't got nobody over there that can guard DeMar, Malik, and Zach.
I need
No,
you
they-
guys to understand this. Everybody that's
they-
watching, all 1,600 viewers, the ones on Twitter,
Huh,
the
huh,
people
they
that are
don't
gonna-
got nobody that
Hold
can guard them three
So-
dudes for real.
I get you.
Lou Dort,
Even everybody on TikTok that might see this,
Alex Caruso,
everybody anywhere.
Gordon Debo.
So I got
know-
3
wait,
games
wait,
for
wait,
you.
Arguably
wait,
the best
real
ball
quick,
defender in the league. dealing
You're
with
telling
Debo.
me
My fault.
you're
Go ahead,
telling me
Ron.
Elmer Fudd can guard
Elmer
Debo.
Fudd.
You mean the best on? You mean the best on ball? Arguably the best on ball defender in the game? Yes.
Alex Caruso cannot
Yes.
I mean,
guard
guys, we can talk about this, or like I can actually give you what DeMar's done this season versus OKC.
Talk to us.
Please.
Gifted, before
All right,
you
so-
do that, I've known
he had
Ox.
that game.
I've known Ox since
Mhm.
2010, 2009.
Oh damn.
This nigga has never gave DeMar DeRozan credit until this last summer.
He's a Kings fan.
Never
Yeah.
said. I've never heard him say that
I-
DeMar DeRozan's unguardable.
I expect that.
I've never heard him say
I
DeMar
expect him to say
DeRozan's
that, though. That's
section
fine.
change. I've never heard him.
Yeah.
I've never even heard people about Debo come out his mouth, including Friday.
Not once,
Until
probably.
right now.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's unguardable, and Alex Caruso can't do nothing with him.
We know
That
why.
bias
I
media.
mean, Jamal's given the Thunder 30 this season. To be fair,
Okay,
He's
so
given the
so like I got
that.
listen.
Man.
I got a 3 game. Can I get to these 3
Please.
games real quick?
Debo.
So the first game this season took place November 25th.
Yep.
He had 30 points. Shot 13 for 21 on 61.9% from the field. I don't have the individual matchups for these guys, but I'm gonna move on. The next game was on February 1st.
Yep.
He had 17 points on 5 for 15 shooting. He shot 33% from the field. And then last night he had 10 points. He shot 26% from the field on 4 for 15 shooting. So in 2 of the 3 matchups, he's absolutely been clamped.
Yeah, but in one of them,
And one of them he cooked. And one of them he
first
cooked.
one, by the way, also early in the season.
I mean, that second.
You know what that
game
is,
was-
Mars? That's you swinging on me real quick and me recovering after.
We got.
swinging.
Look,
That's
that's the first 3. That's the first 3. We got potentially 7 more to choose from. So you just be patient.
Okay, no. Wait, no.
you
I have
still, you
more.
still think you're making the playoffs?
Wait.
Be patient. We're gonna get the AC. We're gonna get the AC for
I
sure.
respect it.
We're gonna get the AC. And then I want to revisit this conversation after that one first take match. I want to revisit that.
That is
Oh
actually
damn,
funny.
you guys are close to just dropping out.
Hey, they really are.
That's because Dallas is making it.
They legitimately are, Mars.
I thought
Yeah.
you guys were comfortable in the 9th spot. You guys
No,
might
there's
be
a gap.
well.
Nah, yeah.
It's a good little gap. Good little gap right there.
Oh damn!
Don't
Oh,
worry
damn,
about that.
okay.
Don't worry about that. We're
Yeah, I
gonna get
didn't know
that.
Damn, okay, interesting.
Don't worry about
Damn,
that. Don't
Debo might not be coming.
No,
He might be leaving.
They missed the playing. Oh god, damn.
Debo might be leaving.
And that fight for the plane gonna be very lit.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. DeMontis is back. He's getting back on track. We good. We'll
Okay.
finish these last 10 to 11 games, whatever. We're gonna finish for strong.
We'll revisit it for sure.
We'll see in the first round.
They gonna smack the shit out of y'all, man. I'm sorry. They gonna beat this shit out of y'all, respectfully.
That sounds good. That sounds good. We'll see.
You're gonna fight though. You're gonna fight for sure. But that
All right,
build is
so-
coming.
I'm gonna be
Johnny-
pissed when Malik giving these niggas 27s, 28s, 30s. Oh, y'all gonna be pissed when you
No,
looking
he
at
can have a hell of a
15.
series and losing 4.
and then don't let SGA be the one that got a guard leak, and then y'all really gonna be pissed. Oh, this all league defender getting his ass torched by leak. Y'all just wait.
It's gonna be a competitive 4 games.
Malik gonna be looking at SGA the same way he was looking at Jordan Poole in playoffs, just toying with that boy.
You know what?
No, he
Right.
won't. Okay, all right, bro. All right, bro.
No, chill. I
Chill
believe
can't take that shit.
Hey,
Nobody else that thinks SGA can guard Malik Monk. Nobody.
Why does
else
it-
thinks that can
Why does
guard
it come
Malik
down to that though for the series? They don't come down to that at all.
I'm not saying like that's the only like that's how
There's so much more.
Who's
know
guarding
there's
Shai
there's
on that
many-
fucking team?
there's so many bigger
I'm
problems.
just simply talking
The
about
Kings
that
got way
matchup.
bigger
Chill.
problems.
There's so many bigger problems.
What the
Right,
hell are we
that's-
doing here?
that's fair, that's fair.
Are you
I
telling
agree
me
with
that
you. I
your
agree
game
with you.
plan throughout the course of this series is to get Malik Monk to go
problems
Boy,
than
after
that.
Demontis
SGA?
Sabonis defense
That's
for
your
4
game
games.
plan?
Oh, brother.
I understand that we got bigger problems than that. I'm not saying that that's the end all be all to the series. I'm just simply pointing out that matchup. That's all I'm doing. So when I
That's
say
part
that,
of the
I don't
game.
need y'all to be. Oh, so what you think he's a
Aaron Wiggins get y'all put it when we run the offense.
All I'm saying is that SG. All I'm saying is that
He did get him 41. I forgot all about that. He did
Hey, bro,
do that.
all
I
I'm
mean,
saying is
I assume in a series, Shai's guarding Keegan. I assume.
Probably.
get his ass lit up. Then
just put a hand up, Shay.
Nah, I mean,
That's
he's
it.
playing
Keegan
against
shoots the
PJ.
ball. That's a Keegan actually shoots the ball. Like you got to make him shoot the ball. Don't leave that part out. And in the playoffs, boy, it was hot. It was that's of course if they make.
How do y'all guard Jalen Williams?
It was hot. It was hot in Sacramento last night. Boy,
And not
when the
J-Dub.
playoffs start, that degree is even hotter. That bucket don't look nearly as big.
Yo,
Playoffs.
it ain't have to do that. No, that was crazy at a gift.
I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, I feel your optimism. Kevin Porter Jr. and Kyle Kuzma can win us a series too.
I thought they could. I thought they could when Dame was around. So that's not a crazy
You
thing.
thought the Wizards could make the play-in.
You did.
Well, I was just talking shit. You know how that go, Mars. I was just trying to get up on some a little early.
Ox is hilarious, bro.
Next year, who is it going to be? Next year, I might pick the Jazz. Next time, I'll be like, man, watch this. Jazz is going to be a top.
Yeah, you buy in low. I respect it. You buy in
Yeah,
low.
we're just going to see what happens.
Very
I
low risk
respect it.
investment.
Okay.
You know how when
It
you
is
go
very
to
low. It is very low right now, yeah.
when you go to the casino, you see all the sports book, and you're like, that's probably not going to happen. But I'm going to forget about this $50 in a couple months. Let's put that.
And if
down
you're
and
right,
see-
you look like a prophet. So it's like, hey,
Exactly.
For sure.
Let's see what happens.
I mean,
All
here's
the
the
bills,
thing, though,
hey, we
Alex.
can put 50 on that. You know,
The Jazz get that great white hope. You never know, because what he's about to do is carry these boys throughout the play or through the Final
these
Four.
boys, Kentucky.
not Kentucky. He's not carrying
Well,
Kentucky.
not
no.
Kentucky, but he about to carry his college team through the Final Four, like some of these guys we about to see on the screen right here. Well, let's just take a walk down memory lane. I like to do this from time to time.
Okay.
We got Cat and D Book. Y'all remember this year? And this is actually every team that's in the Sweet 16 right now. One of their most recent run in the.
Oh, okay, word. Okay.
Here you go, Paulo Mark Williams. Who's that?
That
Jordan
guy,
Poole,
man.
Yep.
Who's that go?
That guy, man. There he goes.
Shout
Mo
out
Wagner,
Jordan.
yep.
Poole. That is Mo, huh?
He did.
Mhm.
More on the cut.
I remember Jordan Poole hit a buzzer beater.
Isaiah Livers too.
Michigan State,
Michigan State, yeah.
the GOAT Tillman right there. Shout out to him.
NBA champion to him.
Yeah, put some respect on it.
Here we go. We got Arizona, Eric Gordon.
The last
Oh,
time
wow,
they made the
that's-
Sweet 16 was Aaron Gordon.
That's a long time.
Yeah, wow.
Shout out
Damn.
Eric Gordon. Uh-oh. There you go.
Thought to connect.
Sharpshooter. Hey, Dalton Connect was so nice at Tennessee.
I mean, he was a bucket. Like he was more than just a shooter in college.
He was the best player in the SEC. He was player of the year in the league.
You better be when you're 27.
Well, he clearly wasn't that old because the Lakers was
Yeah,
like
27.
Damian Edie.
Big Zach for Purdue. Purdue back in the Sweet 16. Shout out to Purdue.
Shout out Purdue.
Ox, what y'all gonna do with him in the playoffs, huh?
I said, how you gonna guard that Jalen Williams?
Shout out Arkansas, man, and shout out Coach Calipari, and shout out Jalen Williams. He was getting busy this year. Okay, Quentin Grimes, Marcus Sasson.
Yes, sir.
Shout
This
out
is the
Houston.
6th straight year, by the way, that Houston's in the Sweet 16. 6th straight year.
That's crazy.
Good program, man.
Shout out,
Jamal
yeah.
Shedd, Jarris Walker in recent years, Marcus Sasson. Come on, man. Good
Yep.
program over there.
Houston,
program, yeah.
Program, 100%.
They're getting busy right now. Salute to them. BYU.
Oh my God.
Come on,
Oh
man.
No way.
God,
Come on,
damn.
man.
Stop playing. Hey, stop playing. When this dude was running around,
That was
it was mania. It was
Forget
mania.
range was a whole different thing. Before
It was
Curry,
mania. When this dude was running around, stop playing.
It was
B.
forget
Stop acting like
range.
this dude.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just came back to this and seen
From the
Jimmer
parking lot.
forget.
Yeah,
You
it
didn't want
was
to see
mania.
Jimmer
man.
Fredette. You did not want to
Did
see
you
Jimmer
guys
Fredette.
think he was actually going to be good in the league?
No,
I
who
did.
could have possibly thought
I,
that?
to be honest
I
with
did.
you, I thought he was going to be a solid pro.
I did.
Considering the way the game was going and how shooting was
Zac
becoming,
Efron.
the way the game was going and how shooting was becoming more of a thing, especially
and
long
shame
ball
on me.
shooting. I thought that he was going to be like a plug-in guy
Yeah,
that could be really good in the NBA. I didn't think he was going to be like 30 a game or nothing like that. No,
absolutely not.
but I did think that he was going to be one of those guys who could shoot the basketball in the league.
Marsh, he was getting so busy, it was hard not to believe that he wasn't going to be something.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know
Just
what,
look
but
at-
you're
Just
just
look
like,
at him, man.
all right. We're just gonna move on to the next one. Uh-oh.
Oh my
Who that
God.
Hey, he
Who
was
that
getting
killer?
busy.
How far
Hey, what's
back have
his
we
name
gone?
again?
Henderson.
Yo,
I
he
can't
was-
remember his
he
first
was
name. I know
chopping.
it's
He
Marshall
was chopping.
Henderson, right? Marshall Henderson.
Marshall, I think. Yeah, he was chopping.
Hey,
for
this
real.
was wait, what a time to be alive.
I don't think I was.
There he is. 3 goats right here. And
That Jared Culver?
yeah, that's Jared Culver. Zaire should be in this picture too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where's Zaire at?
Another guy
Zaire-
who's going to make noise in the
Zaire
league.
Smith?
Zaire Smith. Yeah.
Zaire
I thought
Smith.
The
Jared
one,
Culver
the
was gonna
one,
make
the
noise
one
in the
that Phoenix, the one that Philly traded Mikal Bridges for.
He was
Oh,
what, a
yo,
10th pick or something like that?
Philadelphia, man.
Yeah.
Jared Culver was nasty. Man.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make noise in the league. I thought so. I was wrong about
Yeah.
that one.
Here go Auburn. They were real good this year.
Yeah.
What year is
Not no
this?
spectacular pros on this team,
Yeah,
but
what year is this?
this is not too long ago. I think this is four years
They went
ago.
to the final.
maybe?
They went to the Final Four. I want to say in 21. 21 or 22, they went to the Final Four.
I know one thing. This was a good ass team, and I know they got it. I got them winning it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Hot Pettiford too, and shout out Broom too, Player of the Year.
Yeah. Johnny Broom. I think that's a solid pick.
That is
Last
a
time Florida made
crazy angle, bro.
The last time Florida made the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Jelly fam. This is Bama. Last time Bama made it.
Weren't they just in the Final Four not too long ago?
This had it been the last year. Shout out Quinterly.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland. My man Mello Trimble and Suleiman. All right, y'all.
Who's the best player to come out of Maryland?
Len Bias.
Well, okay, my bad. Except for
Angel
Len Bias.
Reese.
Injuries.
But all right, y'all. I
Except
got
for
one more
Grievous.
thing that I gotta run across you guys' desk.
What's that?
All right. I need you guys to let me know. Oh, wait a second. I got an all-time Kentucky team, and I have an all-time Duke team. And this is current players, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what they did in college or how good they are in the league?
Yeah.
Let's
do
talk
league,
about
man.
how good they are in the league.
Okay.
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 Who y'all got if these two teams, and I've been going back and forth, if these two teams line up against each other, and we could just go,
Oh, come on. Man.
do we got to go one game or do we got to go 7 games?
It don't matter.
I mean this with the most respect.
Jay, bro, Prime,
I don't know what to tell.
bro, Prime
Kentucky's
Shea.
beating the dog
Wait,
out of it.
Prime Shea with Anthony Davis is the anchor. Cat having someone as good as AD next to him defensively.
Yeah.
Ron, this team
Booker
winning.
too? Oh my god!
Ron, this team is winning the NBA championship.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Kentucky got that shit, bro.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the thing is, you like Kentucky just they're gonna put Anthony Davis on Zion.
That ain't gonna be enough. Zion's still gonna be Zion.
Yeah, Zion.
Either way, Duke can pop either way.
I'm
And
damn
Duke
near
getting popped.
I'm putting D book on Zion. Like Zion, do
Duke's
what you
top
do.
3 is tough. JT, Zion, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And just the size is going to be hard to guard.
But
That size is difficult to guard.
unfortunately, I
They don't got like a real big.
I got a big 4.5.
Hey, that's a good question though, Bama. How Cat get here?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hang
Go
on.
ahead, chill. Go ahead.
Please.
Who should it be? Who should it be?
Who goes in front of Cat?
Boogie.
No, stop that.
Current
Not
players.
for this one.
Current players.
That's
He
it.
just said current
Because
players.
if that's
He
the
just
case,
said
what's
current
the Aaron doing?
Okay.
Everybody up here is current.
He just said
Yeah,
current
'cause if
players.
that's the
What
case,
you mean, Morph?
John Woo.
Oh,
Malik
shit.
Monk.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah,
So be clear.
hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
If I'm not
Hell
mistaken,
yeah.
Cat on that Kentucky team, they were undefeated. And Calipari,
Cat and AD would be fucking crazy, bro.
he ended up screwing that up because they should have won a national championship that year.
Mhm.
That's number one. Number two, I'm 100% confident that I heard you dudes talking to me, not maybe a month and a half ago. The Cat is first team All NBA this year. So I got
Boogie will be first team All NBA this year.
Boys,
That is
boys,
big
well,
too.
I never said that.
This was the conversation that was going on. That Cat is
Oh,
first
absolutely,
team
it was happening.
All NBA this year. So
What's
I
happening?
got Cat playing at a first team All NBA level. I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's the league MVP. I got arguably the best defensive player in the game in Anthony Davis. I got Devin Booker, who, for all intents and purposes, some of y'all think he's the best two guard in the game. And Foxy, they smoked this Duke team.
I
They ain't
Yeah,
beating
they
Duke.
do. They do. I
smoked
just
this Duke
I just
team.
want to be clear though, chill. I was assuming that we were talking about these guys all in the league, you know, at their best, whatever. I didn't know we were talking about these guys right now today. I knew we were talking about NBA, but I didn't know we were talking about them right now today.
Right.
With that being said, now y'all can disagree with me if y'all want to. Y'all do that a lot. What I'm saying is, I just think Boogie at his best is better than Karl Anthony Towns.
Whipping
That's
Cat
all.
ass. He's whipping
I don't
Cat
think
ass.
that's without.
I mean-
I don't think nobody.
Yeah,
Is anybody fighting that?
Nah,
That's all I'm
we
saying.
don't have time for me to fight that, so I'm just
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I
please
have
don't,
time.
I
man.
don't got time,
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to fight that either. Unfortunately.
And
Shout out to Boogie for sure. Shout out to Boogie.
For our audio listeners, these are the teams. So this is the current Duke team. We got Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, Paolo Banchero, and Brandon Ingram. Then we got De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, SGA, Cat, and Anthony Davis.
Oh my god, bro! That
Yeah,
just
I
sounds crazy.
keep
when you say
forgetting we
that.
talking about right now because I want to put Jabari on the Duke team. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my nostalgia talking. That's just my nostalgia talking.
For
Hey,
what
but-
it's
but-
worth, the Duke team has the best player.
They do.
Excuse me?
Hmm?
Oh, JT. You talking about Justin
Yeah,
Tatum?
yeah, respect
Boys,
the
what?
NBA champion.
okay.
Not
For
Finals
what it's worth.
MVP, but NBA champion.
Duke has the best.
So wait,
player?
so SGA and Anthony Davis not right here?
As a
AD,
matter of fact,
AD, the third best player. He the third best player.
Yeah, AD would be the
That's
third
fine.
best player.
However,
I mean,
you know,
Duke
seen
got the
Tatum
most
better than
rings
Shai?
up here, so I don't know.
this Kentucky team is beating the hell out of this Duke team. Though that's all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
Kentucky
Oh yeah,
got it,
I
man.
go Kentucky. For sure.
Yeah. Kentucky all the way.
I mean, if you factor in coaching, though,
It cuts it to like a 15-point loss. Yeah.
oh, damn.
If
Who's
yeah.
coaching them? Calipari coaching them?
Nah,
Coach K for Duke.
And Coach K for Duke?
I don't know who Kentucky's current coach is. I can't remember his name.
It's what you call it. The big dude that played for Kentucky. Not Shepard. Poe. Mark Poe.
Who was that? Who?
Okay.
Let's just get that best coach. Who was the Kentucky coach back when Pat Riley was playing?
Adolph
Oh my
Rupp.
god.
Adolph Rupp. That's right. That's his name. I can't remember his name.
You mean the same Adolph Rupp who wouldn't recruit black players? That's who we rolling with?
Oh,
Well,
shit.
he not doing no recruiting. He just got a coach. We got
He
didn't-
didn't
he
have
didn't-
no
you got to
recruit,
coach.
he just gotta
You
coach
got to
the black
coach
players.
these brothers.
He
You know
won't
what I'm
even
saying?
he won't coach black players. He didn't want
Well,
any
chill.
black
Let's
players
finish
on
up the team. We got Reed Shepard. We got Kyle Wiltshire. We got
Oh,
Pat Riley.
fuck.
Who else we got?
Oh, man,
Tyler
that's
Hero.
bad.
Tyler Hero. Reed Shepard and Tyler Hero.
Oh,
Hero.
okay, good
The only reason
Let's
why
get
he
it.
came around-
Wait. Where was Luke Kennard with the Duke or Kentucky?
He went to Duke. He went to Duke.
Duke.
Hey, but man, we got Reed Shepard and yeah.
Well, all
We got
I'm
Reed Shepard,
saying
Tyler
is
Hero.
chill. All
That's
I'm
good
saying
money.
is chill. We gonna walk Adolph Rupp. He's gonna be blindfolded. He's gonna go sit down.
Blindfolded is crazy.
We're gonna put him in the huddle. We're gonna take his huddle off. It's just all
And he gonna
brothers.
walk right as soon as he
He
sees
gonna
it,
walk
right out
right out that gym.
He might
Big
not.
man, wait, chill.
Nothing to do
He
with
gonna walk out. Then we gonna let AD go dunk the ball a little bit, play around. He gonna be like, oh shit, this is going on here. All right, let me do some coaching. Racist and everything. You
He go see Tyler Hero, make a little bit like, love that, man, love that.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't playing for the nutters.
He playing Tyler Hero at the 5 sitting 80 down.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
You bullshitting. The only reason why he started recruiting black players because his ass got kicked by that Texas Western team He was like, okay, this is the wave of the future right here. So I probably should go get some brothers because this one look like this is turning into because I ain't gonna be able to win with these white dudes for the rest of my career.
Oh, so
he retired not long after
He
that.
did start recruiting.
Eventually, he did.
He was like, I ain't doing this.
I can't do this shit no more.
Gun to his head, right?
We gonna get that. We gonna get that rep to coach.
Yeah.
Post Texas weather.
Then he ended up retiring because he
Bama is crazy.
Like, no, I'm good.
Nigga said, I can't handle this shit. I can't handle
Smell their skin color. That's
Nope.
nuts.
All right, y'all. DSG Piccolo said,
man,
so
Texas
Top
is
Right's
funny.
name is Jay Cole.
It's me.
The
Cole
real
Earl.
is back. The veal is back. The flow banana is here. Peeled is back. And then he said, Ox, respectfully, we not believing in the marvelous, the frozen
Oh, damn.
against
Oh, shit.
OKC in the playoffs.
Damn.
Flag to Portland soon. Rig it silver, just like Wimby.
Just want to point this out real quick, y'all.
The
When I'm
marvelous.
talking about this series, I'm not really trying to convince y'all. I'm more so just trying to talk it out with myself. And y'all throwing stuff back at me. It helps me
Word.
work it out.
Trying to convince me.
How
Of course,
do
I
we?
ain't
of
trying
course.
to convince
Yeah,
you.
That's a good man right there.
Right.
I'm trying to convince myself.
I'm
Yeah.
just
trying to talk
bouncing this shit
myself
off of y'all
into it.
because I
I hear
know
that shit. I
don't care about you, dude. I'm
I
trying to
hear
talk
that.
myself into it.
That's a good man
Y'all
right there.
helping.
Because he got to watch this team and he got to root for them. So that's a good man right there. And
It's therapy. It's therapy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Hey, therapy's expensive as hell. So you know what I'm saying? Pull up over here. We gonna work it out.
Yo, in DSG, it's only one marvelous. One.
Who,
Just know that.
Williams?
Marvelous. Gandhi KV2 said JT in 22 and in 2024. What other years from young stars in the playoffs that made you say he's here?
Shit, rookie year, JT. Felt
Absolutely.
that way about.
that dunk on Braun, oh my God. I thought that was his I'm here moment.
He shouldn't have
Steph's
did that,
Steph's
bro.
coming
He
out
wouldn't have did
party in
that, they probably would've won.
2013.
Curry, yeah, that was
Steph's
good
coming
too.
out party in 2013.
Yeah.
Maybe Kawhi in the finals.
Nah,
No, he wasn't a rook.
I think Kawhi
not
that
to
next
me,
year.
not
He
to-
was young.
Not to me personally.
They're not saying Rook, they just
Okay.
saying young.
When I seen Duncan in 97, 98 against Malone, I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
This dude is the real deal. Yes, he is.
Jalen Green this year.
Right.
Mars,
sure.
you're gonna get on that Jalen Green train, Mars.
One way
You
or
are gonna
another.
get
He
on
win
it.
us the series. Hell
Mars, you are
yeah.
going to get on that.
Ron's gonna be right back on that damn
I'm
train,
sick
yo.
of you with this Jalen, because this is what Mars does, Ron. He gets on the train, and then the next stop he gets off, and then the next train comes, and then he gets back on. Mars, you're gonna stay on that Jalen Green train. You are.
Man, I ain't staying on the train. That's
You're gonna get on that train, Mars, and you're gonna stay on it. This
All right,
kid
all
can
right.
play, man.
A
I
pimp
agree, he
named
can play.
Slickback
Go ahead.
said, "Are the Heat still classy though? Let's be honest.
This is a good
Wade,
conversation.
LeBron, and Jimmy have all left Miami in shaky ways. Heat culture has gone too far with Pat being a dictator. Heat culture might need an update."
Why did Bron leave?
Okay,
I know Wade's
It
was
was
about
rumblings.
the
It was rumblings that Pat after the second championship or the first championship, there was a little dispute on a private jet back home about Braun's diet.
Bron
It was
leftover
rumblings, but
cookies.
I've heard that. Right. That was a dispute, and I've heard that Pat Riley's a little bit of a dictator when it comes to diets and it comes to that thing. And when you really think about it, you break it down. Miami is a beautiful place to play, right? No taxes, so it's a big place for free agents. So when you look at they're not getting a lot of free agents, you have to look at maybe why. Right, they got the cap. They got they have the allure of playing in Miami. They have winning rosters. It's why don't people want to go there? And when you look at why people don't want to go there, I start to maybe raise the eyebrow a little bit at Pat Riley and say, hey, is he doing a little too much with the Heat culture? I agree.
LeBron left because of cookies.
So basically,
It was a little more than cookies.
it's more than that, of course, but like there was a story where like apparently like LeBron wanted to have a certain amount of cookies, and then Pat Riley made like a huge show of
He
it.
took his cookies off the plane after
Yeah,
they
that-
lost the championship. Remember,
Yeah.
you don't remember
not after
Jordan
they
told the
lost it.
story?
No,
Smush?
not after they lost it.
Was
They
it-
were on a road trip. They were on a road
Yeah.
trip. They were
What
on a
you
road
said.
trip. Yeah, they were on a road. But if you guys remember, and if I'm being honest, I never thought James was going to be down here for 8-10 years. I never thought that. I don't think he ever wanted to leave Cleveland in the first place. I think that he had
He
to
wanted
go.
to win. That's
Right.
why.
I don't think he ever wanted to. That's why he went back to Cleveland. So I don't think he ever wanted to leave. Number one. That's number one. Number two, how do you reconcile things? You reconcile things by saying sorry. Pat Riley is on record saying he screwed up the way he handled Dwayne Wade's contract. He said that. And he got Dwayne Wade back to Miami and took care of him when he got him. Now, I mean, we missed out on the $100 million deal. Yes, we did. No question about that. But he did get him back to South Beach, and he took care of Wade in some way. Now, as far as Jimmy Butler, I still don't understand where the divide is. You got Jimmy Butler at 29 years old. Jimmy Butler was there for 5 years. You got everything that you were going to get out of him. You gave him a contract extension at that point. Because I don't want to pay Jimmy Butler $55, $60 million at 38 years old does not mean that I'm not running a first-class organization. In fact, I think that's smart to do that. If I'm being honest, I think that's smart to do that.
Well, the question was not first class; it was classy. I believe,
classy.
Right?
I don't.
Yeah,
think that,
yeah.
I don't. I think it's classy to apologize. You know what? I got that wrong, and then bringing him back. And James, I mean, James had his best years in Miami of the 4 league MVPs that he won. He won 2 of them in Miami.
Okay.
So the championships that he won 4 of them. He won 2 of them in Miami. So, I mean, I don't think that. I don't think the James thing is. I don't think he was going to be down here for 8 to 10 years anyway. I just don't.
Pimp named Slickback said Pat Riley's micromanaging of players like taking LeBron's cookies. Pause. Saying it's my way or the highway with both LeBron and Jimmy. You can have a great culture and not disrespect grown men.
Like when Michael Finley took Luca's beer. The same thing, basically.
That's still, that shit was still, bro. That was still crazy when it happened.
Is that what it is? But cookies is LeBron's beer. Is that
basically?
Yeah. Right.
All I'm gonna say is, like,
just
shout out to LeBron and shout out to Luca, but I don't know if I could root for 2 grown men that let another man take your cookies and beer right out your hands. I don't know. I'm starting to think different about the Lakers now. Shout out to Lake Shoda.
That's what does it for you. Got it.
Jay Got Game said, Dub Knicks. No way New York representation on PC finally.
I'm doing my best, y'all. I'm here, y'all.
Yo, so Jay Got Game, got a question for you, Jay.
Talk to me.
What are you guys going to do this year in the playoffs? Honest prediction.
You know, I try to leave my basketball predictions aside from my hopes, right? I try to be really honest with myself.
Just
take
combination
the
of
emotion out of it.
I try to do the facts and be honest, right? I don't think the Knicks make it out the second round, depending on who they play. I think it's going to be a tough second round for the Knicks, depending on who they play. If they play Detroit, which I really hope they don't. I hope Detroit elevates to that 5 spot, and that they get to play Knicks stay at that 3, and they get to play Bucks, right? I think that'll be the best case scenario for the Knicks right now. To get Jalen Brunson back into form a little bit, right? Get him some playoff wins, and then go into the second round. I think the best we could hope for is it's just tough, man, because the East is so tough right now. The top in the East is so tough. The Cavs is tough. The Celtics are just you know what they do, guys. So honestly, I think it's a second round exit, but I think it's very promising in the way that we building this team. And I think next year, catch us in those finals. Next year's catch us in those finals, guys. You know, it takes a while for the team to gel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still learning their role. Injuries early, you know what I'm saying? Everybody learn their role a little bit, but next year, catch us in the finals, guys. Catch us in the finals, man. Absolutely.
All right, I'm running a poll right now. Will the New York Knicks win a championship in the next 3 seasons? You guys let me know.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Love that confidence, man.
Don't smile at me. The answer is yes. Don't smirk at me.
That'll be what? First one since 73?
Yes.
Golly.
Yes.
Shit.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, Josh Hart last night, I think he had his 9th triple-double. Him and Cap both had a triple-double.
Josh Hart been hooping.
Josh Hart, he passed Walt, Clyde Frazier, all time.
Oh, wow.
In a single season.
Big salute
in triple doubles?
Big salute to Josh.
Oh, okay, nice.
Shout out to Josh out there breaking records, man.
Come on, man. How do you hear that and not have confidence in the Knicks, man? That's
Jamal Williams said Eric Spoelstra did not fuck off last night. I saw a lineup of Davion, Anderson, Highsmith, Wiggins, and Bam. Also, shout out Bam for being big dog.
Yeah,
that's an amazing defensive lineup.
Yeah. And
there was
a hell of a game all game.
Hellacious defense. Yeah, Davion on Buddy Hield too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Buddy Hield struggled last night. And that, you know, that's I think Buddy Hield just plays like that every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like he just has
once in a while.
Now that's
right.
actually just him,
Yeah, you're right,
bro.
I reverse it. That's his norm. That's his norm.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Last night I had a moment where like the stats, I was watching the game to see if the eye test and stats matched up. Every time Buddy Hield just caught and shot the ball, it was fine. It was okay. It was respectable. When he put that shit on the floor, I'm like, oh, it's bad.
Get him off
bad,
the field.
bro.
Get him
Yeah,
off the
we
field.
had one good drive in the second quarter.
Mhm.
The drive was good. The drive was good, but no. I mean a shot off the bounce. The drives are fine. Shooting the basketball off the bounce is, bro.
He's a hilarious player.
Definitely.
Pip named Slickback said, I got a question for the brother on the panel who's a Knicks fan. I despise orange and blue. I'm one of the 6
I'm sorry to
Knicks
hear that.
fans. Of the moves y'all made last year, would you reverse any of them? We asking tough questions today. Huh?
Remember, you go to the finals soon, so like, be careful.
I think regardless, we go to the finals. But I really do think getting rid of Quentin Grimes was a terrible move. I didn't support it when it happened. I think that Quentin Grimes was just such a pivotal piece in the playoff run last year. And I didn't like getting rid of Dante DiVincenzo. I would have loved to see what it looked like, the Villanova Knicks. I would have loved to see what they look like. Just in terms of, I don't love everything that Mikal Bridges has brought to the Knicks this season. I don't think it was worth
all the picks you traded.
DiVincenzo was for Cat though.
You're right. My bad. I don't think it was worth what they gave up though. I don't think what it was worth.
Cat or Mikal?
Mikal. That's what I was talking about. I don't think I don't think it was worth the what they gave up in terms of the picks. I don't think it was worth. That was the only trade that I would reverse. I think the Cat's been phenomenal this season. Like I said, I think he deserves an All-NBA nod. Second or first, I wouldn't be mad at
Would
first.
you have tried to keep Hartenstein?
Absolutely. Especially when Mitch Robinson's injured.
That to me was the biggest problem. Losing
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I like how they backed Mitchell Robinson, but I would have rather Isaiah Hartenstein over Mitchell Robinson.
For sure.
100%. 1000%.
Void Century said, Heat Nation, we won our championship last year. Bam stood on business and locked that old ass Jimmy Butler up. Only 2 points at the half. Now back to the tank.
They were without Curry. I will say that when you're without one of the most impactful players of all time, top 5 greatest player of all time, it is tough. It is tough to win games.
Last time I heard the commissioner get up on the podium and say, "Congratulations, barely NBA champions," was never. So whether you hear or not, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Nope.
Good point. Yeah.
Solo Man or Solomon said, "Is Gigi Jackson having a sophomore slump or just been injured? I've been meaning to watch more Memphis."
I caught a few Memphis games. Injuries have just been tough on them. They just how many games did they play healthy? I think it's less than half the games they played.
That's what's so funny about Memphis.
Healthy, like how many players you expecting to be healthy? But
I would say at least one. If one of your starting lineup players is not healthy, and then one of your rotation players is not healthy, I don't think he's healthy.
Gigi's percentages are bad.
Garbage.
Yeah, they're pretty bad, bro.
I know he was shooting 39% from the field.
But he had a lot better opportunities last year because he was really the guy last year. Like he was their guy for most of last year when Ja was hurt and he also wasn't there. So that's why I say, injuries create opportunities. He had a lot of opportunities last year. So I wasn't the highest on Gigi in general. So,
yeah,
me neither.
But I wouldn't call it a sophomore slump. I didn't know the percentages were that bad, but I wouldn't call it a sophomore slump. I just think he's just he's a questionable decision maker. So he makes the game harder on himself than I think it has to be. But I think he'll figure out. He's at 19. He'll be all right.
Yeah, it's the second year. Yeah. So he'll work it out for sure.
Your Highness Charles said there were 3 blood clots in a 12-month span in 2018 and 3 blood clots in a 6-month span in 2015. This is a non-issue. Tinfoil hat theories.
That's him saying it's not about the vaccine.
Shout out to Tinfoil hats. Average Joe said, put this Kentucky team versus Team USA minus Embiid. He's not supposed to count. And the guys on the Kentucky team, who y'all got?
Now Embiid don't count. I've seen him get his gold medal. I got Team USA.
Even if Embiid didn't count and you want to throw whoever in there, Team USA clears them. It's not even close.
Because the Kentucky guys are American. So would I rather have the best Americans or the best Americans who went to Kentucky?
Exactly.
Whatever. Shout out to USA.
Plus Shai, I guess. Plus Shai.
MP13 said it's gonna be nasty narratives wrongfully spewed. Keyword on or emphasis on wrongfully, spewed against Giannis when they get bounced in the first round now. People are going to give no context.
Yeah, probably.
That's how basketball narratives go. He's just gonna have to roll with it, come back next year, and you know what I'm saying.
I mean, we're running out of next year's. I mean, he's 30. You know,
We are running out of next year.
30 is not the end all be all, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
got
I'm
guys
just saying
playing at
we're
37,
we're
36
running
right now.
running out of next year.
37.
He's
KD,
already
30,
he's
37 all year.
he's regressing athletically. Like we're running
He
out of
hasn't-
next year.
Is he?
Yes.
I thought he was just putting on a little more weight.
If this is what Giannis looks like regressing athletically, I'm happy. With
I mean,
No.
he's still an S-tier athlete. I'm not like
I mean, he's still
LeBron was regressing athletically in like 2016, but like he was still an S-tier athlete. Like,
yeah, you know what
I'm
I'm saying.
not saying he's going to just not be able to move anymore, but he's regressing athletically.
They on the sugar regress.
We are running out of next year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ray B said that 17 Thunder team was so ass. Without Russ, they are competing for that number 1 pick. The 14th Thunder was still a great team, even with Russ's injury. Dub Russ.
Okay.
Keep going, Ray.
They were a well-constructed team in 2014. They were built to. They were trying to go win a championship, right? After KD's departure in 2017, that's not their goal. You know what I'm saying? That's not. So the fact that Russell Westbrook was still able to pull MVP out of his ass, shout out Russ, man. That just speaks to his greatness.
Shout out to Russ for sure.
Mello Williams said, chill. I need you to explain to me what classifies Franz Wagner as a big because he's 6'10", more of a wing than a big.
Well, he does big things at 6'10". I mean, he does wing things too, but he's 6'10", which makes him a big. He rebounds. He does do things.
Jason Tatum's 6'10".
Well, he's about 6'9".
Nah, Jason Tatum is 6'10".
Is he 6'10"?
Jason Tatum is 6'10".
He's a wing. Yeah.
Yes.
And he plays on the wing, but does he do the same thing that Franz Wagner does?
He rebounds better than Franz does.
Yeah,
He rebounds better than Franz too.
Wait a minute. Wings rebound. Let's not
I
make.
mean, you said big things and then you brought rebounds.
You said big things, you brought a
Right,
rebound.
because you're a big. Wait. You're a big.
He's not a big.
As a big, you rebound.
And Jason Tatum does that better than Franz.
Okay, so with that also being said, Franz also does other things as a big. Like he plays on the box. He plays on the box.
So does Jason Tatum.
Tatum does that
play on the
too.
block as much as
If
Franz
I look
Wagner
up
does.
these
Because that's not what the offense allows.
I will see Jason Tatum.
So what is that?
post up more than Franz.
So what does that mean? So who is a big in the game today? Because a lot of big, because a lot of big, so
Jokic is a big.
Are you sure?
Anthony Davis is a big.
Are you? But these guys play on the wing. These guys shoot jump
Anthony
shots.
Davis is a big.
Well,
And he rebounds. But
it's
he
hard to-
rebounds.
it's
like
hard because
Jason
he
Tatum.
plays the four.
Anthony Davis is a
So
big.
who are bigs then?
Yes.
So is Franz Wagner.
But why?
Oh,
The
God,
question was
what?
why.
The
The question is because he does big man things. Just because Russell Westbrook does big man things too.
Is he a big?
No, he's not.
So
But he
size,
does big-
so
but he-
size
but he
plus
does-
doing big man things is what
but
you're saying.
yes, he
Okay,
does
okay.
big man things. Just
Okay.
because you do big man things
So Jason
and you're
Tatum a
not
big.
big.
Jason Tatum posts up more than Franz Wagner.
Is Jason Tatum a big?
Jason Tatum is a wing. I think Franz Wagner plays on James. I don't think Wagner doesn't play on the wing as much as Jason Tatum does.
Well, the offense makes Jason Tatum play the wing more. That's just
Right.
the Boston's offense.
And if he play and if we're in a different, don't forget we're in a different time now, right? So
I'm
if we were in a
confused.
different,
What do you think Franz Wagner does on offense?
what does Franz Wagner do on offense? Franz
Ball
Wagner
handles?
is rebounding. He's great in transition, running the paint like bigs do, running the lane like bigs do. He handles the
Like
basketball.
wings do. Yeah, like wings
Like
do.
wings do,
Wings
too.
fill the lane too. Wings fill the lane too.
Everything you're
Yes,
saying, the
we-
wings do though.
So who are what I'm trying to make sense of is what is a wing and what is a big? Because 6'10" guys play.
A big is Jokic, Embiid,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis,
Okay, so
Zamonta Sabonis,
Yeah, those are big.
Alfred Şengün.
Are they big?
Big.
Because
Yes.
so wait a minute. So
All
Alfred
of them are
Şengün,
clear bigs. Yeah.
Alfred Şengün, who also plays on the wing, who shoots the three, who plays in the mid range, just like Franz Wagner does, but he also plays on the box. He also rebounds.
Wait.
Is he a big? Because he's
Yes.
6'10", just like Franz
Şengün is a
Wagner.
big, yeah.
Does he play
Şengün is a
closer to the basket?
Yes.
He's a big.
Because because where does Franz Wagner play?
I'm
Because
bucking out right now.
Am I tripping right now? Because he.
No, I'm going off what you're telling me. You're telling me this is what a big is. Franz Wagner, you're telling me this is what a big is. Alfred Şengün, he does all of those things that you're talking about. Wings do. He plays on the wing. He facilitates. He shoots the. What do you mean? No, He plays on the wing.
He
shoots
plays
it,
better
he
closer to the back.
No, because I would go. You said Franz Wagner was a big. We all asked how, and then you said he does things that bigs do, and then you went to the rebounding, the posting up, all of that stuff. Then I said Jason Tatum does those things too.
That doesn't make
he-
Franz
no.
Wagner
Is
any
he
less
a
than
big?
to answer
So then
your
you
question.
said
No,
no.
I
And then
know
you
what I
asked
said.
what a
Mars.
big was, and
I
then
know
we
what I
said
said.
names.
I know what I
None of us said what big.
That doesn't make him any
None of
less
us
of a big when somebody smaller does what he does.
They're the same size.
Nothing.
Jason Tatum and Franz are
They're the same
size.
size though. That's,
So a smaller guy who rebounds, a smaller guy, that doesn't make him any less of a big when these guys do what he does. Rebounding, playing closer to the basket, playing around the basket. Franz Wagner plays around the basket.
Yes,
Franz Wagner plays around the basket. He also takes advantage of mismatches when he's got
he's a
smaller guys
slasher.
on. He's got smaller guys on him. So with him being a slasher,
He does
that's
like to
also
shoot the
part
ball.
of being a big.
but
Because
wings can
because-
slash though. I don't understand your point.
see, this is what I'm talking about with you dudes. Because what you're trying this
What
Is
you
Paolo-
mean?
is Paolo a big?
because Joker slashes to the basket. Joker's a big,
Yeah,
does he not?
yeah, and John Morant slashes too. Is Paolo a big?
I think Paolo plays big.
Okay, so Franz is a big,
But I think Fran
Paolo's a
plays
big.
big too, though.
And Wendell
I think
Carter's
he is
a
a big.
so they
I
have
think
three.
Wendell
They have
Carter's-
three bigs in their
I
starting
think,
line,
I think Wendell Carter is a big. They got a big lineup. Yes, they do.
and they have no wings.
I think whoa. Paolo plays big. That doesn't mean that he's not a wing. He plays big.
So Paolo's a wing, but Franz is a big.
Wait, Palos is a wing, but Franz is a big.
I would
Is that
say
what you said?
Paolo's more of a big than Franz.
I
I
guess
would
we don't
too.
have any. I guess we don't have any. I guess we don't have any bigs in the game. I mean, no. Let me rephrase that. I guess we don't have any bigs on Orlando because even though Franz Wagner,
Wendell Carter is that big.
Wendell Carter is
And
big.
Goga.
Yep,
Once
Boga.
again,
Yeah,
he's a
Goga
big
Carter is
shot.
that big.
may I finish, please?
Jonathan Isaac to a lesser.
Yeah, sure.
So because Franz Wagner does things that wings do, and he plays also like a big, he can't be a big. He has to play as a wing. He has to be a wing.
You're the
So
only one who says he plays like a big.
I 100% said he plays.
None
like a
of us
big.
are saying Franz plays like a big.
I'm saying that he
Franz-
plays like a big because
Yeah,
he does
you're
big
the only
man
one saying
things.
He play like a
Because
wing.
he plays like a
There's
big.
two of us.
You
He
think
plays like a big.
Ron?
Ron too. Oh,
Ron-
come on.
He
Y'all
Y'all
plays
didn't see him in
around.
Michigan?
Am I losing my mind? Does
No,
Franz
Chill,
Wagner
you're
not
not.
play around the
You're not.
basket?
What is
Chill, these
no?
dudes
Franz
Chill
Wagner
ball.
is losing.
He does
my
play
mind.
around the
Am I
basket.
losing my mind?
He
Does
plays
Franz
around the
Wagner not
basket.
play around the basket?
But
Does
he also
not
shoots
rebound
rebounds
like a
game.
big? Does he not cover bigs?
He doesn't play around the basket like a big though.
Chill. We're just gonna move on because they're trolling you right now.
No,
So
No,
it's-
we're not.
Ron,
No,
this is
we're not. No.
disgusting.
Okay, you know what? No.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
No.
Look at what y'all
Pause,
doing to
pause.
Chill.
Ron.
Sounds to me like-
I am tired of you
Big.
gaslighting people with that word, Ron. You be
Call him
pissing me
out.
off with this shit. Because
Call him out.
prime example, when Mars said that he believes that Mike beat Chill in the debate, is trolling. Everything's not trolls. We can't boil
I
down
never said
everything
that
to
Mars
just being
was
a
trolling.
troll.
And I never said I disagree with Mars.
I'm just confused, but Ron, you can move on because we don't have time for this. But
Yeah,
I'm very confused. Very.
All I'm gonna say is Franz Wagner's closer to being a chill or closer to being a big than Mike was closer to beating Chill. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Bro, did we
The
watch
next-
that debate?
the next
We ain't
super
got
chat-
time. You look too gift.
No. Actually, no.
Time for this.
I was waiting on Mars to say that. Mars. I rewatched every single debate up here. I rewatched mines. I watched every single round. I rated on point consistency and points being made. I don't see how the consensus is there was some rigging in my rounds for me to progress. I don't see that personally. I watched it back,
I could say the same thing about mine.
but I watched yours too. I think Mike made better points. I'm sorry. I mean,
you're
no
gonna
disrespect. No
I-
disrespect.
But
I-
you're
and I can
gonna
say-
you're
and
gonna
I
watch
can say
your
this-
debate through a better lens of yourself.
Of course you are. 'Cause I can
No.
say the same thing- I
I was
can
hard on
say the
myself.
same thing about your debate. Like I think he made better points than you.
This is why I think we need to have a player's choice stream where we literally watch the debates and pause frame and focus on point. I
We
was
can
saying
do
this last year.
Hey, I swear we could do that.
What's
All-
up then?
all-
What's
all-
up?
all-
We can really do that. No.
All
I
I'm
am
saying-
I am not gonna let Ron say we can do that and then we don't do the shit. Let's actually do
All
it.
right,
Then.
gifted. We can set it up. All
What's
I'm gonna
up?
say,
We gonna do PCL film study?
I'm so with that. I have watched every debate 3 times for the most part. I feel like y'all be saying shit up here, not actually watching it back. It looks crazy and awesome
Do
when
you
you watch
think
it
I won
back.
my debate? Do you think I won
Yes,
my
you did. You three old man. Yes, that was a
way to
That was
take care of
bad.
business, Mars, against a 16th seed. Because all I know is these Cinderellas is getting stronger and stronger. That's all I know.
some of
Mid-majors
them are
strong
not.
out here.
I don't know how Carson lost either. I didn't understand that either, but you know.
Shout out Carson, shout out Mike, and shout out
Ron. I'm being dead ass though. I would love to legitimately have a string, like, because I've been saying this for like literally 2 years now, where we just focus on the points being made, if it's truth or lies, and the sequencing of things. If someone says something in round 1 and then in round 3 they go against what they said, that should be a deduction from their points being made. I feel like we're not doing that, and I'm telling you, I've watched literally every person debate back.
You don't know what the judges are doing.
Okay, but
Yeah.
for
You
instance,
don't know what ticket influence doing. I know
you
Lord
should be
probably
throwing
does
out
it.
names. You
I
should
know
be throwing
Lord
out
does it
names.
for sure. Dub, you
Okay.
never know what Dub
These
is.
niggas said they made better. I ain't getting into that shit. I won. Fuck out of here.
No, you did not.
Fuck
did
out
win.
of here.
You
I
did
won.
win.
Now I gotta explain how I won.
Talk to him,
Get the hell out of
Cam.
here.
Talk to him,
Fuck
Cam.
out of here. I
You
won.
won. You
Listen,
won.
listen.
And now you have a buy in the
Listen,
next
I
round.
feel for you. Chill. I feel for you because they be trolling you all times, but like all troll aside, in terms of like points being made, I legitimately do believe Mike won his argument compared to you. Only because of your failure to make points against the Cavaliers in the first round, and you saying that Tyrese Maxey is a better playmaker and ball handler and pick and roll player than James Harden. That's just not true. That's just not true. Objectively,
I brought up the numbers, and the Cavaliers, the Cavaliers. Your logic is countering. He didn't counter my point about the starting 5.
He did counter your
the
point.
No, he did not.
I can tell you what he said. You want me to tell you what he said?
Please tell me what he said.
We gotta move on.
No, we don't gotta move on. Gifted is here. So you want this fight? Let's have it. What did he say, Gifted?
Okay,
What did he say?
Okay, so he mentioned the offense of the Celtics being shaky because it's super reliant on 3-point shooting. He mentioned the Cleveland starters being more dynamic of a offense. He mentioned Porzingis' health not being a consistency thing for them all the way throughout the playoffs, only playing 3 games in the NBA Finals. And more importantly, he focused on the more current version of what Cleveland does. He mentioned the rim protectors that they have in their starting lineup. He also talked about them being the best team in the East over Boston. Your points were more so we saw Boston prove it. The Cavs haven't proven it yet, but you didn't completely dissect.
That's why I 100% did that because I said once again.
What did you dissect though? I'm trying to.
I said, quote, they're 10 games over 500 with him because we talked about countering. I said they're 10 games over 500 with him in the lineup. They're 30 games over 500 with him and Drew Holiday in the lineup. We can't talk about preseason. We can't talk about any of that stuff because what they're doing now, they're undefeated as a starting 5. They won the NBA championship. That can't be disputed whatsoever. So any other point you talk about net rating, any other point you talk about offense, none of that is disputed off the strength that with us in the starting 5, we are undefeated and we won the NBA championship. And until somebody disproves that, we are the best starting 5.
But Mike is focusing on starting 5 versus starting 5, though, in terms of like what makes them better.
And we
today.
are the NBA champion, right? And,
yeah,
and as
I hear that point.
But that was the point that I made. As a starting 5 in the NBA today, the Boston Celtics with Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis in the starting 5, they have not lost the playoff series. And on top of that,
starting lineup has played 7 games.
With Porzingis in the lineup.
Oh, is that Penn?
With Porzingis.
Is that Penn in the chat, but not on?
With Porzingis
Penn,
in the
feel
lineup.
free to pull up.
They're 10 games over 500.
We're going overtime today. Looks
10
like
10 games over 500. So
the Cavs this season are more than 10 games over 500.
That's what I don't. It's okay. It's all right. Listen, I'm just saying, Ron.
14.
Yes, I'm just saying, Ron. I know you might not have time. Legitimately, I think having a stream after this next round to review the rounds, going through pausing and playing, I think would just be cool to have a film study to see how people are making their points throughout rounds. Like,
we have a whole week.
I'm fine doing that.
It's not like
I agree.
It's not like once we're done, it's done right then and there. No, it's not. Right after we have a whole week before somebody is found out.
And it's hiding comments in the chat, huh?
We have a whole week. So
it was an accident, I think.
Oh, okay, word.
If I lost, why am I moving on? I ain't giving that dude no energy. None. There's no reason for me to get.
I also just want to make it abundantly clear.
I think you're gonna be
I hate my topics for this Sunday. I'm gonna still probably win, but I despise my topics. I'm just.
Are they hard topics? Are they hard topics to you?
I just think they're stupid topics.
Okay,
they're not hard. Word. I think they're stupid topics. Well, 2 of them. I already told Ron that, so I'm not I already told him. I think.
I'm sorry, but like respectfully, I'm fine with people disagreeing with me, but Penn legitimately was in the stream admitting he didn't watch some of the debates. But based on what I know about Swiper goes past. Like Penn is just yapping. At least I have film of me watching the shits back and analyzing point for point what people did, even if you disagree with my perspective on it. That's all I'm saying. Just watching it back.
I respect you took the time out of your busy schedule to watch every single debate.
I did. So I feel like I'm able to speak on that because I actually watched it. I'm not just yapping.
I know the judges have a requirement to watch each battle twice. So Gifted, hopefully they were as meticulous as you when they chose Renegade to get snubbed.
Ron. Yeah. I see you trolling right now. I'm out because you're literally trolling. Like,
Merry Christmas.
All right, Chill. You see what y'all did?
But listen.
See what y'all did?
I feel for Chill because they be trolling him a lot, 100%. I just feel like this is not a troll.
Not trolling you.
Oh, you're definitely trolling me for sure, 100%. But like for Chill, like they be trolling Chill a lot.
Chill lost, but you didn't lose.
I'm telling you. I went back. I watched and say yes. I'm telling you yes, and I'm down to go frame for frame, word for word, bar for bar for those because I've watched both of those debates 3 times.
We are going to do this, and Chill's going to lose his mind.
He probably will.
We probably can't even do Chill's because
I think Chill just said too much shit that wasn't true in his debates. I'm sorry. Like that does hurt your point when your argument for Tyrese Maxey over James Harden is Tyrese Maxey's a better playmaker. He's better than pick and roll.
We'll save Chill's film breakdown for last. But we're going to go through the most controversial battles. We'll probably do it like how Gifted said after this round. So probably sometime next week we'll jump on Playback and we'll go through all the close battles, all the close battles.
And I'm sorry, but like the thing that just annoys me about Penn the most is Penn talking like his. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
Hey, but
it's just a lot of energy not being consistent. Is all.
What you can't say about Penn though is, hey, Penn was licking his fingers during his battle. Penn licked the plate clean.
Because you allowed him to choose Oklahoma City as the team to be a GM for, and then the person he's arguing is like, "Oh yeah, I think the Spurs draft picks, comparing draft picks to Oklahoma's like you should have banned OKC as a team." Respectfully, that's an easy argument to make for almost anyone that knows a little bit about basketball.
But check this out, Gifted. If I say
sorry,
if I give me and you get a topic, and the question is debate who's the best big in the league, who are you going to choose?
Who you think I'm going to choose?
Jokic.
And
we're
so you ban Jokic, right?
Jokic. No. If you don't want to choose Jokic, no, because
why? Why are there times where you're banning the clear picks? Like here, right? You ask who's the best shooter in the league. You ban Steph Curry.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
They both pick Steph.
But what if I want to pick Ray Allen? If you want to debate that, then that's on you.
But you banned Steph Curry. Why though?
No, I get what you're saying. But even if there's not a ban and you don't choose the best team, then that's on you. So you're making the pick. I'm not giving you. It's not like I said you can't pick OKC, but Penn, you can pick OKC.
Wait, but I'm asking you though, no, yeah, but I'm asking for the shooter topic, right? You banned Steph Curry. Is it because they both picked Steph Curry, or because you wanted it to be as close to like an actual conversation?
I want it to be as close, but hold on. Here's the thing, though.
Okay,
in that conversation,
Mars, you see what I'm saying, right?
No, I see what you're saying. I just feel like this should be being discussed behind closed doors, not on air. But
well, I mean, we can talk about it. Certain things we can. But I mean, my thing is though, like once again, you guys have the option. I try to keep it as open-ended as possible, or we try to keep it as open-ended as possible. You guys get a chance to choose whatever topics you want. So, and you guys are gonna see in this next round, some people chose dumbass topics.
I can't say what my second round topic is. Ron, you gave me is player A or player B.
No,
that's one of my topics.
Yeah, well, some topics are going to be player A and player B. Like if we were to do a GOAT conversation, some topics might be Bill Russell and Wilt. Like you know that, but then there's also open-ended topic.
I'm just saying, Ron.
But you just gave me a player.
Yeah.
What you mean?
I can't say what my topic. You just gave me the player. I ain't asked for him.
And then Mark had to argue for that player, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You did do that.
Yeah, you said give me the opposite of what he chooses.
I also said I think them questions are dumb. I'd rather not do it. Look at
Yeah,
you
I-
gave me it.
Yeah,
I also said something similar.
You chose that. You said, give me the opposite of this one.
Ron. You do wind up like saying shit to make us basically capitulate and say, all right, I guess I'll do this, even though we know the topic isn't the best.
Yeah, but Gifted, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. First off, once again, he had the option to choose OKC too. He didn't want to choose.
Okay, but Ron.
No. As
What?
a matter of fact, I'm glad we're on this topic. I'm glad you said that because now that my memory serves me correctly, the question was that I asked him, you have an option between OKC and the Spurs, and this nigga chose the Spurs. He chose Victor Wembanyama.
Wait. So you're telling me in a serious face, you offered him those.
I'll pull up the text.
I'll pull up the text. Ron, Mr. Ron, calm down.
Gifted.
Here's what I'm asking you, right? Because again, I'm doing a direct comparison, right? So for the best shooter topic, you did not you automatically took Steph Curry off the board to make it a topic people can talk about.
Where you could choose anybody in the NBA,
right? But you couldn't choose Steph Curry. Why is that? Because we know Steph Curry clears everyone as a shooter.
But check me out. This specific question
should not even been a question.
This specific question was who would you rather build with, I think, for the next 10 years? Oklahoma City or the San Antonio Spurs?
And I'm saying the same shit you did with Steph Curry, you should have did with OKC, is what I'm telling you.
Personally, I think that's a valid question. I think having Victor Wembanyama, the rookie of the year, Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, who's an all-star, I think the Spurs are like that. Now,
and I'll mention OKC with better players. And better assets. I don't understand.
Once again, West chose the Spurs because he believed the Spurs. He picked it. I gave him two options.
I'm not gonna lie.
He picked the Spurs.
No, listen, I agree. I personally think that he's kind of slow for choosing the Spurs over OKC in that spot. I can agree with that. However, you eliminating Steph Curry off the table in one instance, but not eliminating OKC.
This is a completely different question.
I feel like that's the same to me.
This is a completely different. Look, the question could have been, what team would you rather choose to build for the next 10 years? That wasn't the question. Like I said, there's some questions where there's two options. You don't have to choose the lesser option if you believe it's a lesser option. Once again, some people believe that the lesser option is the better option. If I ask Ox who's better, Malik Monk or said player, he's gonna say Malik Monk. So
I just feel like if you're gonna eliminate one player from one conversation to make it a better conversation, you could have did the same for OKC. That's all I'm saying. Independent of whoever they wind up actually choosing.
Penn was gonna win regardless. Is what it is. Go ahead, Ron.
All right, Boone Works Out said for the panel, if every player was in their prime on his current team, injuries not a concern, which team would be the best right now?
Curry Warriors, easy. I'm gonna live on that hill, I'm gonna die on that hill.
What do you mean?
You said they were in their prime, right? What player if they were in their prime on the bet? That was the question, right?
Yeah.
So if Curry was in his prime right now, his current team in the NBA, and injuries were not a concern.
Curry, Dreamy, Draymond? You got him?
Yeah. Curry, Jimmy. Prime Curry with anybody. Put prime Curry with the fucking Globetrotters. It don't matter. With all four of us in here and Curry on the team, we go into the Western Conference Finals minimum.
Is it not just Luka and prime LeBron?
Yeah. Like, that one's easy for me.
Okay. What's prime LeBron? What year?
I'm saying. Give me the LeBron that played defense, 2013.
No. Okay,
2013 prime LeBron, yeah.
Okay. Hey, give me prime Luka. What he did to the Clippers that year.
James Harden and prime Kawhi.
That'd be all right.
Not worrying about injuries. Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. Okay. There's options.
MP13 said, Ron can't tell me a topic. Can't tell me the topic of last week's shows, but now he can remember details from two days
Yeah, all right, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Hey, man.
Shout out last week's topics. Mo said, Harden clears, always will. They ain't on my GOAT's level.
I think that should be a PCL topic.
That's a little biased, but I don't think Harden clears.
It's way better than the ones I have.
I can agree that would be better than some for sure.
Way better.
All right. Well, I mean, Morris, I'll ask him but he's probably going to choose Westbrook. So then what am I supposed to do?
He want Westbrook, then I want Austin Rivers.
All right.
It's funny.
Void
It's only marginal
Century
that context.
said Eric Spoelstra changing the offense benefited Hero in the beginning of the season, but hurt Bam because it took away his mid-range game and made him a spot-up three-point shooter.
I think Bam made a conscious effort to try and shoot the three. I think that's the biggest thing. But
Yo, good show, Ron. I gotta bounce, but I appreciate y'all.
Gifted, great show,
All right,
bro.
well, hold on. Wait, Gifted.
What up?
It's a couple super chats addressed to you.
Okay, I'm listening.
DSG Piccolo said, well, Gifted, get in that bag next time and don't leave any doubt that you beat Jordan. Can't troll a 3-0.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm honest with myself. I feel like the ceiling that people expect me to be at, I definitely wasn't in my battle versus Renegade, but that's a different conversation than me actually losing to Renegade when you watched the battle back in full detail, in my opinion. I think those are two different things.
Okay, that's fair.
Can Gifted go now? Oh no,
whoever,
no,
we can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this power chat from Penn.
Penn said, GH, did you say IQ and Jacob are good defenders? Jakob are good defenders? Did you put Scotty and BI on the bench for CJ and Herb? You dumb as a box of rocks? Stop yapping.
All right, so I love this power chat from Penn because if he watched the debate, which he did not, I never committed to anything. I talked about different styles and plays that I can do, right? I also mentioned that Scotty Barnes could be the best player to lead a second unit compared to my team versus his. Those are my points. She didn't watch the debate because you be yapping. Just like not even a year ago, we were up here discussing Cade Cunningham, which I'm going to continue killing you with this point. You're not going to get away from this. You mentioned the Pistons record without Cade being better than it was with Cade to indicate Cade was the reason why they were asked, to indicate that Cade was not as good of a player as he was, because you have such a Fred VanVleet kink that you were mad that someone would think that Cade Cunningham was a better player than Fred VanVleet. But now all of a sudden it's a commentate to say Cade Cunningham is better than Fred because of the season he's having right now. How about you own up to your bias? You own up to your emotions, being in your feelings and being honest about this stuff. And also, I'm tired of you after every single debate that you have talking about, you know what, guys, my fault. I'll do better next time. I wasn't on my A game. But every single debate, you're not on your A game. You make an excuse every single time after that. So I just find a lot of these things funny. And it's not personal. I'm speaking facts. You factually talked to me about Santi Aldama's Vorp being over Cade Cunningham to indicate Cade was not as good of a player. I think that's dumb. Just like you think me breaking down play styles is dumb, I think that's dumb, respectfully. And I have no problem with you. But every time you do it, and again, I haven't mentioned your name in over a year, and you've been talking about me nonstop over and over and over and over. Notice I didn't force us to get to this, lane. We got here over time at the end of the show. I didn't leave the show off with this. We just kept going. So I'm fine with that. But you at every single point want to bring up bullshit because you think you're smarter than everyone else, and you're not. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You're not. Right. If you had to play a competent player, a competent person in the PCL, you would be in a much harder situation. But there's time for you to build up to get your confidence up against bums. I'm gonna be honest. The PCL needs to be better selected because I'm seeing niggas come on the camera and completely misrepresent points in round 2s and round 3s compared to round 1s. Respectfully, that's me being honest. So if you want to talk about me like not being smart, all this and all that, rise up, do something about it.
Hold on,
like I love this guy, bro. That was
I just think it's dumb because
put
again,
a name on who doesn't need to be here.
I'm gonna do that later. Listen, Penn's main point.
Ron, that was
listen,
rough, Ron.
The main thing that irritates me about Penn is he's acting like back then I was crazy to think Cade Cunningham could have been a better player than Fred VanVleet. And again, focused on merits, I think bringing up Vorp in an argument for Cade when Cade was injured that same season is dumb. Bringing up a team that only won maybe 14 or 15 games on the season, having a better record without Cade than with Cade is also dumb. So if you're mad at that, if you take that personal and that's why you keep saying my name, cool, but acknowledge that. Don't act like there's nothing there. Yeah, I don't care what everyone thought. Watch the actual debate back. I watched it back.
Gifted. This is all I'm going to say on your way out.
Yeah.
I ran a poll and I said, did Gifted actually beat Renegade? 60% of the people said you got your clock cleaned.
That's fine.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm
not
running
sure.
a poll currently. Would you beat Penn? And 68% of the people are saying you would clean Penn's clock, which further leads me to believe that Renegade would beat Penn. So, well, that's neither here nor there, but you get my point.
Everyone's opinions are their opinions. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But a huge part of why people are saying I lost to Renegade is that they've seen me sharper in debates and they were expecting me to look and appear sharper. That is different than me making points against what actually happened. Again, I factually speaking have watched back every single debate. Penn, I don't agree with a lot of your takes, but it's not a personal thing. I had you winning in your debate because you wound up surviving the points West made because West was not like hard countering you on a whole lot, despite the fact that you were hyping up a 23 game sample size from Jerry McCain, and for whatever reason, West chose to not beat you over the head with that. Like, you could have easily lost your shit, but I just feel like being the GM of Oklahoma City is a much easier argument than being the GM of the Spurs. And I'm just saying. But hey, we can move on. I don't want to talk too much in circles, but that's what it is.
We're already half an hour over time. That is what it is.
Hey, we are. But yeah. Peace out, y'all. I got to bounce. Good show.
All right, Gifted.
Peace.
Yo, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the panel.
My man, this is awesome. This is an experience. I loved it, man.
We got a couple more super chats though, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Uncle
Jerry's Gone Senile became a YouTube member. Fink Jones said the fact this isn't Chill's worst take is crazy. It should be.
When did he send that?
That was during the whole Franz is a big thing.
Yeah.
He's been calling Franz a big for 6 months, and I've been letting it slide like every time he does it.
Well, I think it's just rough to put him in that category only because fours are really hard to, right? And Franz usually plays the four if they don't have Paolo down there, right? But they'll switch Paolo and Franz most of the time. But it's just hard to identify the fours as a big because they usually play so much on the wing. It's just difficult. Anybody who shoots 7 threes a game is hard to put it.
Franz
really, Wendell Carter's just in his
Franz
way.
is such an obvious wing. Like he's so obviously.
No, he's Mars.
Yeah.
No, it's not. If Wendell wasn't there, he'd
so
be playing the center.
Name another big that shoots 7 threes a game. Just one.
Franz does not shoot 7 threes. There's no way.
Look it up.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I checked maybe last month and it was 6 threes. So
there's no way he shoots 7 threes.
That
damn, he's shooting 29% from 3. Oh yeah, he definitely is.
5.8, man.
Okay, 6 threes. 6 threes.
Ain't no way he was shooting 7. That was
name another
way.
big that shoots 6 threes a game. Jokic and
how many Porzingis shoot?
Cat
when he plays. Okay, and Cat. Who else?
There's a couple options, right?
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Porzingis must shoot 6 threes.
In a sample size of 4 games, 5 games this season.
Porzingis shoots 6 threes a game.
In a sample size of 5 games.
36 games.
Okay, I was being
there you go. Wemby
Okay.
does shoot 9. Wemby shoots 9.
Wemby has to shoot 9 because when you play somebody like Wemby and they're forcing him out the post, you have to. You can't let Wemby get down there at all. So he has to settle for those shots. He has to shoot 9.
End of the day, Franz is a wing. That's what I know.
I agree.
Pimp named Slickback said, also, fun fact, with my sorry Nets, we are finally drafting a player in the lottery for the first time in 16 years. It's an NBA record. NBA gods, do your thing.
Don't fuck it up again. Oof.
Number 1 pick, Cooper Flag, Brooklyn.
Possible.
I can see Adam rigging it. Your Highness Charo said, chill. I think you're the only NFL fan up here, but apparently the Browns are close to trading the 2nd overall pick for Dak Prescott. That's wild to me. No way.
Yeah, that would be crazy. They'd be better off just eating the 2nd pick, like just taking it out the whatever the fuck and just physically eating it. That's crazy.
All right, y'all. Well, it was an amazing show. We will be back in 24 hours to do the same thing over again. And in the meantime, y'all take it easy. Yo, Jay, you want to plug yourself before you leave? Where can the people find you at? When do you go live? All of that good stuff.
Hey, man, this is a phenomenal experience. I want to thank my man Ron for coming on here. I want to thank everybody that was on the panel for inviting me on here, showing me love, inviting me on, hearing some of my bad takes, propping me up on my good ones. Y'all the ghost, man. I really appreciate that. You can find me on FYTB Podcast. We go live every Friday. We shoot an episode every Friday. Episode comes out. FYTB Games. You can find me every Tuesday, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night after 7 p.m. I'm on all the way till midnight. So find me on there and look me up on FYTB Podcast, FYTB Games for some skits if you want to live.
And what does FYTB stand for again?
Fuck is you talking about, man?
Hey, if the Knicks make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm speed dialing you.
Absolutely.
But either way it goes, probably sometime during that first round, we're gonna get you up here just to talk about what you've seen with your Knicks.
For sure. And if I'm not
If
crying
you're
too
available.
hard, if I'm not in tears and shambles, I'll come on.
All right. All right, y'all. We're gonna catch y'all on the flip side. We out.
Merry Christmas.